May's lips curled into a knowing smile. That's it. It seemed that Lorna had made up her mind. Lin En felt a wave of anticipation rise in his chest. Looks like I won't have to do much this time, he mused internally, suppressing the smirk threatening to form on his lips. All right. He maintained a calm expression, though his heart was anything but still. Lorna was known for her pride. If she had come to him of her own volition, it meant something significant. She's finally willing to take the step herself, Lin En thought. Lorna was powerful, intelligent, and fiercely independent. That was exactly why her initiative caught him off guard. May noticed the flicker of surprise in his gaze. Lin En, what's on your mind? Nothing, just a little unexpected. He shook his head, offering a small smile. Lorna, standing beside him, shifted slightly, her usually confident demeanor carrying a hint of hesitation. Lin En, are you free right now? She asked, her voice betraying a rare urgency. Of course. Where do you want to go? He responded without hesitation. Lorna took a deep breath. There's something I need to tell you. Lin En studied her carefully, sensing the weight of her words. May, ever the perceptive one, smirked knowingly. I suddenly remembered I have things to prepare. I'll leave you two to talk. As she walked away, she cast a glance back, amusement flickering in her eyes. It was obvious. Lorna had feelings for Lin En but had been too proud to admit them. Lin En sighed softly as he watched May disappear from view. She always knows. Turning his attention back to Lorna, he asked, So, what did you want to say? Lorna hesitated for a moment before exhaling slowly. I've been meaning to talk to you about something for a while now. He tilted his head slightly. Go on, I'm listening. Her hands clenched briefly before she spoke again. Not here. Let's go somewhere else. Lin En raised an eyebrow at the rare trace of pink dusting her cheeks. His mind clicked into place, understanding her unspoken request. Without a word, he raised his hand, and the air around them rippled. A portal materialized before them, its swirling energy casting an ethereal glow. Lorna's eyes widened slightly, though she quickly masked her astonishment. Just how many abilities does he have? Her mind reeled for a moment before she regained her composure. Without another word, she stepped through the portal alongside him, their figures vanishing in an instant. As if they had never been there at all. May, watching from a distance, chuckled to herself. Another one added to the family, she mused, a glint of amusement in her eyes. Good. Lin En is strong, but even he shouldn't have to take care of all of us alone. When Lorna reappeared, she immediately noticed the change in her surroundings. The only constant was Lin En, standing right in front of her. Now, it was just the two of them. The room was silent except for the soft sound of their breathing. Seeing this, Lorna let out a quiet sigh of relief. She had made up her mind to be honest with Lin En. Lin En, I have always liked you, Lorna admitted. Despite her usual pride, she bravely spoke her heart. Lin En's heart skipped a beat. He hadn't expected Lorna to confess so directly. A flicker of surprise crossed his face, but it quickly turned into a warm smile. He knew Lorna well, proud, stubborn, and unyielding. But now, her confession meant that she had truly accepted her feelings for him. I know it might be hard to believe, but it's true. Lorna's face flushed slightly as she spoke, a rare moment of vulnerability. I believe you. Lin En's eyes held nothing but sincerity. He met her gaze with steady determination and added, Actually, I like you too, Lorna. Lorna's eyes widened in surprise. Really? A radiant smile spread across her face. Really, Lin En affirmed, his voice filled with conviction. Lin En was not one to play mind games with women. His approach was simple. If something was meant to happen, he wouldn't hesitate. For him, there was no need for uncertainty or unnecessary delay. After all, Lin En was Lin En. A man capable of challenging the entire world if he so desired. Would he ever allow himself to hesitate? Absolutely not. Lin En, are you serious? Lorna asked cautiously, her heart filled with hope. She was strong, independent, and proud. But when it came to Lin En, she didn't want her sincerity to go unanswered. Lin En's expression grew even more serious. His chiseled features, combined with the unwavering intensity in his eyes, made his words even more compelling. Lorna, I truly understand your feelings, and I mean every word I say. His voice carried warmth and sincerity, leaving no room for doubt. Lorna's eyes sparkled with happiness. That's wonderful. I really like you too. Her heart swelled with joy at his response. Lin En smiled, meeting her gaze. In that moment, their eyes spoke volumes, filled with mutual affection. I also admire your strength and bravery, Lorna. You're an independent, determined, and inspiring woman. His words resonated deeply, making her heart race even faster. With those simple yet powerful words, the distance between them vanished completely.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another video of FanFic Canon. Before we dive in, I want to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content. It really helps a lot. Also, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Let's get started.
I cherish our friendship very much, and I also deeply feel that you like me, Lin En continued. His handsome face has a faint smile. Lorna nodded silently. She understood Lin En's words. Lin En, me too, she said softly. It is really hard to imagine that Lorna, this iceberg beauty, also has such a gentle side. Probably only Lin En. Only then can we see Lorna, such a feminine side. Lorna, you are an excellent girl, you have your own ideals and pursuits. Our friendship is precious and I will always cherish it no matter what happens. I hope we can continue to be good friends and support and help each other. We can pursue our dreams together. Lin En looked at Lorna seriously. Lorna smiled and nodded. She understood the profound meaning contained in Lin En's words. Even if two people are together, Lin En will also support her own dreams. Such a man is really rare. Then let's be together. Lorna bit her lip and said softly. She looked at Lin En with determination in her eyes. Okay. Lin En nodded and agreed without thinking. He looked at Lorna with tender eyes. The two people hugged each other tightly, feeling each other's warmth. Their love is like a blooming flower, beautiful and pure, even though their future is full of challenges and difficulties. But they also firmly believe that as long as they support each other, they will be able to overcome all difficulties. Walk through every stage of life together. Lin En, I will always cherish you and support you no matter what happens, Lorna said firmly. Lin En smiled and nodded. Thank you for your support and understanding, Lorna. He decided to accept reality and work with Lorna to solve the problem. Faced with this dilemma, they must unite to face the challenge together and find a solution. They need to support each other, move forward together, and create a better future for themselves and each other. As he spoke, he stepped forward and hugged Lorna's slender waist. The astute Lorna immediately felt the warmth of Lin En. She hugged Lin En and felt that her heart was released. Lin En, Lorna said shyly, calling Lin En's name. Yes, I'm here. Lin En responded gently. The love is so deep that there is no need to say anything at this moment. Lin En has a smile in her eyes. He kissed Lorna gently on the lips. Lorna felt her body become hot instantly, and her breathing became faster and faster. Lin En looked at this scene with a smile on his face. He knew that the atmosphere between the two had reached a point where there was no room for smooth sailing. And Lorna closed her eyes. Enjoying it, the two of them had a moment of joy. She looks forward to being able to go into the future with Lin En and create their own happiness. Time passed quickly, and they had spent a wonderful night here. Everything just fell into place. Fortunately, the culture of Lighthouse Country is relatively open. Lin En's gold finger can only be enjoyed here. If this were in the Dragon Kingdom, I would probably be bombarded by women. But Lin En doesn't care. He lives for himself. You don't need to care about other people's eyes. Life is only a few decades, just live happily. After a night, Lorna lay on Lin En's chest. She tapped Lin En's chest lightly with her fingertips. Use 640 to hold on to your remaining sanity. Looking at Lin En with expectant eyes. Lin En, you have to treat me well, Lorna said with a serious face. After all, the two of them were completely dominated by desire just now. The two of them are now awake. Lorna wanted to get a definite answer from Lin En. Lin En's slender fingers gently played with Lorna's soft hair. Lin En, don't just talk casually, Lin En assured. Lorna felt a little more at ease after listening to Lin En's words. She raised her head and looked into Lin En's eyes, wanting more confirmation. Then what is our relationship now? Lorna continued to ask. Her beautiful face is full of expectation. Lin En looked at Lorna deeply, and then smiled softly. We are now in a relationship where we need each other. Lorna felt more at ease after hearing this. She knows that Lin En is a responsible man and he will be responsible for himself. Then what will happen to us in the future? Lorna asked again. Lin En looked at Lorna deeply, and then gently touched her cheek. We will go on together forever. Lorna, Adbite, heard this and her heart was filled with happiness and satisfaction. She knew that she had found someone who truly loved her. Thank you, Lin En. Lorna said. You're welcome, Lorna. Lin En replied, I love you. After Lorna heard this, her inner emotions were deeply touched by Lin En. She knew that she had found a man worth relying on. The two lay quietly on the bed, enjoying each other's warmth. They know that today's experience will remain in each other's hearts forever. Lorna knew that she had found her happiness. She decided to cherish this relationship and walk through every day and night with Lin En. From then on, Lin En and Lorna became a happy couple. They love each other and stay with each other forever. Congratulations on gaining Polaris Lorna loyalty. Loyalty level, 100. Congratulations to the host for receiving rewards. Physique plus 2,300, Strength plus 2,300, Speed plus 2,300, Mental Power plus 2,300. Lin En listened to the system, and a familiar voice sounded again. His heart also became excited. The reward is coming. This means that Lin En can become stronger. Lin En was very satisfied, looking at the gratifying data. In his heart, Tian was very excited. As the familiar electronic sound of the system sounded, Lin En's pupils suddenly contracted. As expected of Polaris Lorna, this reward is also very impressive. Lin En's strength has now taken a big step forward. This is much faster than practicing hard. Lin En immediately felt that his body was filled with energy zones. The strength has increased a lot. Lin En felt very happy in her heart. Coupled with Lin En's unyielding fighting spirit, just double it. This strength has increased a lot. If this continues, the battle strength will exceed 10,000 and it will be just around the corner. Given Wanda and Gwen's rewards last time, Lin En guessed that the rewards have not been distributed yet. There should be other rewards. Lin En thought to himself. And his guess was correct. Lin En takes in Lorna. It also falls into the category of changing the plot. And changing the plot also has corresponding rewards. This reward will be even better than the loyalty reward. Lin En waited quietly while the system issued loyalty rewards. Beep. The host changes the plot and gets 100 points. The lottery starts. What skill will it be? Lin En was also a little excited. After all, compared to loyalty, this changes the plot and gives you much better skills. Lin En is also looking forward to it in her heart. Congratulations to the host for absorbing the enemy's negative emotions can be converted into one's own energy. P.S. With this skill, you will have a constant source of energy. As long as the other person loses control of their emotions, you can get energy. Not only can you hit people, but you can also make them angry. 1. Good guy. Lin En was very satisfied. Having this skill is tantamount to cheating. This reward that changes the plot is simply not too delicious. Lin En was thinking in his heart. Open the character page. Lin En said. Name, Lin En. Physique 7660. J 7500. Speed 7730. 11230. Ability, Flame Emperor, Mental Barrier, Origin Magic Power, Fragment, Steel Kidney, Spider Telepathy, Portal, Man of Steel 3.0, Portal, Mind Control, Energy Transformation. 0. Please give me flowers. Comprehensive Combat Strength, 8119. Congratulations to the host for breaking through 10,000 mental powers. Look at this gratifying data. Lin En's face showed a satisfied smile. The mental strength is beyond 10,000. Paired with Lin En's mind control. 0. It's simply a cheating life. In a fight, Lin En only needs to move his fingers to kill his enemy. Lin En's face showed a satisfied smile. Lin En, what are you thinking about? Why are you so happy? Lorna, the iceberg beauty in her arms, asked curiously. Now that she is married, she will naturally care about him. I'm thinking, weren't we talking about commission at the beginning? Lin En asked funnily, with a handsome smile on his face. Lorna was speechless for a moment. Do we still need to talk in detail now? Lin En asked meaningfully. There is a feeling that I want to do it again. It's not impossible. Lorna gritted her teeth. Then Lin En, what do you want to talk about? Lorna asked bravely. She is not afraid of Lin En either. After all, she is also a proud person. Lin En talks like this aroused Lorna's inner competitive spirit. Lorna was not afraid. Lorna, didn't you say that you want to discuss the commission in detail? Lin En asked funnily. The expression on Lorna's face changed. 20. What Lin En said is true. It was indeed what she said about the commission. But that was just her excuse. Later, after I thought about it, I confessed my love to Lin En. Lorna smiled slightly. She realized that her excuses did not hide her true inner thoughts. She looked at Lin En quietly, with a hint of sincerity and calmness in her eyes. Lin En, actually, I don't really care about the commission issue. Lorna said frankly. I'm just using it as an excuse to communicate with you and express my true feelings. Lin En looked at Lorna and smiled slightly. Lorna, I admire your courage and honesty. We strive for authenticity and candor. Relationships are not simply a matter of weighing interests, but are based on sincerity and trust. I also hope to be able to be honest with you and explore our feelings together. Hear this. Lorna suddenly felt a warmth welling up in her heart. She knew that her stubbornness and arrogance were not truly strong. Now she understands that she should learn to let go of her personal arrogance and conceit and truly care and love the people around her. Lin En, I want to talk about our feelings. I hope we can take each other more seriously. Lorna said firmly. I really like you, and I am willing to grow and work together with you to fight for our future. A trace of warmth flashed in Lin En's eyes, and he nodded. Lorna, I really like you too. I am willing to face the challenges of life together with you and pursue happiness and achievement together. We can support each other and work together to create a better tomorrow. Lorna and Lin En held each other's hands tightly, their eyes full of determination and hope. They understand that everyone should pursue true love and happiness, and at the same time contribute their own strength to the progress of society. They are determined to work together and strive for a common goal. They will face each other honestly, respect and understand each other, and support each other and make progress together. They believe that only by uniting and helping each other and giving sincerely can we create a better family. It's just. Lin En said suddenly. Just what? Lorna was suddenly shocked. She was afraid that Lin En would suddenly regret it. After all, she was the one who took the initiative just now. Now at 4.4, she has fallen into a passive situation. This feeling made her, who was proud, feel very ashamed. Lorna, you saw it too. Lin En said truthfully. I have other women. His attitude was very sincere. Plus Lin En's handsome face. Lorna actually felt in a trance. I can guarantee that my love for you is true. Lin En looked at Lorna affectionately. Just kidding, Lin En owns gold finger. How is it possible to only love Lorna? But what he can guarantee is that his feelings for Lorna are true. This is Lin En's biggest trump card. For a beautiful woman like Lorna, sincerity is the only surefire way. Lorna listened to Lin En's words and remained silent. She knows that Lin En is an excellent man. Coupled with Lin En's handsome and rich blessing, Yin Yan is bound to be around. And Lorna also went through a long ideological struggle. Only then did he tell Lin En what was in his heart. Even 042. It has reached the point where raw rice is now cooked. Lorna also did it willingly. I know you are an excellent man. Lorna lowered her eyes and said softly, I also know that there must be many girls around you. I just want you to love me. In Lin En's eyes, Lorna felt his sincerity. She knew that Lin En was not a frivolous person, and he would not falsely express his emotions for his own sake. Lin En's sincerity and seriousness made Lorna feel at ease. Lorna stared at Lin En silently, feeling warm in her heart. She understands Lin En's charm and attraction and knows that he has many suitors around him. But Lorna also knows that sincerity is the only surefire way. Only by treating feelings sincerely can a real connection be established. After a period of ideological struggle, Lorna finally bravely expressed her feelings to Lin En. She chose frankness and honesty, and was willing to take on the responsibility and sacrifice of this love. Lorna willingly accepted this relationship and was ready to continue walking with Lin En. Lin En looked at Lorna with gratitude and joy in his eyes. Lorna, I feel incredibly lucky and honored to have met you. I promise that I will manage this relationship with my heart and create happiness and a better future for each other. Lorna smiled and nodded. Lin En, I believe in you and the relationship between us. We can support each other, grow together, and bring happiness and joy to each other. We must persist in cooperation and sharing and make our own efforts to build a harmonious and loving society. Lorna felt extremely warm and happy after listening to Lin En's words. She knew that she had finally found someone who truly loved her. I also only love you. Lorna said, I know there are many obstacles between us, but I am willing to face them with you. Okay, Lin En said with a smile, we face everything together and walk through every day and night together. Lorna hugged Lin En tightly, and she felt that her heart was filled with happiness and satisfaction. I love you. Lorna whispered. I love you too. Lin En responded, I will always love you until forever. Lorna felt extremely moved and warm after listening to Lin En's words. She knew that her love with Lin En would be eternal. Faced with Lin En's sincerity, Lorna's heart was deeply touched. She has experienced what betrayal feels like. At that time the mutant brotherhood, the traitor appeared. Let her and Miming eat a lot. Until I met Lin En. This is the first time Lorna wants to trust Lin En unconditionally. Do not know why. Lin En seems to have a magical power that can make her feel at ease. And Lin En is not the same, just talk about it. He will do it. Because this is not the first day Lorna has met Lin En. I am also relatively clear about Lin En's attitude towards other women. Lorna stared at Lin En with gratitude, and her heart was touched by Lin En's sincerity. Lorna deeply understands the pain and hurt caused by betrayal. She had experienced betrayal in the mutant brotherhood, which made her wary of interpersonal relationships. However, when Lorna met Lin En, she felt a special charm and warmth. Lin En's sincerity and persistence actually gave Lorna a desire to believe in him unconditionally. This is a new experience for her. In Lin En, she found a feeling of peace of mind. Lorna knew what she was doing. She and Lin En met overnight. She has some understanding of Lin En's attitude towards other women. She knew that Lin En was not the kind of person who meant what he said. He was a practitioner. This made Lorna believe even more that every word and promise Lin En said was true and reliable. Lin En understood Lorna's doubts and worries. He looked at Lorna's eyes and expressed firmness and commitment. Lorna, I understand your past experience, and I understand your pain. As a mature man, I promise to use my actions to prove my sincerity and loyalty to you. I want to spend my life with you, guarding and caring for you. When Lorna heard Lin En's confession, she felt an inexplicable sense of peace and happiness in her heart. She decided to let go of her guard, truly trust Lin En, and be willing to open her heart to him. Lin En, I believe in your promise. I am sincerely willing to work with you to face the challenges of the future. Your sincerity and determination make me feel at ease and reassured. No matter what happens, I deeply wish and support you. Lin En is extremely happy. He knew that the feelings between them were sincere and pure. They will face the ups and downs of life together and support and grow each other. Contribute to achieving your goals and revitalizing mutants' great cause. They believed deeply, fought hard with sincere feelings and positivity. They will surely be able to create a bright and hopeful future. Asterisk what I say to you, I will do it. Lin En looked at Lorna, his eyes full of determination and commitment. I believe you. Lorna said with a smile, because I know you never make promises easily. I believe in you too, Lin En said, because I know that you are a person with principles and a bottom line. Lorna felt very warm and relieved after listening to Lin En's words. She knows the trust between herself and Lin En. It is based on mutual understanding and respect. Lorna said, thank you for your continued concern and care. I'm just doing what I should do. Lin En said, and I don't want to see you get hurt in any way. Lorna felt very warm and grateful after hearing Lin En's words. She knew that she had a very important position in Lin En's heart. Luo 287 said again, thank you for your continued companionship and support. I will always be by your side. Lin En looked at her and said, "No matter what happens, I will always protect you." Lorna felt very moved and happy after hearing Lin En's words. She knew that she and Lin En would become good partners in the future. That night, Lin En and Lorna talked all night long. The people in the villa already knew the feelings between the two. Although Lorna was very wild yesterday, but no one heard it. Because Lin En's mental power exceeds 10,000. Already able to control the spiritual realm. Also because of what Lin En said. How dare Lorna be so indulgent? Now I can finally understand Gwen and the others' difficulties. Lorna thought to herself. No wonder they can accept it. Lin En finds little sisters for them. They even took the initiative to find and match Lin En. It turned out to be because they had endured too much. Indescribable joy. Good guy. Lorna's whole body went numb. Yesterday Miming and Gwen were showing off their delicious food together. The two have become good friends. Where's brother Lin En? Gwen asked happily. She couldn't wait to share today's happiness with Lin En. He and Lorna were talking about something. May said thoughtfully. However, Lin En probably won't have time to accompany us today. May said meaningfully. Why? Gwen looked at May with some confusion. They have been talking for a while. Wanda walked towards everyone. Isn't it better yet? Miming asked knowingly. As a good sister, she was extremely happy. Lorna finally expressed her feelings to Lin En. The happiest person is none other than Sweet Dream Sonia. Gwen felt a little disappointed when she heard May's words, but she still asked enthusiastically, then what are they talking about? May smiled slightly and said, they are discussing some emotional matters. Wanda walked up to them and said, Lorna has confessed her love to Lin En, and they are discussing the next plan. Gwen heard this and felt very happy. She knew Lin En and Lorna. There have always been subtle feelings, and now they have finally developed further. Miming was also very happy. She patted May on the shoulder and said happily, okay, I knew they would be together. Wanda smiled and said, yes, they really match each other. They chatted for a while and then left. Gwen and Miming returned to their rooms and continued chatting. Do you think Lin En and Lorna will be together? Miming asked. I don't know, but I hope they can stay together. Gwen replied. Me too, they really match each other. Miming also said enviously. The two chatted for a while and then gradually fell asleep. The next morning, I woke up early from my dream. She looked distracted and walked out of the room. But he ran into Lin En head on. Miming raised her head helplessly. Good morning, Lin En. Miming said shyly. Step back immediately and keep your distance from Lin En. After all, if nothing else, Lin En is already with Lorna. As a good sister, she wants to keep a distance from Lin En. Lin En was very shocked by the softness in front of her. Good guy. This scale is really too big. Morning. Lin En looked back. This angle is really great. Large swaths of beautiful scenery arouse endless reverie. Then he left directly. What does Miming want to ask Lin En? But she opened her mouth, but no question came out. Forget it, let's ask Lorna later. Miming thought to herself. It was such a happy decision. Although she was very curious, she decided to talk to Lorna. You're right to ask Lorna. Miming came to Lorna's room and knocked on the door. Lorna, are you up? Miming asked. Come in sweet dreams. Lorna's voice came from inside. Miming opened the door and saw Lorna tidying up the room. Lorna, you got up so early. Miming said with a smile. Well, I'm used to getting up early. Lorna replied. The two of them sat down in Lorna's room and started chatting. By the way, were you and Lin En together last night? Miming asked suddenly. A trace of surprise flashed across Lorna's face, but she quickly regained her composure. Yes, we talked about many things together. Lorna replied. Oh, Miming nodded. 0, please give me flowers. Just chatting. Miming asked gossiping. Two blushes appeared quickly on Lorna's face. It's more than just chatting. Lorna said a little embarrassed. I knew it. Miming said happily. Then how far have you developed? She asked with a smirk. I am Lin En's girlfriend now. Lorna's face was filled with a happy smile. This smile made Miming a little envious. It had been a long time since she'd seen Lorna so happy. Great. Miming said happily. She was genuinely happy for Lorna. But, this guy has so many women. Miming said with some worry. She couldn't bear to see Lorna get hurt. I know this. Lorna said helplessly. Lin En is so good. I didn't even expect that he would agree. Miming looked at Lorna doubtfully. Are you still the Lorna I know? Miming couldn't believe her eyes. Lin En, he is really good. Lorna said. When talking about Lin En, Lorna's beautiful face revealed a rare tenderness. This shocked Miming extremely. Lorna has always been an arrogant person. How charming is Lin En? He can make a proud person like Lorna surrender to him. I'm very lucky that I could meet Lin En. 6, 3, 7, Lorna continued, words that shocked the beauty of dreams. OMG, I must not have woken up. Miming rubbed her temples. Trying to wake myself up. She would rather believe that she was dreaming than believe this fact. Sweet dream, Lin En is really good. Lorna continued. Lin En has that kind of strength. Let alone a few of them, it's normal to have more. Lorna's words were simply shocking to Sweet Dreams. Although the culture of the lighthouse country is relatively open, but Lin En is looking for too much. This made Miming speechless. The key is that Lin En is looking for beautiful women, and they both know each other's existence and can live in harmony. Miming's whole body was numb. Lorna, have you been drugged by Lin En? Miming asked unwillingly. She hurriedly stepped forward and shook Lorna vigorously. trying to get Lorna to wake up. Let me go, sweet dream. It's so early in the morning, I'm going to faint. Lorna said helplessly. I was tortured by Lin En all night yesterday. I didn't get a good rest in the first place. Miming realized that her behavior was a bit extreme. She immediately let go. Are you okay, Lorna? Miming asked worriedly. Lorna shook her head slightly, trying to calm her worries. Sweet dream, I'm really fine. Lin En didn't drug me. Lorna explained seriously. That's great, I thought you were drugged by that bastard Lin En. Miming said with a sigh of relief. Sweet dream, don't talk nonsense. Lorna frowned and said angrily. I know I was wrong, I was just worried about you. Miming lowered her head and apologized. Okay, I'm fine. Lorna patted Miming's hand gently, signaling her not to worry anymore. That's great, I thought I would lose you as a good friend. Miming said with a smile. Ming Meng, how could I leave you? Lorna looked at Ming Meng tenderly and said. The two looked at each other and smiled. She understood Miming's concern for her, but she also understood. Miming's worries were unnecessary. What happened last night was just a private matter between her and Lin En, and there was nothing inappropriate about it. I volunteer, sweet dream. I like Lin En, and we have feelings for each other, Lorna said firmly. After hearing Lorna's explanation, Miming's 3.5 doubts gradually dissipated. She could feel Lorna's sincerity and determination. Miming realized that her worries and interference were unnecessary. Lorna, I believe you. If Lin En treats you sincerely, then he should pursue his own happiness, Miming said with a smile, supporting Lorna's decision. Lorna looked at the dream with gratitude, knowing how valuable it was to get the understanding and support from the dream. She knew that Mei Meng's worry was out of concern for her, and that she should also be responsible for her own decisions. Thank you, sweet dream. Your understanding is what I need most. When I face love, your support makes me stronger. Lorna expressed her gratitude for this. The two people hugged each other and laughed, feeling the tacit understanding and friendship between their souls. They are good sisters, and they should support each other and respect each other's choices, and work together to achieve common happiness. The two decided to grow up together and pursue their dreams together. Thank you, sweet dream. Lorna said gratefully. Thank you for your encouragement and companionship since 04. Miming felt very happy after hearing this. She knew her support was very important to Lorna. She is also very happy that Lorna and Lin En can be together. They are really a good match. Actually, you two are a good match, Miming said. Now that Lorna has agreed, what questions does she have? She was just thinking about Lorna out of good sisterhood. I wish you happiness. Miming sent a heartfelt blessing. Sweet dream. Lorna called out the name of Sweet dream. Although the two are not relatives, their relationship is closer than that of relatives. They chatted for a while. Ming Meng, have you ever thought about what kind of person you will find as your boyfriend in the future? Lorna suddenly asked. He now has a destination, but there has been no movement from the good sisters. Lorna naturally wanted to care. I haven't thought about this problem yet. Miming was stunned for a moment, and then said with a smile. Actually, I have always felt that finding someone who can understand and support you is the most important thing. Lorna said thoughtfully. Miming nodded in agreement. Lorna told her that she and Lin En were already together and their relationship was stable. She should be happy. But why? But I felt a little lost in my heart. An imperceptible look flashed across her beautiful face. Lorna watched Mei Meng's expression change. There was a premonition in my heart. Sweet dream may have someone you like. Lorna knows that Miming is a strong girl, but at some point, she also needs care and attention from others. Oh, so that's it. However, I feel that your attitude towards Lin En has become much better recently. Is there any special reason? Lorna asked curiously. Actually, I don't know what happened recently, but my feelings towards Lin En have become a little different, Miming explained. She didn't want their relationship to turn against each other because of Lin En. Oh, so that's it. I think you two are a perfect match. If you are together, you will definitely be very happy, Lorna said happily. You and Lin En are already together. Why are you still thinking about setting up a match for Lin En? Miming said speechlessly. I know, Lorna said seriously. The relationship between us is so complicated. Miming sighed and said helplessly. I understand how you feel, but I think you should give it a try. After all, life is short, you don't want to regret it. Lorna opened her mouth to encourage. Like you encouraged me then. Miming felt a little moved when she heard Lorna's words. She knew Lorna was a very good friend and was always able to give her good advice and help. So, she decided to follow Lorna's advice and try to pursue Lin En. Although the result may not be what she expected, but at least she tried and she won't regret it. Mei Meng said with some hesitation. But, sweet dream, no matter what, I will always be by your side, Lorna said seriously. Well, let me think about it. Miming nodded, her heart filled with warmth and strength. I hope Sweet Dreams can solve the problem smoothly, Lorna thought to herself. It was Lorna who knew that Lin En was a good man. Only then will she mobilize her dream to join this sister group. Lorna's words did shake Miming's heart. Before Lorna said this, Miming herself seemed not to realize the changes in her feelings towards Lin En. At the beginning, she only felt lonely and helpless about this relationship. She didn't know what to do and could only bear this emotion silently. She tried to distract herself with work, but Miming found that she was increasingly unable to concentrate. As time goes by, the emotion of the dream becomes more and more intense. She began to realize that her feelings for Lin En had gone beyond friendship, but she didn't know what to do, nor how to face her feelings. Lorna's words gave her other thoughts. Maybe if you tell me, you won't have any regrets. Miming thought to herself. It's just that she is the same as Lorna from the beginning. You can't cross the threshold in your heart. In the end, Miming decided to tell Lin En her feelings. She knew this was a very brave thing. But Miming also knows that if she doesn't tell Lin En, her heart will never be released. Even if you don't succeed, you won't have any regrets. Congratulations on gaining the loyalty of Sweet Dream Sonia. Loyalty level, 40. Lin En listened to the system prompts. I was a little surprised. What's going on? Are the sisters going to do a double kill? Lin En is a little confused. Lorna was taken in by him. What's going on, sweet bestie, sweet dream? Could it be that, Liao Niuzhao, Lorna said something to her. Lin En thought to himself. Tisk tisk. If this is the case, Lorna is really a considerate and good wife. Although Lin En had some doubts in her heart, but the loyalty of Sweet Dreams has increased, which is a good thing. This means that Lin En can have sex for free again? Come on, Lin En will take the next one. If two come, kill a pair of slaves. One word and it's done. Anyway, Lin En is fearless. Now that I've come to Maman, I might as well kill some random people. Only by changing the plot can you get good rewards. Lin En felt like a mirror. That is to say, if you come from it, you will be at peace. Straighten things up a bit. A few people flashed downstairs and it was decided. Wanda, what do you think about Lorna and Lin En? May asked curiously. It should be no problem. Wanda said thoughtfully. She still has confidence in Lorna. Is that really true? Gwen also asked. That's great. Twinkle said happily. 540 A sister came to share the burden. Can she be unhappy? No, just say CAO, and CAO will come. Gwen discovered the hero Lin En right away. Good morning, brother Lin En. Gwen greeted playfully. Morning. Twinkle and Wanda also said one after another. Lin En, get ready and come have breakfast. May said thoughtfully. When he walked out of the room, downstairs Gwen, Twinkle, and Wanda were already preparing breakfast. Seeing this scene, Lin En felt very moved and warm. He knows that his efforts are not in vain, because he has several girlfriends who care about him like this. Good morning, brother Lin En. Gwen greeted. Morning. Flicker and Wanda also shouted. Lin En, get ready, let's have breakfast. May said thoughtfully. Lin En and Lorna talked all night long and were already tired after a long night. At this moment, it is necessary to replenish energy. Maybe May will do something. Lin En felt very warm in her heart. He knew that May was a very careful and considerate person. Always be aware of his needs and feelings. Morning. Lin En responded. Okay, I'll be right over. So, Lin En followed May and came to the dining table with everyone. The table has been set with various delicacies, including eggs, bread, milk and fruits. Lin En sat down and started enjoying breakfast while chatting with everyone. On this warm morning, Lin En felt very happy and content. He knows that there are so many people who care and love him. He will definitely walk away more firmly and confidently. After breakfast, Lin En chatted with everyone and relaxed. He felt that his body and mood became more relaxed and happy. In this loving and warm family, everyone is there, trying to care and love each other. They share happiness and sorrow together, and spend every moment of their lives together. This family is like a harbor, bringing endless warmth and strength to everyone. When Lin En is exhausted, his girlfriends will always give him the greatest support and care. He felt that his mood became relaxed and happy. It was as if all the fatigue and worries were left behind. May was also very happy to see Lin En's condition improving. She knows Lin En's hard work, so she will do her best to take care of his physical and mental health. She hopes to be able to always be by his side and provide him with support and help. On this warm morning, Lin En and Gwen were there, enjoying a wonderful time together. They care and love each other, making each other feel extremely happy and satisfied. This is a family full of love and warmth, which makes people feel very warm and happy. Sweet Dreams and Lorna arrived belatedly. You are here. May said hello. Her beautiful face was full of smiles. Thank you for your hard work, May. Lorna said with concern. It's so delicious. Miming praised it without hesitation. It's not hard, we all did it together. May said with a smile. As long as it's delicious. Thank you everyone. Lorna and Miming said gratefully. They are very grateful for everyone's actions. Lorna, though, was the last one to join the team. But she also felt the warmth and kindness of other people. This feeling made her feel incredible. She knows that this kind of kindness and solidarity is very rare. And she is very lucky to be able to join such an excellent team. This is simply unbelievable. As for Lin En himself, it goes without saying how excellent he is. You're welcome, we are all a family. May said with a smile. May is a very friendly and enthusiastic person, and her smile makes people feel very warm. She greeted Lorna and Dreams, making them feel welcome. Lorna also cared about May and expressed her hard work. This also made May and the other sisters feel Lorna's friendliness. We've known each other for so long. This was the first time for them to hear Lorna say so many words. My heart couldn't help but be filled with shock. It has to be Lin En. Everyone secretly thought. It can make Lorna, the Millennium Iceberg, melt. Changed her character. Lin En is one of the core members of this team. His outstanding performance is also beyond doubt. Lin En's ability and contribution make the entire team better, and his leadership and communication abilities are also indispensable. 0. Please give me flowers. His presence gives the entire team more confidence and motivation. His attitude towards doing things is worth learning from everyone. In this team, everyone is working hard to shine, and everyone is striving for the team's goals. The cooperation and friendship between them is very rare, and it also makes the entire team more cohesive and combative. 0. Their success is inseparable from everyone's dedication and efforts, as well as the mutual support and encouragement between everyone. They are a very good group of sisters. Everyone is very good. Their friendliness and unity are very commendable. Their success is inseparable from everyone's hard work and dedication. It would also be inseparable from the mutual support and encouragement between everyone. As long as everyone unites as one and works together, we will be able to achieve success. After eating, they sat together, chatted and drank tea, feeling very comfortable. Lin En's tense nerves were also released. Everyone was amazed at Lorna's change. I also admire Lin En's ability very much. Mei Meng looked at Lin En, her beautiful eyes were filled with brilliance. Thoughtful in mind. I don't know what I'm thinking. Lin En, on the other hand, acted very indifferently. He didn't seem to care. Lin En doesn't care about this either. It doesn't matter. In terms of relationships, Lin En does not insist on 090. As long as the other party is willing to believe in him, Lin En will not let the other party down. Just kidding, I have a gold finger. Can I still be a dog licker? The main thing is, just be happy. Their performance not only amazed people, but also made everyone full of expectations for their future. Lorna's change can be said to be a qualitative leap. Her previous performance may have been due to the influence of the environment, or due to her own limitations. As a result, her behavior and way of thinking are relatively negative and passive. But now, she has begun to think and act proactively, and is no longer influenced by external interference. This change not only made her life more positive and meaningful, but also made people around her look at her with admiration. And Lin En's ability makes people even more amazed. His intelligence and ability not only allow him to excel at his job, it also allows him to get more respect and recognition in life. Moreover, his ability seems to be constantly improving and expanding. Let everyone be full of expectations for his future development. Miming looked at Lin En, perhaps attracted by his ability and charm. Perhaps it was because of his attitude and mentality. No matter what the reason is, it makes me feel the dream. Lin En has a special charm and temperament. However, Lin En behaved very calmly. He doesn't seem to care much about his ability and performance. Focus more on your own work and life. This indifferent attitude may be one of the secrets of his success. Because only when a person is not confused by his own achievements and performance, only in this way can we deal with future challenges and opportunities more calmly. Lorna's change, and Lin En's ability, are all on display. They have huge amounts of potential and possibility. As long as you have enough faith and courage, you can surpass your own limits and create a better future. Wanda's change in Lorna. Very relieved. After all, she also hopes that the road can get better. This is in line with Lorna's character. At the same time, she was also full of expectations for Lorna. Lorna has a strong heart and a tenacious spirit. We'll definitely usher in our own spring. All unexpected encounters will become part of success. Lorna, welcome to Join 2.4, May said. Her eyes were full of joy. Gwen and Twinkle also looked happy. That's great, Sister Wrong. Looking at the enthusiastic people, Lorna's heart was also deeply touched. Ever since she wandered, this was the first time she felt the warmth of her family. This feeling of being cared for made Lorna feel a little dazed. Her heart was warmed by everyone. Lorna, we will be a family from now on, May said happily. Lorna, you will have a family in the future, Lorna said to herself. Unknowingly, tears of happiness appeared vaguely in her eyes. Lorna's heart was very touched, more grateful to everyone. Lorna, be happy. Wanda called Lorna's name softly. She has a beautiful face and a gentle smile. I'm very happy. Lorna had a happy smile on her face. Lorna said, and actually took the initiative to hug Wanda. And Wanda was very natural and hugged Lorna back. The two looked like sisters. This scene shocked everyone. The relationship between Wanda and Lorna does surprise and puzzle others. However, judging from Lorna's initiative to pick up Wanda, it can be seen that the relationship between them has become very close. Perhaps, this is the so-called deep love between sisters. Especially Miming couldn't believe it when she saw this. What's wrong with Lorna? Miming began to guess in her heart. Even if Lorna wants to be hugged, she should hug herself. She didn't expect the relationship between Lorna and Wanda. When did we become so close? When did the relationship between Wanda and Lorna become so good? Several other people were also a little surprised, very confused about this. The relationship between Wanda and Lorna may have gradually deepened after experiencing some things together. Perhaps, they were once each other's supporters and encouragers, and they went through many difficulties and challenges together. These experiences made the relationship between them stronger and deeper. Definitely, there may be other reasons that made the relationship between them become closer. However, no matter what the reason is, everyone should respect their choices and decisions. Don't interfere or judge too much. Everyone has their own way of life and values. Lin En also had some doubts in her heart. His handsome eyebrows were raised slightly. He seemed to be thinking about something. Isn't the relationship between Wanda and Lorna here not simple? Lin En thought to himself. He knew the rumors about Magneto and knew that he was a playboy who kept seeds everywhere. Combined with the close relationship between Lorna and Wanda, he began to wonder if there were other complex emotions involved. 280. Lin En suddenly felt enlightened. Could it be? The Wanda and Lorna in front of me are half-sisters. This seems to be explained. Why is Lorna and Wanda's relationship so close? Judging from the looks of the two of them, they may have recognized each other. Tisk tisk. Although Lin En did not realize the happiness of the twins, this time, I experienced the happiness of sisters. The corners of Lin En's mouth also raised slightly, revealing a meaningful smile. Wanda and Lorna have a chance to have a real experience. Lin En has some expectations in his heart. Recently Lin En has been committed to improving his strength. As for the process, it's definitely hello to me and hello to everyone. Lorna, are you okay? Miming asked with concern. Obviously, Miming felt abnormal about Lorna's behavior. Lorna heard Miming's question and nodded with a smile. I'm fine, sweet dreams. Miming is still a little confused. She is very aware of the close relationship between Wanda and Lorna. It only appeared recently, which was inconsistent with her past understanding of the two. The relationship between Wanda and Lorna surprised and puzzled everyone present. Especially Miming. She felt very abnormal about Lorna's behavior. Really? You've changed so much, I'm a little worried. Miming was a little worried. I know you do it for my own good, but I'm happy now, and that's enough. Lorna gently patted Miming's hand. Okay, I understand how you feel. Miming sighed without saying anything. Lorna smiled softly to hide her embarrassment. Miming was a little confused, but she didn't ask. After hearing Lorna's words, Miming couldn't help but feel a little emotional. She knew that something special must have happened between Lorna and Wanda that made them closer now. Lin En looked at the scene in front of him and felt a little emotional. He knew that the relationship between Lorna and Wanda would take time to prove. She decided to have an honest conversation with Lorna. Lorna, I really care about you. If you have any troubles or something to share, I am willing to listen to you. The dream expresses her care and support for Lorna. Lorna looked at Miming gratefully. She knew Miming was a considerate friend. Sweet dream, I really appreciate your concern. Lorna said. Not a word was said about the reason. Miming did not continue to ask. Lorna hugged her too. Tell her not to think too much. We will always be the best sisters. Lorna comforted her. After hearing this, Miming's doubts were relieved a lot. Maybe Lorna just reported the wrong person. Lorna and Miming hugged each other and laughed, and the friendship and understanding between them became deeper. Lorna understands that not everyone will understand and accept her. She doesn't want others to know about her relationship with Wanda for the time being. But as long as their feelings are true and pure, they will continue to cherish and persist. We must learn to be tolerant, and respect everyone's choice and happiness. Lorna hopes to influence and inspire others with her happiness and authenticity. Nords, but Lin En is the one who knows the situation best. Others just felt confused. But based on the friendship between Miming and Gwen, the two seem to understand Wanda and Lorna's friendship. Women's friendship always comes out of nowhere. Just like her and Sweet Dreams. Maybe at a certain moment, the two of them will become good friends who talk about everything. If Loki knew that Lin En was living so well, he would probably be pissed to death. Loki was beaten by Lin En last time and was unable to fight back. This made Loki feel very embarrassed. And after he came back, he realized how important the lost scepter was. This made him hate Lin En even more. His level of disgust is even closer to that of Thor. Even enthusiastically ranked first. Loki does feel anger and hatred for Lin En. Especially after he was defeated by Lin En last time, he felt powerless and embarrassed. 650 He knows the importance of scepter to him. Therefore, he directly blamed Lin En for the loss of scepter. This further aroused his disgust towards him. Loki is the prince of Asgard, possessing extremely powerful power and dominance. But in the confrontation with Lin En, Loki not only suffered a defeat, but also exposed his weakness and incompetence. This failure and humiliation made Loki full of anger and resentment towards Lin En. Loki's hatred for Lin En even exceeds his jealousy and hatred, for Thor, becoming the person he hates most. He was angry at Lin En's success and happiness. Loki hopes to find an opportunity to retaliate and regain his lost scepter and status. The more Loki thought about it, the angrier he became, and decided to find an opportunity to take revenge on Lin En. He secretly observed Lin En's every move, looking for opportunities to take action. Damn it, Lin En, for living so freely. Loki cursed under his breath. When I think of the humiliation I suffered because of Lin En, Loki's eyes were red. It's a pity that Loki is not strong enough to fight against Lin En. Loki hesitated to take action. If he is exposed again, he knows it very well. What will happen to you? Learn from mistakes. So this time Loki, choose to wait and see, and find suitable teammates to defeat Lin En together. He realized that he needed to change his strategy, find suitable teammates, and join forces to defeat Lin En. He understands the importance of unity and collaboration, and the gathering of strength can bring about stronger results. Loki began to make secret preparations, looking for those who shared his goals. He believes that by working together and cooperating, they can form a strong team and defeat Lin En's forces. Loki has always been a smart guy. He knows how to use strategy. So Loki found out that Lin En was a powerful mutant. The lighthouse country loves and fears Lin En. Since the last time Lin En took action against the police, the government's fear of Lin En began to outweigh its love. If a person as powerful as Lin En cannot be used for himself, he will be a big hidden danger. Therefore, Loki contacted the mutant organization under the name of the Lighthouse Nation, Suicide Squad. The leader of this organization is Amanda Waller, a senior member of the U.S. Intelligence Department and the Sky Eye Society that handles Superman-type matters. Warden of Superman-like Prison Belive, head of the Cadmus Project, and head of the Suicide Squad Project. I have to admit that Amanda is an extremely outstanding person. Amanda, who created Suicide Squad, only said this to her team members. I need you criminals to work for me. Or would you rather stay in a lunatic asylum or a prison, until your bones rot? Amanda said with a cold expression. His eyes were full of disdain. Amanda didn't take these criminals seriously, even if there are powerful people among them. Amanda wasn't afraid either, because I have a way to deal with these mutants. Amanda, who is in a high position, doesn't care about the life or death of these people. If he dies, he will be replaced by another person. Why? Someone protested loudly. They are all criminals who do anything. They have always been arrogant. Naturally, he was dissatisfied with Amanda's words. Just because the mission is successful, I can shorten your sentence, Amanda said, still looking proud. The criminals in the audience were quiet for a while. In contrast, this condition is indeed good. So no one is saying anything. Finally, you need to know that your lives are in my hands, life or death. Amanda continued. Such arrogant words. It makes many people very dissatisfied. But I had to accept it. And these criminals had to bow to Amanda. Because Amanda can actually do it and shorten their sentences. Since then, Suicide Squad has been officially established. Amanda as captain. The existence of the team is to continue to maintain the security of the country. Amanda Waller, the agent of the Lighthouse government, planned to organize a task force composed of supervillains and anti-heroes. First, Amanda controlled the witch in her hands by finding the heart of the witch. Unexpectedly, with the help of her brother Demon Nightmare, the Banshee escaped from Amanda's control. Since then, Midway City has fallen into chaos. At a critical juncture, the top leaders of the Lighthouse Nation approved Amanda Waller's proposal to form a suicide squad. Please give me flowers. So a suicide squad consisting of Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Revenge Demon, Killer Croc, Slipknot, Colonel Rick Flag, and Katana was born. In order to be able to completely control members of Task Force X, Amanda Waller injected a nano detonator into the anti-hero's neck. As long as they disobey orders, they will be detonated and killed. This is Amanda's confidence card. And Amanda's only loyal teammate is Deadshot. Deadshot has worked as a mercenary and killer, is good at fighting, and is proficient in various types of firearms. Later, he was taken to prison by the righteous Batman and joined Task Force X. That is Suicide Squad, and then became the core figure of the team. 0133101006 Philo 122441041. Harley Quinn, a psychiatrist. He used to be Joker's attending physician. In the process of treating Joker, he gradually became obsessed with Joker. Later, she helped Joker escape from imprisonment and became the crime queen of Gotham City. Later, unfortunately, he was caught and imprisoned by Batman, 4. And these guys from Suicide Squad. That's who Loki wants to work with. To capture the thief, capture the king first. So Loki found Amanda, the leader of the Suicide Squad. Hello Amanda. Loki's plain voice sounded. Appear in front of Amanda. Who are you? Amanda said calmly. Amanda looked at the speaker indifferently. 937 reveals arrogance in his eyes. Amanda is not afraid of mutant at all. I am a god from the divine realm, Loki. Loki said proudly. Amanda still looked proud. God's realm. Amanda repeated these two words. It seemed that only these two words caught Amanda's attention. I am also the future 9-term king, Loki said arrogantly. Loki's words caused a flash of surprise in Amanda's eyes, but she quickly regained her composure. The future 9-time king? Amanda asked calmly. Yes, Loki replied confidently. Amanda didn't speak anymore. She looked at Loki quietly, seeming to be thinking about something. What is your purpose? Amanda asked straight to the point. I need your help, Loki said casually. Help? Amanda frowned slightly. Why do you need our help? Because I need your power, Loki said. Come and help me realize my plan. Amanda was silent for a moment, and then asked thoughtfully, what is your plan? I will destroy the human world. Loki's eyes flashed with madness. I want to destroy the human world and return it to the true divine realm. Destroy the human world. The expression on Amanda's face became solemn. Amanda's frown deepened, and she looked a little dissatisfied. Your plan sounds crazy, Amanda said after a moment of silence. Also, we are not your slaves, you can't order us to do anything you want. Amanda said with a look of disgust. Arrogant in front of Amanda? Loki is still the first joke. Who is Amanda? Can you tolerate others being arrogant in front of yourself? Even if there is, Amanda can be more arrogant than the other party. The main thing is the attitude of a big boss. Loki's expression instantly turned gloomy. He stared at Amanda, as if he wanted to put pressure on her. I don't need your consent, Loki said, because I have enough power to carry out your plan. Amanda's brows frowned even more tightly, and her eyes revealed a firm determination. You 1.3 may have power, Amanda said with the expression on her face still cold. But you can't control me or my teammates. We won't pay any price for your crazy plan. Loki's eyes became more fierce, and his lips moved, as if he wanted to say something, but in the end he didn't say it. Amanda turned to leave. But Loki suddenly grabbed her arm. Don't think you can escape my grasp, Loki said viciously. Loki's false side is finally revealed. Amanda had a calm look on her face. It seemed like he didn't take Loki seriously at all. She is fearless in the face of danger and has the spirit of a team leader. It's just that Amanda is more like this. It makes Loki angrier. Deadshot. Amanda said calmly. The way she looked at Loki became cold, as if she was looking at a dead man. But Amanda underestimated Lu's strength. Deadshot's attack did not cause Loki to be harmed. This is something that has never happened before. This shocked A06 Manda, and the expression on his face finally changed. This is too childish, Loki said disdainfully. If that's all you have, then give up quickly. Loki's words made Amanda's heart tighten, and she knew she had to stay calm. She can't let Loki see her fear. She took a deep breath and said slowly, "Do you think you can control me? You're wrong, Loki." Loki sneered, angry at Amanda's calmness and dismissiveness. He stared at Amanda without flinching, his expression full of cruelty and mockery. Loki couldn't help but sneer. He walked towards Amanda step by step, with a dangerous light flashing in his eyes. Amanda knew that she had to take action, otherwise the consequences would be disastrous. Amanda, you are so naive. Who do you think you are? Think you can defeat me easily? Let me tell you, Loki, am not that easy to deal with. Loki's voice was full of disdain and arrogance. Amanda was smiling, she didn't care about Loki's provocation. Loki, I don't want to fight you, but if you really want to challenge me, I can show you my true power. Amanda let out a low drink, swayed, and instantly released powerful energy. She showed the momentum and strength of a team leader by facing Loki's threat without fear. However, Loki was unaffected by Amanda's attack. He was actually unscathed by Amanda and Deadshot's attacks. This shocked Amanda, and her expression finally became tense. Loki laughed. Amanda, did you see that? Your attacks are of no use to 110 me. You are just a weak human being. How can you compete with me? You can't defeat me. Amanda put away her shock and nervousness, and regained her composure on her face. Loki, strength is not everything. I believe in justice and courage. No matter how powerful you are, you cannot destroy the faith in our hearts. I am not alone, I represent justice and justice. Amanda said still firmly. Amanda as captain, still calm and determined, she confronts Loki. She firmly believes that justice and fairness will defeat evil. That she is ready to have a fierce battle with Loki and strive to protect herself and her people. Amanda Waller is the US government's plenipotentiary agent for the Superman class. She recruits some supervillains and anti-heroes who were captured by superheroes to form the Suicide Squad. Do some dirty work for the US government that is inconvenient for the government to do. Amanda is also a staunch patriot. She believes superheroes are a potential threat to the country. Even for Batman, a human hero, she felt distrustful. Therefore, she launched a number of secret projects to contain Superman. Suddenly she turned around and a gun appeared in her hand. Her arms were waving rapidly and bullets were fired. The bullet sliced through the air and headed straight for Loki. Loki didn't expect Amanda to react so quickly, but he quickly reacted, activated his magic and rushed forward. The battle between the two was extremely fierce, with magic and weapons constantly colliding and making harsh sounds. Amanda's movements were quick and accurate, and her and Deadshot's attacks hit Loki's vitals again and again. But Loki is not weak either. His attacks also caused Amanda and Deadshot to suffer a lot. Amanda, stop struggling pointlessly, Loki said casually. He looked calm, as if he was playing a game of chicken with Amanda and Deadshot. Obey me and I can give you great power, Loki said arrogantly. Amanda was not swayed by Loki's taunts and threats. She firmly maintained her belief in justice and justice. She knew Loki was just trying to break her will with temptations and threats, but she wouldn't give in to his pressure. Loki, your power cannot make me surrender, Amanda responded without fear. Her face was full of determination. His eyes were also very firm. I believe that justice and justice will defeat evil. I will not surrender to you, nor will I be used by you. Amanda continued to fight, even though her strength was gradually failing her. She did not give up. She believes that as long as she persists until the last moment, she will have a chance to win. Loki showed a sneer. Amanda, you are very courageous, but your courage is meaningless to me. You will never be able to match me. He continued to seduce in a low voice. Obey me, I can give you extremely powerful power, and you will be able to do anything. Amanda faced Loki's temptation and shook her head firmly. I will not give up my principles and beliefs for the strength you mentioned. Real strength does not come from false strength, but from inner persistence and the pursuit of justice. I refuse and become the puppet you want, Lizeahau. She displays fearlessness and determination, ready to continue fighting Loki to the end. Amanda believes that can only be achieved through justice and impartial action. Only in this way can we make real contributions to social harmony and progress. She firmly believes that justice will defeat evil and ultimately achieve the final victory. Just then, she saw an opportunity. Loki's attention was drawn elsewhere by Deadshot. Loki's body relaxed slightly. Amanda seized the opportunity and shot Loki. Loki's body slowly fell. His eyes were wide open, as if he hadn't reacted yet. Amanda felt a sense of powerlessness, and she knew that the battle was over. Slowly she lowered her weapon, looking at Loki lying on the ground. There is also a dying Deadshot. Amanda's heart is full of contradictions. She felt both the joy of victory and deep guilt. She knew that all of this was 853 her own fault. If she hadn't let Deadshot show up, none of this would have happened. Amanda walked towards Deadshot. The look on her face had a rare change. She looked sad. She left the battlefield silently, her heart filled with endless thoughts. She knew that this battle was a major lesson for her. RR. A disgusting laugh sounded. Amanda and Deadshot suddenly woke up. What caught his eye was Loki's cold smile. Loki without any warmth. These are Amanda and Deadshot, who were killed by Loki after using his hypnotic ability. Turn out to be. Amanda and Deadshot were both controlled by Luigi. It was all their fantasy just now. No. Amanda was desperate. She thought she could turn the tide of the battle at a critical moment. He trampled Loki hard on his feet, but he never thought that it would still be in vain. This kind of relying on your own efforts to go from hell to heaven step by step and reverse everything will be full of a sense of accomplishment and endless spiritual joy. But if someone kicks you down as soon as you climb up, it will be even more miserable than being reincarnated in the 18th level of hell. Loki, what do you want to do? Amanda said with a panicked expression. Deadshot, Ajak, was also confused. Holy crap, the feeling of death just now was too real. Deadshot thought in his heart. He really thought that he was going to get cold just now. The sense of the passing of life made him feel a chill in his back. Loki showed a satisfied smile. He looked at the two people in front of him and felt that he had everything under control. How well you cooperate, Loki said calmly. The whole person stood there, not angry and proud. It gave Amanda a bad feeling in her heart. Loki came to the two of them and smiled cruelly. It feels good to win, right? Loki sneered. The fear of death immediately arose in Amanda's heart. This feeling of powerlessness immediately surrounded her. It made her feel heavy. Don't be afraid. Loki, who has telepathy, immediately senses Amanda's fear. You are still useful to me, I won't kill you for the time being. Loki said with a smile. He looked like he didn't care about their life or death at all. I saw Loki directly attacking the hypnotic ability of the two people. Successfully controlled them. Amanda and Deadshot will no longer be afraid of Loki. They are now, already Loki's puppets. Obedient to Loki. Why? Amanda finally asked. Why are you doing this to us? Because I need your power. Loki replied, I need your power to realize my plan. Although Amanda and Deadshot were very angry, they could not resist Loki's control. However, Loki was too powerful for them to resist, controlled by his brow. The two of them could only silently endure Loki's manipulations, waiting for an opportunity to rescue them. However, they don't know when this opportunity will come. The two of them can only continue to be controlled by Loki. Now, follow me. Loki said slowly. Amanda and Deadshot, without any resistance, were controlled by Loki's hypnotic ability. In this world, Roadbed is a very scary existence. He possesses powerful magical power and can control human thoughts and behaviors. His purpose is to rule the entire world and make everyone obey his will. Amanda and Deadshot followed Loki silently, their eyes showing emptiness. However, Loki is not alone. He has many subordinates, the two most important of whom are Amanda and Deadshot. Amanda is the captain of the Suicide Squad and has a high prestige. However, Amanda didn't know that she had been controlled by Loki. Her thoughts and actions were all controlled by Loki, and she didn't even know what she was doing. The same goes for Deadshot, who are only controlled by Loki. Loki is very smart and knows that if he kills these people directly, his plan will be exposed. Therefore, he chose to control them and let them work for him. He knew the success rate of doing so was very high. Loki takes control of Amanda. It will be much more convenient next time. Because Amanda is the captain. Even if someone noticed something unusual about her, they would not dare to come forward and identify her. Because they dare not bet on the 1% probability. If you make a wrong bet, you will die immediately. So Loki easily gained control of Suicide Squad. 0, please give me flowers, 0. Therefore, Loki continued to control these people and make them work for him. They did not dare to resist and could only silently accept Loki's control. They don't know their true purpose or where they are going. They are just tools for Loki to use to achieve his own ambitions. Lin En, I'm in Gotham City, waiting for your arrival. Loki said cruelly. 00. A cold smile appeared on his face. The White Queen has also arrived, and Gotham City is a mixed bag of good and bad. And she is Lin En's woman. Lin En would naturally not treat her without asking. What's more, there is also Lorna's father Magneto. Loki got to the bottom of it. He is famous as the god of trickery in Asgard. Loki is very good at using strategies. Just grab the White Queen and Magneto. It's like being rich takes advantage of Lin En's weakness. Loki didn't believe it. He couldn't win over Lin En like this. Loki smiled wildly. That the White Queen wants to help George find these fraud organizations and then catch them all. Gave it to Lin En as a gift. So she mobilized everyone in the Hellfire Club to take action. But she only brought Magneto and a few others with her. They are all people she trusts. Together they head to Gotham City, where the situation is complicated. Gotham City is the territory of Batman. Magneto said solemnly. Batman's territory. This man who is both good and evil. White Queen also knows something about Batman. Magneto nodded, agreeing with White Queen's statement. As far as they know, Batman Bruce Wayne was born into the Wayne family, one of the 4 major families in Gotham. When he was a child, Bruce went to the cinema with his parents to watch movies. On their way home, his parents were shot in an alley. This incident completely changed Bruce, and he was determined to face the city's deepest evil. To prevent others from suffering tragedies like his own, he traveled around the world, learned fighting skills, and returned to Gotham City many years later. He used his financial resources to create high-tech equipment and physical strength to fight crime, transforming into Gotham's Dark Knight Batman. Batman doesn't have any super abilities, but he has extraordinary wealth and IQ. He learned fighting skills all over the world, and with the support of training and equipment, he gained some extraordinary abilities. Although Bruce does not have super ability, he has an invincible and indomitable will. Specific manifestations include the ability to control one's own emotions, the tolerance for pain, and the perseverance to become more courageous with each setback. His strong willpower supports him to turn defeat into victory in battle, break through limits in desperate situations, and defeat powerful enemies in danger. This makes him the nemesis in the eyes of many criminals. This will also enable him to overcome the limits of physical pain and become highly resistant to mind control and telepathy. His determination is enough to enable him to control the Green Lantern ring. Batman has an unyielding will, Magneto said with interest. Immune to your telepathy. Isn't there still you? White Queen said casually. As a student, how dare you disobey your teacher's wife? When Magneto heard this, the expression on his face changed. This White Queen, Magneto thought to himself. I'm not convinced yet. White Queen continued. I forgot this guy has telepathy. Magneto was a little angry inside, but can't show it. Nothing. Magneto said with a smile. I'm happy to help. The White Queen nodded with satisfaction. Her confidence comes from Lin En. In fact, Magneto and Professor X used to be friends. Only later, 4.8. Unexpectedly, things are unpredictable, and now both myself and Magneto are in the Hellfire Club. The only difference is that she is now the White Queen. In fact, things are not peaceful inside Hellfire Club either. There are also spies installed by external forces. These are normal. I just don't know exactly who it is. In fact, the club is a core group composed of a small number of very influential people. The members of the core group are named after chess pieces, black or white king, queen, bishop, rook. In the end, the most powerful person becomes the Supreme King. In addition, outstanding members also have some untitled members as assistants. The core group controls the Hellfire Club and silently affects the club's activities to gain more power and wealth. Emma became the White Queen of the Hellfire Club, the chairman and CEO of Frost International, and the president of Massachusetts College. Although she looked very good, her childhood was not pleasant. White Queen Emma was born into a wealthy family in Boston, USA. But his family life cannot be considered happy. His father is a ruthless businessman, and his mother often abuses psychotropic drugs due to family pressure. Her super abilities are telepathy and diamond form. I have to say that White Queen is also a responsible leader. During her time at Hellfire Club, she continued to operate Hellfire Club, and become the troublemaker, the leader and mentor of a team composed of college students. Together with Xiao and Black Queen Selene, he invited Magneto, Namor, and others to join the Hellfire Club. Battle Professor X's X-Men and New Mutants. Now with Lin En's participation, White Queen's life has changed dramatically. Full of confidence, she and Magneto headed to Gotham City. What they don't know is, Gotham City is now controlled by Loki. Even Batman is under Loki's control. And Loki hates Lin En extremely. Finally, the White Queen and others arrived at their destination, Gotham City. It seems that Gotham City is not as complicated as it sounds. White Queen said nonchalantly. White Queen and Magneto, after arriving in Gotham City, I discovered that this city is not as dangerous and complicated as imagined. They didn't encounter many obstacles along the way. Just on the road, I met a few gangsters. But it was quickly solved by White Queen and Magneto. Don't take it lightly yet. Magneto said thoughtfully. This is already Gotham City under the management of Batman. Magneto continued. Under this situation, there are still so many criminals in Gotham City. It's really frustrating. Magneto's eyebrows wrinkled slightly, obviously feeling 947 sympathy for Batman. Well done, Magneto, White Queen said with rare praise. Then Batman must be sad, she said with a smile. White Queen has a beautiful face with a light smile. There's no point in being sad, Magneto said. These criminals are lawless. We have to find it quickly, Zi Liubai too said. Her pretty eyebrows wrinkled slightly. Obviously he is dissatisfied with the environment here. White Queen, don't worry. It seems to be nearby, Magneto Zozongmin replied. After Lin En took a short rest at home, he also came to Gotham City. He has been associated with the White Queen. Although he has always been in contact with White Queen, he is still a little worried about White Queen's safety. After all, the situation in Gotham City is relatively complicated. But the original strength of White Queen cannot be underestimated. The White Queen also has Magneto's protection, so he's not too worried. Lin En felt relieved now. But, come. Harley Quinn, you must get to know her. Lin En's purpose is not just to get to know Harley. It's about taking down Harley. He also wants to bring Harley under his command. Harley is a villain with great ability. She has excellent fighting skills and a unique personality, making her a very valuable talent. If Lin En can, she can take it for her own use. Then it will be a great help to improve his strength. After all, Harley is also a very good woman. If you can brush loyalty, then Lin En's strength will also be greatly improved. Except Harley Quinn. Batman's beloved Catwoman is also here. Unexpectedly, I would meet Catwoman so soon. In this case, Lin En is welcome, all of them. As for Joker, compared to Joker's twisted emotions, it's better that Lin En takes over Harley Quinn. At least he can give Harley Quinn enough love. And that's what she's after. Ideal love. It's better than Joker anyway. In American comics, Joker has attracted much attention because of his twisted emotions and crazy behavior. Harley has attracted much attention because of her complicated background and relationship with Joker, although the two were originally a couple. But Lin En believes that it would be better for Harley to be with him. First, he can give Harley enough love. Harley has always longed for real love and care, and Lin En can satisfy her national requirements. In contrast, Joker only brings pain and suffering to Harley. Secondly, the relationship between Lin En and Harley will definitely be more stable. Joker's behavior and emotions are always unstable, and he cannot provide Harley with a stable life. In comparison, Lin En is a more stable and reliable person. He can provide Harley with a safe home. Additionally, the relationship between Harley and Lin En is healthier. Joker's emotion towards Harley is a pathological dependence. He couldn't give Harley real love and care. On the contrary, Lin En can give Harley real love and care, making her feel loved. Wang Hao, the relationship between Harley and Lin En is more ideal. Harley has always longed for true love, and Lin En can provide her with this love. In contrast, Joker only brings pain and suffering to Harley. He cannot bring happiness and satisfaction to Harley. So, Lin En started his plan. He learned about Harley's whereabouts through various channels and gradually got closer to her. By understanding, Lin En knows Harley as a person who likes challenges. Such a woman will arouse men's desire to conquer. However, Harley is not a pushover. She not only has excellent fighting skills, but also has a strong self-awareness and rebellious spirit. This kind of Harley Quinn also has a different kind of charm. Lin En is also looking forward to meeting Harley Quinn. There is also Catwoman Felina, whose charming eyes are unforgettable. She is simply a natural charmer. Catwoman's graceful figure appeared in Lin En's mind. 140. And Magneto and the White Queen. They came to Goron Town, which is one of the oldest areas in Gotham City and the poorest area in Gotham City. The White Queen and Magneto decided to stay here for a while. The two acted bravely. Let the town usher in a brief period of peace. People are grateful to them. To express their gratitude, they provided free accommodation to several people. See here. White Queen was touched in her heart. These people, even though they are in the quagmire, still want to help others. Definitely White Queen will not stay for free. They help the residents here and improve their living conditions. We quickly established good relationships with local residents. The residents are very grateful for their help and concern. White Queen and Magneto began to improve the environment here. However, after they completed some work, they found that the situation here was not as simple as they imagined. They began to notice some strange phenomena, such as some people suddenly disappearing, and mysterious symbols and marks appearing in some places. There are also some people who begin to exhibit abnormal behaviors. White Queen and Magneto began to investigate these phenomena, and gradually discovered a terrible truth. Gotham City has been controlled by a mysterious man. The mysterious man is a powerful magician who creates chaos and destruction in Gotham City in an attempt to control the entire city. The mysterious man also turned bats into slaves. There is also the Suicide Squad, which seems to be under his control. The White Queen and Magneto knew they had to take action. They set out to find Libby and allies who could help them defeat Loki. So White Queen contacted Lin En. Lin En, Gotham City doesn't seem to be peaceful. White Queen said in a serious tone. What's wrong? Lin En asked concerned. It seems that a divine man has arrived in Gotham City. White Queen said with a solemn expression. Mysterious man. Lin En was also a little surprised. Who is the one? Lin En was thinking quickly in her mind. The mysterious man has taken control of the Suicide Squad. Magneto also said. Everyone entering Gotham City now needs to go through multiple inspections. You can enter only if you agree to pass. Magneto said truthfully. Who do they seem to be looking for? White Queen expressed her guess. Prepare for a decisive battle with Loki. Lin En was a little strange when he heard this. Amanda is an extremely proud person. Will not follow other people's instructions easily. This information was obtained by White Queen and Magneto after arriving in Gotham City. When they came here, they met the robbers one after another. Don't move, hand over your valuables. The man's sinister voice sounded. A tall figure came out from the corner. He held a gun in his hand and said with a fierce look on his face. The criminal's eyes flashed with excitement. It was going to rain soon. He originally thought that he would not be able to get any money tonight and would leave empty-handed. As a result, I met the beautiful White Queen. He constantly looked at White Queen with lewd eyes. God has indeed favored me. Today's dinner is in order. The criminal burst out laughing. Magneto is also very speechless. We have clearly eliminated many criminals, but now we meet another criminal. How many criminals are there in Gotham City? Hurry up, give me the money, the criminal said in a low voice. Don't make me shoot. He was a little anxious and angry. Recently, there has been a vigilante named Batman. Fight criminals everywhere. Several of his companions were imprisoned. And he doesn't want to go to jail. Magneto looked calm and his mood did not fluctuate at all. It didn't seem like he was the one being pointed at. You can try shooting, Magneto said casually. Fake, you will regret it. A cruel smile flashed across the criminal's face. And his smile froze the moment the bullet was fired. Boom! Magneto's variant ability activates. The criminal's body flew out upside down, falling down hard. Blood gurgled out. The criminal, on the other hand, has his head erect. Has expired. White Queen's eyelids trembled slightly. Nothing more was said. She was used to it. This is the folk custom of Gotham City. It was clear that Magneto had eliminated many criminals. But there are still so many. The two of them continued on their way. Suddenly I heard an urgent cry for help. Please, let my daughter go. She is still young. Help me, Daddy. Yan Tian walked a few steps quickly. I was shocked to see three criminals covered in tattoos. They surrounded the two people in the middle. This is a father and daughter. The man is in his 30s and the little girl is only 13 or 14 years old. The clothes on his body have been torn. In Gotham City, ordinary people often live miserable lives. The White Queen couldn't help but frown. I will give you all the money and let my daughter go. The man knelt on the ground and shed tears of grief. It looked miserable. He dug in his pockets in a panic. The pocket was turned inside out, and a few coins and half a piece of moldy bread fell out. This is the property of all men. Haha, I want the money, and I want your daughter too. The middle-aged man among the three sneered. The heel of the shoe stepped hard on the man's palm. With a few clicks, several fingers were broken. The man howled in pain. Daddy, Daddy. The little girl struggled, wanting to see her father's injury. Snapped. The middle-aged man's eyes widened and he was slapped in the face. A cruel smile appeared on the middle-aged man's ugly face. The men nodded and pointed their guns at the woman. Boom! A low gunshot sounded. The little girl wanted to shout, but her mouth was covered. It could only make a whining sound. In his eyes, tears flowed down. Helpless and terrified. This is Gotham City. There are many criminals and crimes continue. No matter how painful you are to survive in 1, 2, 7. There will always be accidents that will completely destroy your life. In Gotham City, dark forces are raging and various criminal acts are emerging in endlessly. Only, the dead person turned out to be the leader of men. Brother. The two gangsters were completely confused. He was surprised and confused. Why did the bullet fly in the opposite direction? This puzzled him. Young man, you did a great job. It's admirable to eliminate relatives for justice. Magneto praised with a smile. Who are you? The gangster was startled by the sudden sound. The gangster was stunned. He didn't know who the other party was. What caught my eye was the handsome and beautiful girl group. Let him feel that the other party's identity is not simple. In a place like Gotham City, you can still be so arrogant. His identity must be unusual. With Magneto around, the bullets will fly wherever Magneto wants them to go. The two people were immediately frightened. He beat his eldest brother to death. The eldest brother is their backbone. Now they have no leader. For a moment, I felt a little at a loss. Now two more extraordinary guys have jumped out. Make them afraid. Magneto Eric. Magneto said calmly. Magneto. The two gangsters were very scared at this moment. They were immediately paralyzed with fear. Kneel on the ground and beg the other party to let him go. Magneto, please let us go. We are just being gangsters today. We are threatened by Big Brother. I can't help myself. The two began to play the emotional card. The White Queen looked at the two of them with disgust. It changes so fast, she said playfully. She was also disgusted with these criminals. The little girl who was free immediately threw herself into the man's arms. The father and daughter hugged each other tremblingly, not daring to speak. Seeing the gangsters, they were afraid of the two of them. The father and daughter also knew that these two people were probably not good people. Are you okay? White Queen's pleasant voice sounded. His tone was full of concern. The two shook their heads in fear. The White Queen is envious of girls, despite having a very unhappy life. But a girl has her father's love. This makes the White Queen envious. That's why she wants to save people. Don't be afraid, you are safe. White Queen said softly. I'm also 3.6 and I can't help myself. Magneto said innocently. Magneto calmly solved the two gangsters. He was a little surprised and looked at the White Queen. Some people can't understand what the other person does. What is this woman doing? Magneto was curious. The White Queen gave them some money. Thank you. Father and daughter thanked her. Thank you. The two of them thanked the White Queen. The man ignored the pain in his hands and left immediately with the girl. He knows very well that Magneto and White Queen are mutants. Only mutants have this ability. But what the two of them met was Magneto and the others. Because in the eyes of ordinary people, mutants are monsters. They have great strength, so they are very afraid of mutants. Even want to destroy mutant. The White Queen didn't say anything. 08. He just watched the girl leave with envy. The girl turned around and found the beauty looking at herself. So the little girl gave White Queen a bright smile. Looking at the girl's smile, the White Queen was confused for a moment. At this moment, White Queen seems to have reconciled with her childhood. White Queen looked at the girl's back and felt very warm in her heart. Because she knew that she had done the right thing. Magneto felt happy because he knew. He did something right, and he brought a little bit of positive energy to the world. The man took the girl and quickly left where the White Queen and Magneto were. They dare not stay too long because they know mutants are dangerous existences in the eyes of ordinary people. The man's hand was injured by the gangster, but he didn't care because he thought it was worthwhile to protect his daughter. Hee. Suddenly a maniacal laughter sounded. White Queen and Magneto are so elegant, Joker said playfully. What caught my eye was, one had seaweed hair and pale dye painted on his face. His eyes were flashing with madness. Below is a red mouth that takes up half of the face. That's right, it was Tien who came. Joker was laughing maniacally. Just looking at it will make people feel the chill that goes deep into their bones. Joker. Magneto felt the madness. White Queen nodded, a crazy but charismatic guy. Otherwise, Harley Quinn would not be allowed to become Harley Quinn willingly. At this time, boom, a terrifying explosion sounded. The terrifying air current carried the light of fire and swept across all directions. Huge amounts of impact fall on the moving car. The entire carriage turned violently. The blood mixed with the oil and water in the fuel tank and dripped on the ground. Gunfire rang out. A dozen gangsters shot people on the street wildly. Within minutes, the whole street was littered with corpses. There were screams everywhere. Some people looked for their broken arms in horror, but they found that there were broken limbs everywhere on the ground. There are so many that I can't tell which one is mine. There are also men who cried while holding their lovers, and were killed immediately after being shot with a bullet. Not far away, a figure wearing a suit and green hair slowly appeared. Let me introduce myself first. I am Jack Napier. People prefer to call me Joker. Magneto, White Queen, welcome to Gotham City. This is my meeting gift to you. Joker elegantly put his hand on his chest and introduced himself. Like a gentleman. But that ferocious mouth corner made everyone around him tremble in fear. Joker's ferocious smile made everyone's hair stand on end. Magneto glanced at the corpses on the ground, his eyes extremely cold. A second ago, this place was full of laughter and laughter. Now, it's like hell. Hands up or we'll shoot. More than a dozen gangsters gathered around and pointed their guns at White Queen and Magneto. You deserve to die. Magneto's voice was cold. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. Haha, look at this old man, he is still arrogant at this time. People regard you as a hero, but I want to see if your head can stop a bullet. Today, I will let you die here, you damn old man. However, this girl is really pretty. The gangsters burst into laughter. There was ferocity and lust in his eyes. Die. Magneto's voice was cold. The guns in the hands of the gangsters were out of control. Don't know what the situation is yet. Shoot, shoot. Joker yelled. But a cruel smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. The other gangsters pulled the trigger one after another. All bullets fired. However, it did not hit Magneto and White Queen on the opposite side. The bullets were flying straight towards themselves. The gangster didn't have time to react. He was beaten to death. I surrender, take me to prison. The remaining gangsters were scared to death and begged for mercy immediately. Magneto looked at the gangster with a sneer. Click. The gangster was hit with a metal weapon. The gangster's head was shattered and he was lying on the ground bleeding from all his orifices. Farkey, kill him. We have already surrendered, and you still kill him. The other gangsters yelled in horror. For the first time they felt panic. In their cognition. In Gotham City just surrender. The superhero will leave them alone. At most, it's just a squat. But it won't die. Batman is like this, the Flash is like this, Superman is like this. I'm not them. Magneto exuded murderous intent, and his eyes flashed with anger. I was wrong. I'm sorry, I don't dare to do it anymore. The gangsters begged for mercy. It's too late to regret now, Magneto said indignantly. If you want to repent, say it to the people who were killed. My mission is to send you to see them. Magneto activates variant ability. The metal weapons at the scene immediately became his weapons. He cut several gangsters in half. They surrendered and you killed people. Joker was stunned for a moment, then laughed, clapping hands excitedly. I filmed the scene just now. By then, the whole world will know that Mutant brutally killed those who surrendered. Joker's eyes flashed with madness. Mutant will be blamed by everyone. With Joker's maniacal laughter, the area was once again surrounded by dozens of gangsters. They had sticks in their hands. We surrender, kill me if you can. Coward, come on, kill me, they said very arrogantly. Turns out it's the dirty mutant. What a shame for such a pretty face. You Baichi, as long as I don't take action, you can't arrest me. Shameless. White Queen shouted. This is a typical moral kidnapping. It's hard to be a good person, but it's even harder to be a hero. A little stain will be expanded infinitely. In the end, he was ruined. Mutant only improved his favorability. It will disappear immediately. Magneto doesn't waste 240 chapters either. If you want to die, just come here. Killing intent flashed in his eyes. Magneto is killing everyone here. On the other side, the father and daughter had just successfully escaped. On the way, the man silently protected the girl. They didn't speak, just walked silently. The girl waited until she was in a safe place before cautiously asking her father if it hurt. The man knew that the girl must be frightened. She is still a child. Finally, they arrived at their destination and turned around and entered the house. After returning home, the man cleaned his wounds, then sat on the sofa, thinking about what happened today. He knew that everything he did today was to protect his daughter. This was what he should do as a man. In this world, mutants are often discriminated against and persecuted, but men do not take this for granted. He believes that everyone should be treated equally, regardless of whether they are mutants or not. The man realizes that mutant is not entirely a bad person. Magneto kills bad guys. He is protecting himself. It's just that men don't know that they will definitely meet if it's later. Will be blown to ashes. The gangsters outside have been eliminated by Magneto. At this time, a figure arrived belatedly. You shouldn't have killed them, AIA. A deep voice sounded, and a figure came out of the shadows in the distance, wearing a black combat uniform with a bat logo on the chest. Batman, Bruce Wayne. Magneto sneered inwardly. If I don't kill them, why don't I wait for them to kill me? Magneto asked in a funny tone. You weren't the one who was killed, so this is the Virgin, the White Queen said casually. Batman is still too holy. Face these criminals. If you pity them, you are irresponsible to ordinary legal people. Those who kill will always be killed. A sinful city like Gotham City should be attacked hard. Let these social worms consider the price of death when they commit crimes. Hit with one punch to avoid hundreds of punches coming. They deserve to die, Magneto said solemnly. White Queen nodded slightly, agreeing. Batman frowned and warned. Don't cause trouble in Gotham City, otherwise, I will arrest you. From the previous confrontation, he could identify the person in front of him. The strength is extraordinary. Gotham City is already in chaos, and he doesn't want any more accidents. Hello, Bruce Wayne, Magneto said with a smile. White Queen looked at Batman in surprise. The messenger of justice in this dark night turned out to be Bruce Wayne, a super rich man. Assets are spread all over the world. Real wealth is beyond compare. Batman's eyes sharpened suddenly. The person in front of me actually knew his identity. Huh? Wrong? The person in front of me looks somewhat familiar. Hello, I'm Eric. Magneto introduced himself. He did not hide his identity as Magneto. His identity is a secret from others. It's easy to understand the existence of Batman. Eric, Magneto from Hellfire Club. Batman was stunned for a moment, his eyes wary. He still knows about Magneto. I think back then, Magneto and Professor X were the strongest beings in mutant. Looking at the White Queen's face, she also became clear. If nothing else, this woman's identity is also unusual. He thought to himself. White Queen looked at Batman speechlessly. Why is Batman like this? Rich is really rich. Why are people speechless? I'm Emma. White Queen said casually. So what if you have money? Lin En is also very rich and much more handsome than Batman. How can a woman who has seen a real dragon fall in love with someone else? Even if you are a very rich Batman, it is not an exaggeration. Goods are afraid of comparisons with goods, and people are afraid of comparisons with others. White Queen of Hellfire Club. Batman also knows something. White Queen nodded slightly in agreement. You don't need to think about it to know that the few people next to you are also members of the Hellfire Club. Batman also knows about the Hellfire Club. This organization is a supervillain organization. The group often clashes with the mutant superhero team the X-Men. It is mainly controlled by some mutants whose abilities and social status are far beyond ordinary people. Although it appears to be just an international social club for wealthy individuals, the core group behind it seeks to influence world events. Mystique on the side took out the file with a smile and handed it over. Definitely, it's all simple information. Fraud syndicate. Batman rubbed his eyebrows. What he hates most is this kind of criminals who get something for nothing and disrupt social order. Being scammed. The police chief was deceived. The more Batman looked at him, the more his face changed. Finally, under the mask, his handsome face was full of astonishment. .00. He was speechless. This criminal gang actually came to Gotham City, which is really interesting. Magneto also felt incomprehensible. Maybe he wants to take advantage of the chaos in Gotham City to try to escape. White Queen said thoughtfully. Mystique nodded. But, when you said that, I suddenly remembered what happened some time ago. Batman has some big ideas. The bank under my property suffered a horrific explosion, but there were no bomb fragments at the scene. Batman presses the button on his arm. A light curtain appeared with several photos on it. In the photo, the steel was easily cut into 8 pieces. Several figures rushed into the bank, and then the camera was destroyed. How short of money are these guys? Mystique complained. Look at this crazy look. If you think about it, you will know how chaotic the city is. He even dared to rob Batman's bank. One can imagine. Batman is not very intimidating. None of these criminals seem to be afraid of him. Kikikakai, this is the fate of mercy. As the saying goes, a good horse will be ridden by others, and a good man will be bullied by others. Batman's approach to imprisoning criminals. It didn't scare the gangsters. It can be seen from this that we cannot be merciful towards our enemies. You should take advantage of his illness and kill him. Only in this way can there be authority. Only then can you sit firmly in the highest position. Can we find them? Batman asked. Both White Queen and Mystique were speechless. If you can find them, they won't be like this anymore. You can't find them either. Magneto asked. Good guy, I'll grab your money at your doorstep. You can't find them either. It's really arrogant. It seems that the forces behind them are far more than what they seem. Then what are you going to do? Magneto had murderous intent in his eyes. Find them and kill them directly. These fraudsters do all kinds of evil. Batman nodded. I'll go back to Wayne Group first. There is a program there that can call up all the cameras in Gotham City. Batman clicked the button. At this time, a streamlined sports car flew towards me in the distance. The shape is handsome, the color is all black, and the weather is good. The low roar demonstrates strong horsepower. Magneto looked up. Obviously some approval. No man can refuse Batman's sports car. Are you going together? Batman asked. Magneto shook his head. I'll go to the bank first to see if there are any clues. White Queen and Mystique also shook their heads. Okay, I'm leaving first. Batman said. The sports car disappeared at the end of the field of vision like a black stream of light. I have to say, Batman's sports car is very cool. After Batman leaves, the weird laughter came again. That's right, it's Joker. Even though he was laughing, but a hint of ferocity flashed across his face. Primary schoolboy, get rid of this annoying guy, White Queen said without hesitation. She just felt weird about this crazy Joker. Magneto didn't waste any time. He directly activated his mutant ability and sent Joker away. No amount of conspiracies and tricks are of any use in the face of absolute strength. And at this moment, in a luxurious bar, there is a basement. In a pool of viscous liquid, Joker climbed out. 1.8. There was no madness in his eyes, only an extremely cold gaze. He picked up the red wine on the side and took a sip. Then he threw the goblet in his hand on the ground. Red wine flows on the ground. Under the illumination of the light, it is crystal clear. What was reflected was a crazy face. After Magneto finished dealing with Joker, he caught up with Mystique and White Queen. That's it, Joker. Magneto was speechless. Look at Joker's arrogant look. I thought the other party was so powerful. Isn't it nothing more than that? Magneto had some doubts in his heart. It shouldn't be. Is Joker such a weakling? He thought to himself. But he forgot about the other person. Someone related to Joker. Behind them, 12 at this moment, people from the Suicide Squad also appeared. Harley Quinn. She looked at Magneto, anger evident in her eyes. At this time, the controlled Deadshot also appeared. A sinister smile appeared on Deadshot's face. Harley Quinn, this group of people who don't care about life and death, let's beat you up. The controlled Deadshot said. The words were no longer hints. Harley Quinn did not answer his words, but looked at Magneto and his companions coldly. Deadshot looked at Harley Quinn with interest, expecting her to take action. Isn't this a mutant? Captain Boomerang said in surprise. Mutant, Amanda said, came here so quickly. Killer Crocodile was in high spirits. I've placed an order, can you not be happy? After completion, there will be a reward of reduced sentence. It can not only kill boring time, but also reduce the sentence. Where can I find this kind of best of both worlds? Interesting, the Revenge Demon said. The Revenge Demon looked at the scene in front of him with interest. Obviously he was looking forward to this action. After the members of the team appeared, the scene became more tense. Harley Quinn's eyes were fixed on Magneto, obviously very dissatisfied with his appearance. Deadshot showed a sinister smile. Obviously he was looking forward to this battle. Harley Quinn, these idiots dare to hit your Joker. Come and take action. Deadshot said. His words were no longer hints, but direct provocations. He was in high spirits and paid no attention to the battle. Loki's order to him was to capture the mutant. Don't let anyone go. Harley Quinn felt uncontrollably angry and glared at Magneto without flinching. She won't let anyone slight or hurt her dearest Joker. Other members of the team were also attracted by this unexpected situation. White Queen immediately sensed the killing intent behind her. Someone is coming. The White Queen raised her hand. Indicates that enemy 097 people are approaching. Magneto and Mystique immediately understood. They turned around. I found Harley Quinn and Deadshot. Suicide Squad. Mystique exclaimed. Obviously they know this group of people. I've been discovered. The Revenge Demon said happily. Harley Quinn. Magneto started. He saw the flamboyant Oda and at a glance. It's somewhat similar to Joker's outfit. Harley Quinn admires Joker very much. It can be said that after Harley Quinn met Joker, her life trajectory changed dramatically. As a psychiatrist, she couldn't imagine it. Now she will become a member of the Suicide Squad. But the powerful Magneto is far more than they can defeat. Plus there's White Queen. Emma Frost has extremely exquisite skills in this aspect. Emma is considered a world-class telepath. Omega-level telepathy. The atmosphere at this moment is very tense, and a war is about to break out. Suddenly, the surrounding space surged. A purple portal appears. An extremely handsome man walked out from inside. The angular face of Long Guo is very handsome. The beautiful eyes are like a deep pool of water. You can fall for it at a glance. Lin En. White Queen shouted happily. She was in a rare mood of joy. Take the initiative to pull Lin En up. Lin En nodded. Looking at the chaotic environment in front of him, Lin En disagreed. Saw Joker's body. But he immediately thought of the Dionysian factor. This also means that Joker is almost impossible to eliminate. Look at the scene in front of you. Mystique felt her scalp numb, and the depressing atmosphere made her breathless. That's a lunatic, you don't need to pay attention to him. Lin En spoke to comfort him. Handsome face with a light smile. It seems like it doesn't belong here. Mystique couldn't help but take a second look. Handsome guys and beauties attract attention wherever they go. Beautiful appearance is rare. Mystique looked a little dazed. But when she saw White Queen, intimate with Lin En, Mystique understood. It turns out that Lin En and White Queen are together. Mystique sighed. Such a handsome boy, why didn't he meet him earlier? But now, no matter how sad it is, it can't change this fact. At this time, in the sky, Batman jumped from the suspended fighter plane. His eyes were full of shock, even a little unbelievable. In his opinion, his biggest opponent, Joker, died like this. It made him a little bit incredible. Then he brought the found information. I found the traces of the fraudster. However, it was found at the high-speed rail station in Midway City. A high-speed train running there was destroyed. Batman was silent for a moment and continued. Midway City was shrouded in a strange black fog 12 hours ago. All messages were interrupted. Midway City, the high-speed rail was destroyed. At this moment, the phone suddenly rang. However, he discovered that there was one more person. Batman, Zhao Hao, always feels familiar. Can't remember where I saw it? Let's go to Midway City. Lin En snapped his fingers. Immediately, he convened a portal. Batman was very surprised when he saw this scene. Sometimes, magic is better than technology. Midway through the city, a portal appeared. Lin En walked out of the city. Everything around them made them frown. Everywhere he looked, there were ruins. Streets shattered. Vehicles were overturned on the road. The building not far away was still billowing thick black smoke. Through the collapsed floors, you can see the blazing fire. There was a burning smell in the air. In this destroyed city, people fled in all directions, looking for shelter. The streets are littered with rubble and debris. Many buildings have collapsed. Flames are burning and smoke is filling the air. In this disaster, life has become insignificant. The survivors can only continue to look for hope of survival in the ruins. However, in this chaotic world, some people are struggling for survival. They are a group of soldiers who joined voluntarily. Their mission is to protect survivors and ensure the safety of the city. They patrol the streets and alleys, alert to any possible threats. On the edge of the city, there is a temporary base where many survivors have gathered. There they waited for rescue, while also trying to find other survivors. At this time, they need Sedge to support and help each other to overcome the difficulties caused by this disaster. However, somewhere in this city, a powerful force is raging. A witch lost control, leading to this disaster. Her name is June Moore, an existence with a history of more than 6,000 years. She is a powerful witch who masters terrifying magic. Her power is so great that she can control the fate of an entire city. At this time, an archaeologist named Joan Mooney, in an accidental collision, a powerful witch, June Moore, was released, and the witch took over the original body. Chaos begins. A disaster seems to have happened here, Magneto said in a deep voice. He looked at the injured man with a look of shamelessness in his eyes. Human beings are so insignificant in the face of disaster. He sighed inwardly. It should be the Suicide Squad witch who is out of control. Lin En looked solemn. Batman looked at Lin En with a shocked look on his face. He didn't know how this boy from the Dragon Kingdom knew so much. Who are you? Why do you look familiar to me? Batman couldn't help but ask. I'm Lin En. Lin En said with a normal expression. Hiss. Lin En. Batman is no longer calm now. That's right. That's Lin En in that news report. Batman said. Lin En nodded in recognition. Batman admires Lin En very much in his heart. His understanding of Lin En remains at 0133101112 He is a brave man. Batman admires Lin En very much. Congratulations on gaining the loyalty of Batman Bruce Wayne. Loyalty level, 30. Lin En heard a familiar electronic sound. I also felt a little happy. Batman's loyalty is there. Next, you can give it a good brushing. Then reward for free. Isn't it wonderful? Lin En's peripheral vision glanced at Batman inadvertently. But Lin En didn't expect that he knew a set. Batman's loyalty to him already reached 30. It can be said to be very fast. You know, loyalty is not that easy to come by. Batman's loyalty seems to be easier to cultivate than a woman's. Lin En thought to himself. However, Lin En quickly analyzed. Maybe it's because Batman has justice in his heart. But he is exactly such a person. But, have to say, Batman is also a powerful man. I wonder what the rewards will be? No matter what the reward is, this action will undoubtedly bring him huge rewards. Lin En thought secretly. White Queen looked at Batman's surprised expression, her heart filled with satisfaction and pride. Yes, she said proudly. She has a beautiful face and a proud smile. With this expression, she looked even more aura. Look, this is my man. White Queen thought to herself. This shows how happy the White Queen is. Good guy, you're just spreading shit, Magneto thought to himself. But on the surface, he didn't say anything. He sighed secretly in his heart. This is just spreading dog food. He is really envious, jealous, and hateful. In this world full of battles and adventures, they not only possess powerful abilities, and have each other's company and support. This spirit of solidarity and mutual help. It will make them stronger in the future journey and jointly create a better tomorrow. Suicide Squad was called upon to take action. Go to support. Later, Amanda sent people to the cave and searched for the witch's heart. In order to stop June Moore's destructive behavior, some brave people embarked on an adventure. They head to the cave to find June Moore's heart. This is a key item that can control the behavior of witches. Therefore, everyone pays attention to the situation of the witch. There is no way, the powerful magic makes people's hearts flutter. Please give me flowers 00. No one cares about strength and money. Lin En naturally doesn't mind having too much money. Catch 1. The main thing is to take initiative. They must face countless dangers and obstacles to complete this task. In the ruins of the city, people are still fighting for survival. 0. They are looking for hope among the ruins. At the same time, he is also fighting to protect other survivors. At this time, we need to unite and face this disaster together. Only through cooperation and hard work can all these difficulties be overcome. Amanda thought she could control this power, going so far as to have a witch join the suicide squad. Just Joan. Mooney said the word witch. The soul of the witch June will gain control of the body. Her appearance will also change. From the original blonde, transformed into a witch with black hair and green eyes. And this act of seeking death also paid a price. During a mission, the witch lost control of 0. The witch found the seal and the statue of her brother the wizard, and successfully released the wizard. Then the two share a heart. After a short exchange, the wizard learned that witches were actually being used by humans. He felt disgusted with human beings in his heart. It's better to control Blue Star in our hands, the wizard said seriously. You can consider 240. The witch did not object. She also wants to have freedom, for humans who want to control themselves. I don't like the witch at all. In that case, let's take action now, the wizard said. His eyes flashed with excitement. He liked the feeling of controlling human beings in this way. In his view, human beings are nothing more than a group of ants. Blue Star now has some powerful mutants, the witch said matter-of-factly. As for these mutants, the wizard said with some disdain, we have powerful magic. So what about mutant? The two of us will be invincible if we join forces, the wizard said confidently. The witch nodded in approval. Then, the two wanted to cover the entire Blue Star with black magic, take over the world again. And Lin En remembers, Joker rescued Harley Quinn. It seems that it will appear in this city. Lin En's eyes revealed a murderous intent. It smells of magic. Lin En perceived this. I don't think it's easy either, White Queen also said. Magneto nodded and said nothing. He knows Lin En's strength. Mystique also expressed approval. Today, the fraud syndicate must die. As for Joker, he has to try again to see if he can kill him, Lin En thought secretly. At this time, several soldiers came over. Who are you? Batman comes forward and reveals his identity. I'm Batman, Wayne. The soldier looks at Batman's iconic costume. He nodded and put away the gun. At this moment, the soldier looked at Lin En and the others behind Batman. Where are these people? The soldier asked doubtfully. They are my friends, Batman said with a normal expression. We were notified that a terrorist incident occurred in Midway City. Now come and find out why. When the soldier heard this, a respectful look immediately appeared in his eyes. Who cannot admire heroes? Ordinary people cannot intervene in such a large-scale disaster. Lin En sighed inwardly. The soldier listened to what Batman said. Great, he said excitedly. He knew that everyone could be saved. The eyes that looked at Lin En and the others also became respectful. Magneto was speechless for a while. People can be 1.1 so realistic. Mystique couldn't help but complain. This is human nature, Lin En said calmly. Human desires are also very interesting, White Queen said with interest. Otherwise, how could our club be so bad? Most of Hellfire Club's performance comes from those high-level government officials. And Suicide Squad, it's similar to a club. Change the soup but not the dressing. 2. Mystique nodded. Among the scammers, there seems to be some who can do magic, Lin En said with a normal expression. Lin En, your guess may be right. Batman nodded in approval. Except for the reason of magic. There's really no way to explain it. Gangsters can easily cut open the equipment. That set of flowing movements. Let Batman only think this way. That's 12. White Queen also agreed. Ordinary people simply don't have this ability. If you have to say it. These gangsters must be mutants, or magic. Nothing else is possible. The current situation in Midway City is extremely chaotic, Lin En said thoughtfully. These people may be hiding here. Why? Just how to find them? Batman was at a loss. He placed his hope on Lin En in front of him. He knew Lin En must have a way. This group of people can be found. These gangsters do all kinds of evil. If you don't catch these people quickly, who knows when I will get information about the scammer again? Batman thought to himself. If we go by the way, we can kill the witch easily, Lin En thought to himself. It's easy to find them, Singh said confidently. With our White Queen here, these are minor issues. Yes, White Queen and Teacher Lin En can definitely defeat them if they join forces, Magneto said happily. White Queen's strength cannot be overshadowed. It'll be easy to handle it all here, White Queen said happily. Her beautiful face has a faint smile. Obviously, she is powerful. At this moment, an unknown number called. Lin En hung up directly. Why didn't you answer? Magneto asked curiously. Lin En shrugged his shoulders. It's a scam call. It's better not to answer unknown calls. In a secret building, Amanda hung up Deadshot's phone with an excited look on her face. Lin En is in Midway City. People in the conference room became excited when they heard this. Hear this. Loki's face finally showed a smile. Lin En, you are finally here. Loki's cold voice sounded. The person he hated most in his heart appeared. After 2 days of searching, we finally had a breakthrough. Fortunately, everyone in the team was controlled by him. In addition, it strengthens their strength. 997's current team's combat power has been directly doubled. All this is to deal with Lin En. Loki was very happy. With help from Deadshot and others, Loki didn't believe it. He couldn't beat Lin En. Lin En is in Midway City. Let's go find him, one of the team members suggested. No, we cannot act rashly. Loki said calmly, we need more intelligence to understand his strength and purpose. Then what should we do? Another team member asked. We need to continue to track his whereabouts and strengthen our training and equipment. We cannot take it lightly or we will pay the price. Everyone nodded in agreement, knowing Loki was right. One more thing, we need to find that mysterious organization as soon as possible. They may have an impact on our actions. Loki said again. I understand. The team members agreed. These people are controlled by Loki. Loki can also instill mysterious energy into humans, giving them temporary superpowerful stars. Therefore, there are many people who voluntarily surrender to Loki, just to get more powerful energy. After the meeting, the Yin family began to divide work and cooperate. Continue to track Lin En's whereabouts and strengthen training and equipment. Loki also began to investigate the mysterious organization. He knew that this matter was very important and must be resolved as soon as possible. Loki was full of confidence and contentment, and he believed there was help from Deadshot and others. They will be able to defeat Lin En and defeat his enemies once and for all. Loki is convinced that his plan will succeed, and he will not let go of this opportunity and will make Lin En pay the price. In this secret building, Lu Ji's conspiracies and plans are going on. But Lin En didn't know it yet. Loki had appeared. A decisive moment. Coming soon, it will be a life and death fight. Loki firmly believes that he will win. He vowed to let Lin En feel his power and anger. During this time, Lu Ji has been working secretly. He believes that he can now compete with Lin En. So he is confident that he can defeat Lin En. However, these are Loki's unilateral thoughts. Only Loki thinks that this time, he can defeat Lin En. Imagination is beautiful, but reality is cruel. In fact, Lin En doesn't even care about Loki, because Loki's strength is not as good as him. At this moment, the depressing atmosphere in the room instantly dissipated a lot. Just because Loki knew where Lin En was. Everyone except him showed a relieved smile. As for the reason, it's all because of Loki. They now all answer to Loki. After a while, several non-commissioned officers came out of the temporary base. There was enthusiasm in their eyes, as if they had seen their favorite item. Is it him? Several people held their mobile phones and compared them. There is a photo of Lin En on the phone. That's right, the roadbed is in action. It should be. Isn't there just this yellow-skinned pig here? An officer said with certainty. That's right. The person who just asked laughed at himself. They looked at Lin En and became fanatical. All this is just because they, Zhao, received a notice from Amanda. Whoever catches Lin En will be rewarded heavily. Look at that exciting reward. Even if they are in official positions. I couldn't help but feel excited. His palms trembled slightly. Not scared, but excited. As long as you catch Lin En, these rewards will be yours. $1 billion? Let this veteran lose his temper uncontrollably. Only. They knew that Lin En had such a bounty. Naturally, he is not an ordinary person. They didn't dare to act rashly. Lin En noticed the gazes of these people. Something bad. Cow. Lin En couldn't help but curse. Lin En, who uses telepathy, immediately understood why these people looked at him. What's wrong? White Queen asked concerned. Her pretty eyebrows wrinkled slightly. Look at them. Lin En's eyes fell on the officers just now. White Queen also activates telepathy. 323 hiss. Lin En, are you worth 1 billion? White Queen said dissatisfied. Lin En had a question mark on his face. Bounty has been put on the labor and management. Do you think the money is too little? Lin En was speechless. Are you concerned in the wrong direction? Lin En said angrily. No, I think you are a priceless treasure. White Queen said seriously. It's really annoying that these humans use money to measure you. 1 billion. Magneto exclaimed. Teacher, who did you offend? He asked with concern. Lin En nodded with satisfaction. You still care about the teacher. Lin En said. Amanda's reward. Amanda so arrogant. The White Queen was also a little skeptical. Who knows? Lin En always feels that things are far from being as simple as they seem. Lin En, you seem to have provoked some big shot. Mystique said in confusion. A look of worry flashed through her beautiful eyes. Even if it is fleeting. However, it was still captured by Lin En. Huh. Lin En looked at Mystique next to him. Somewhat unexpected. I just seemed to see. Worry in Mystique's eyes. Lin En thought to himself. Only then did he remember. Mystique is also a beautiful beauty. It would be a good thing if we could capture her. When I think of Mystique's variant ability. This made Lin En a little excited. Mystique can change the structure of its own cells and tissues. Therefore, she can change into anyone's appearance. Including irises, fingerprints, skin texture, voice, and even gender. What you wear can also imitate the texture of any clothing, even glasses. Therefore, she seldom wears clothes. She can also change the position of her body organs to avoid fatal injuries to her body in critical moments. In addition, another of her abilities is slow aging, and she claims to be nearly 200 years old. He has good skills, but at the same time he is ruthless. He is a very colorful character. Mystique, though, can copy the appearance and even physical abilities of others. But she cannot truly copy other people's ability. Sometimes it's hard to define whether Mystique is a villain or a villain. Her whole life consists of betraying others. She can betray anyone without any guilt in order to survive. Except for two people, Raxhasa and Destiny, she never sacrificed her life for anyone in her life, but she was willing to go through life and death for the Raxhasa girl. She never trusted anyone in her life, but she only believed in fate. However, maybe this is the so-called causal loop. The adopted daughter, Little Naughty, also disliked her bad moral character and never forgave her. The fate of her lover cannot be like hers, close to eternal life and unable to stay together forever. I don't know what the mystique here is like. Because the Ancient One magician can actually be a cute little loli. This makes Lin En a little unbelievable. Now he doesn't understand mystique either. Therefore, he is still a little curious about this. At the same time, everyone in the Suicide Squad also received Loki's orders. Deadshot, you must capture Lin En, alive or dead. Amanda gave the order coldly. Copy that. Deadshot replied very respectfully. Who made the call? Killer Croc asked. Sir, Amanda has instructions. Deadshot replied. Catch, hold, Lin En. He said word by word. His eyes fell cruelly on Lin En not far away. Lin En? Harley Quinn asked doubtfully. It's that yellow-skinned pig not far away. Deadshot said casually. It turns out it's him. The revenge demon said. But, Midway City is now facing huge amounts of crisis. Harley Quinn asked with a puzzled look. Isn't it time to solve the current difficulties now? Our target is Lin En, the rest has nothing to do with us. Deadshot said without any concern. It was at this time that Harley Quinn started to fall in love with Joker. There is still a trace of kindness in her heart. Even if she likes to be crazy now. This confused and disappointed Harley, because she felt that they should focus on current problems instead of only caring about their own interests. In this world full of darkness and chaos, Harley Quinn has been looking for the meaning of her existence. She was a psychiatrist. Until she later met the person who changed her life, Xiaotian. Please give me flowers. Later, he was attracted by Joker's personality charm and became his subordinate. Although she has deep feelings for Joker, she also realizes that it often brings destruction and pain. Although deep down in Harley's heart, there is still a trace of kindness. But her behavior became increasingly crazy and violent. She often makes some unexpected moves, such as robbing on the street or attacking police officers. This worried her companions. But Joker has always supported her, thinking that she is just pursuing freedom and excitement. However, as time passed, Harley began to develop deeper feelings for Joker. She found herself infatuated with Joker's crazy smiling face, his unfettered lifestyle and his unique perspective on life. Harley began to feel that being with Joker was the most important thing in her life, and she was willing to do anything for him. Originally everything would develop in this direction. However, due to the appearance of Lin En, destined to change reality, and Lin En would do it another way. Come to the rescue of a confused Harley Quinn. He will tell Harley what the meaning of her existence is. Lin En, now Midway City is facing huge amounts of crisis and needs your help. Batman's voice was filled with anticipation. He seemed to have grasped the last hope. Lin En said angrily, 097 I can't help, I still have my own things to do. Batman said anxiously, I can give you money. Or other requirements. In this world, having super ability does not mean having money. Otherwise, there wouldn't be that many villains. The normal operation of the world is made up of ordinary people. Even Superman must abide by the rules. In this world, making money is harder than obtaining super ability. No need. Lin En refused directly. He has system space and a lot of money. It was all compensated by the government last time. Joke. You already have your own system, but you're still short of money? By the way, don't escape in a helicopter for a while. Lin En said calmly. As long as you are in a helicopter, you will be shot down within 1 kilometer. Immediately, Lin En wanted to turn around and leave. As for what will happen next, he has no control over it. Batman was also stunned. Then, he came to his senses. Lin En, what else does Batman want to say? But there is no good reason. It is a duty for others to help you, but it is a duty not to help you. When the words came to my lips, I swallowed them again. In the end I just said thank you. Thank you, Batman said gratefully. Lin En nodded. No respond. Lin En's figure moved, and his whole person turned into a stream of light, flying towards the Midway City. At this moment, on the dim street, Deadshot stood on the roof of the car, shooting wildly. In front of him, countless monsters with ugly faces swarmed over. Harley Quinn swings a baseball bat and knocks a monster to the ground, chewing gum in mouth, killing the monsters one by one. Hey, these monsters are really too many, Harley Quinn said. He's not as fast as my bullets. Deadshot laughed. He hadn't felt so good about shooting in a long time. Holy crab, run, Boomerang exclaimed. In the distance, monsters like a sea tide swarmed in. The number is huge and makes people shudder. Retreat, retreat. Deadshot also shouted and jumped directly from the roof of the car. Oh, if Joker is here, he won't retreat. Harley Quinn blew a big bubble. Beautiful girl, this is the 10th time you have mentioned Joker in 5 minutes. Deadshot said angrily. If you don't run away quickly, you will be torn apart by these monsters. Boomerang opened his mouth, showing a gold tooth, and laughed. Aha. Harley Quinn snorted unconvinced. In the face of sheer numbers, she also retreated. Harley walked behind the crowd with her beautiful white legs. Farkey, we are also surrounded from behind. Colonel Freya cursed. Oh, likewise, Freya also had an identity. The boyfriend of the female archaeologist whose body was taken over by a witch. It's over now, Boomerang said desperately. He fell to the ground. Okay, let's say your last words. Huo Man sat on the roof of the car, playing with a wisp of flame in his hand. There are so many monsters, even if he unleashes all his strength, he still can't destroy them. He knew it was the end of the world. I don't want to die, Boomerang said angrily. As a captain, he has an unyielding spirit. Katana gently touched the Japanese sword in his hand and said softly, Husband, I can come to accompany you. Her husband was killed by the knife and his soul was absorbed by Katana. At this moment, Katana was saying her final goodbyes to her husband. Fuck. Harley Quinn tidied her clothes. Am I beautiful? Then she smiled and asked. Beautiful girl, you are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. Deadshot Fu was not stingy in his praise. Thanks for the compliment. Harley Quinn responded cheerfully. I'm still thinking about beauty, woman, even after I die. Killer Crocodile couldn't help but complain. He squatted on the ground. Looks indifferent. This group of villains, when facing death, he behaves more calmly than ordinary people. If Joker were here, we could be saved. Harley Quinn sat on the roof of the car, shaking her beautiful white legs. Shut up, I get annoyed when I hear that name. Captain Boomerang said angrily. It's already this time, and I'm still crazy. Killer Crocodile continued to complain. With so many monsters, it's useless for him to come. Huo Man also said. At this time, a figure suddenly appeared in front of him. The speed is so fast that it is jaw-dropping. Then, a light wave containing huge energy appeared. It's impossible to look straight at. The terrifying energy light waves swept towards the monster behind. Everywhere he went, everything was cut in half. The figures of the running monsters suddenly stopped. The next second, the monsters were split in half. The bloody upper body fell neatly to the ground. However, the terrifying energy does not stop. Rush directly to the tall building behind. Rumble, the tall building broke into two parts. The upper part smashed to the ground. It caused violent vibrations. The dust that covered the sky was flying, accompanied by a strong impact. I want to spread 617 around. People were shrouded in fear and panic and fled the scene one after another. There was chaos in the streets, with screams and shouts happening one after another. At the same time, the power of light waves has not stopped yet. It continued to spread around, destroying buildings and anything in its way. People witnessed the power of this destruction and felt huge amounts of fear and helplessness. However, amidst the fear there is also hope. Lin En's figure appears in people's sight. He exudes powerful energy, protecting and saving people in the city. I'm terrific. Harley Quinn opened her mouth in shock. Harley Quinn's throat rolled. Swallow the gum in your mouth again. Isn't this Amanda going to catch Lin En? At this moment, Harley Quinn is looking at Lin En, who is standing in front of the monster group. Asked doubts. She didn't expect that Lin En would come forward. This made Harley Quinn admire Lin En. Holy crab. Deadshot also said in shock. The black man showed his only white teeth. The powerful energy made Boomerang's scalp feel numb. It's Lin En. Katana said in disbelief. Suddenly Lin En flew into the sky so fast that there was no afterimage. Invisible to the naked eye, Lin En took action calmly and attacked the monster again. White Queen and Magneto also joined the search for the fraudsters. The White Queen looked at Lin En's handsome appearance. My heart is filled with pride. Lin En is really amazing, she said very proudly. Congratulations on gaining the loyalty of White Queen Emma. Loyalty level, 50. Lin En heard a familiar electronic sound. Is this how much loyalty the White Queen has to herself? Lin En was speechless. It seems that White Queen still needs some encouragement. Lin En thought to himself. However, the White Queen's nymphomaniac look is actually a bit cute. It was in sharp contrast to her proud appearance. Magneto is also very envious of Lin En. What men yearn for more is the sales calendar the next day. Lin En not only has strong strength, but also has superior appearance. Acquire Magneto loyalty. Magneto loyalty level, 80. Congratulations to the host for receiving rewards. Physique plus 250, strength plus 250, speed plus 250, mental power plus 250. The familiar electronic sound sounded again. It's Magneto's loyalty. This value is quite acceptable. Lin En was very happy. Teacher is so strong. Magneto praised without any hesitation. That goes without saying. White Queen said arrogantly. The beautiful face is full of pride. The most shocked one is Batman. Hiss. Lin En is so strong. Batman's eyes widened. It's hard to imagine that Batman, a genius of his generation, would show such an expression. Then he looked at Lin En with respect. A person with great strength is not greedy for money. Just perfect. Directly let Batman look at Lin En with admiration. Congratulations on gaining the loyalty of Batman Bruce Wayne. Loyalty level, 50. The system beep sounded again. Is this an agreement to form a team? Lin En was speechless. Batman's loyalty is straight up to 50. There is still a little bit to go before you can get a reward. The promise of. But. Lin En is naturally happy. Another reward. Can you not like it? It's just that I didn't do anything, dog. Why does loyalty seem to be free of money? There has always been. Lin En is a low-key person. White Queen said. Low-key. Batman was speechless. That's right. It seems that the one flying in the sky now is not Lin En. So this is called low-key. Batman was speechless. Teacher is indeed very low-key. Magneto also nodded in approval. There are too few people as strong and humble as Lin En. White Queen continued. Batman was speechless. Just pretend he didn't say anything just now. Batman didn't expect that he would be so speechless. Magneto and White Queen are really good at talking. Compared to how many people reacted, Mystique seemed a little calm. However, Rao has seen the world. I also admire Lin En with admiration. 077. Lin En's strength is indeed strong. Let Mystique feel it, too. No wonder Lin En can be Magneto's teacher. Mystique thought to himself. She looked at Lin En's effortless look and admired her heart. At this moment, Lin En is as dazzling as a savior. Not to be looked at directly. Even the White Queen is such a proud person. Everyone is full of praise for Lin En. It can be seen from this. The latter's strength has far exceeded imagination. This made Mystique couldn't help but become curious about BCDD, Lin En. Mystique looked at Lin En not far away strangely. Congratulations on gaining Mystique loyalty. Loyalty level plus. The familiar electronic sound sounded again. Even in battle, Lin En can do two things at once. Mystique's loyalty? Finally come. Lin En thought of Mystique's variant ability. Wouldn't it be possible to play and sing every night? Don't say it's not the same 365 days a year. As long as Lin En thinks, she can never repeat the same thing in her life. Digging, Lin En's happy life begins with owning Mystique. Lin En couldn't help but looked back at her. His eyes briefly fell on Mystique. Mystique was a little flustered when she saw Lin En's eyes. She didn't expect that Lin En would suddenly look back. This made her feel surprised and happy inside. It is unimaginable that at this time, it was Lin En who stepped forward. Lin En. Harley Quinn seemed to have thought of something. Her eyes widened. Look ahead. In the sky. Deadshot, who is good at shooting and has sharp eyes, said. Everyone looked up. I saw it suddenly, suspended in midair. Lin En is falling slowly. So many monsters. Harley Quinn was actually worried about Lin En. Looking at Lin En's back. An imperceptible worry flashed across Harley Quinn's eyes. This scene was captured by Lin En's super perception. Lin En didn't expect that Harley Quinn would have a worried look on her face. It seems that the Rubik's Cube hero's story of saving a beauty can be used all over the world. Lin En thought to himself. Lin En continued to attack the monster. Farkey, he can fly. God, the suffocating pressure. Everyone in the Suicide Squad exclaimed. Lin En seems to be helping Midway City to resolve the crisis. Boomerang said with a puzzled look. It seems like that. Katana also said thoughtfully, are you still arresting Lin En now? Colonel Freya said with a hint of hesitation. Colonel Freya's hesitation is not unreasonable. Although Lin En is a criminal, he just protected everyone. But now, Amanda's order cannot be disobeyed. But he didn't want to let his companions get hurt. He needs to make a difficult choice between the two. Therefore, he fell into a tangle. We must catch him. The controlled Deadshot was afraid of Lin En's strength. But even more frightened, Loki's anger. Deadshot knew that if they did not catch Lin En, the consequences would be disastrous. This. Killer Crocodile said with some embarrassment. He felt that they should be grateful to Lin En for his help instead of treating him as an enemy. But, Lin En just protected us. Katana said truthfully. That's true. Boomerang also said. She felt that Lin En's behavior was out of good intentions and they should not attack him. Do you want to disobey Amanda's order? Deadshot said with a cold expression. Boomerang also spoke. We cannot ignore Amanda's orders. He knows this is a difficult problem, but a balance needs to be found. Deadshot's expression turned cold. I don't care what you think, I only know that I must carry out Amanda's orders. He didn't want other people to influence his decision, because he knows that this is a very important task. Colonel Freya sighed. Okay, we will capture Lin En. But we need to be careful about this. He knew they had to carry out their mission. So, they began to formulate a plan. To facilitate catching Lin En. They knew this would be a difficult task. It is also a task they must complete. They will do everything possible to keep themselves and others safe. Hear this. Harley frowned, her pretty eyebrows. She was just a little confused. For your own life and life. Please give me flowers. It wasn't until Joker appeared that she found the joy of life. Now I see Lin En like this. Harley felt something touched deep in her heart. Maybe, I can find another way to find the life that belongs to her. Harley Quinn has been through a lot, including losing her mother, being abused, and being forced to become a crime queen. 0. These experiences made her cold and lonely, but also made her full of questions and confusion about life. Before she met Joker, her life seemed to have no meaning. She has no friends, no family, no love. She was just a lonely person wandering aimlessly in the city. However, her life changes when she meets Joker. Joker taught her how to enjoy life and how to feel the joy of life. He makes Harley feel needed and important. This feeling was something she had never experienced before. However, Joker looks so distant. It left her feeling huge amounts of loss and loneliness to eat. Until I saw Lin En. Harley began to rethink her life, and realizes that she can't always rely on Joker. She needs to find her own way of life and her own happiness. Lin En's behavior. Harley's heart was touched. Lin En is a kind and gentle person. His existence made Harley start to think about his own lifestyle of 7 or 83. She realized that she could have chosen a different path. She can choose to be a kind, loving person. Find another way to love yourself and life. At this moment, the confusion in Harley's eyes gradually disappeared. Her eyes also became clear. Harley's life has always been complicated, but she is not a hopeless person. She can choose to change herself and find her own life. She can choose to be a loving, compassionate person who helps those in need. You can also choose to be a happy person and enjoy the beauty of life. Harley's life has gone through many changes, but she finally found her own path. She chose to change herself and become a better person. No matter what Harley's life experience is, she can choose to change herself and become a better person. Lin En didn't expect it. I will have such little impact on Harley. However, Harley's change is also a good thing. When several people were discussing, careful Boomerang found Harley in a daze. Harley, what are you thinking about? In such an emergency situation, you are still in a daze, risking your life. He said somewhat speechlessly. Now they are in danger. If it weren't for Lin En's appearance, if nothing unexpected happens, they've reached their limit. It even spilled blood on the battlefield. At the same time, behind them, the monster has rushed up. Suicide Squad couldn't care about Lin En at this moment. In this crisis-ridden world, survival is the most important thing. Fake. So many monsters make me suffer from trypophobia. Shit. Several people began to complain. Facing countless monsters and dangerous situations, several people began to feel anxious and irritable. They kept complaining and cursing, but this did not change the current predicament. Lin En is over there. Deadshot reminded. Thank you very much, Deadshot. Let's see if you can survive the siege alive, the colonel said speechlessly. However, the colonel didn't take Deadshot's words seriously. He believes that in this case, it is important to save one's life and one should not take risks. Although his words were a bit harsh, they also reminded everyone of the importance of survival. However, Deadshot seemed unheard of. 5.3. The opportunity is close at hand, Deadshot continued to say without giving up. The fireman felt very irritated by Deadshot's words. You go ahead, Huo Man took the time to say. He knows that Deadshot is also for everyone's benefit, but in this case, his words were somewhat inappropriate. He hoped that Deadshot could understand the current predicament. Instead of blindly insisting on your own ideas. Finally, Deadshot finally shut up. He also realized that the current situation was not suitable for risky actions. He began to look for other ways out, hoping to lead everyone out of the predicament. Saving your life now is the most important thing. Everyone has their own ideas and beliefs, but when facing difficulties, everyone needs to unite and support each other. Only in this way can we overcome all difficulties and find a way out for survival. At the same time, Lin En took action again. He uses his mind control skills to use things around him to attack monsters. In an instant, the broken walls and ruins on the street have become Lin En 12's weapons. Launched a devastating attack on the monster. The Suicide Squad's eyes widened. Shortness of breath. Lin En's explosive strength was beyond their imagination and beyond their knowledge. They marveled at the strength displayed by Lin En and felt that their existence seemed to become insignificant. Lin En defeated thousands of monsters with one move. The remaining energy light waves directly cut off the tall buildings. A monster waving its face to the entire street. This kind of power is so exaggerated that it refreshes their three views. Fake. For the first time, I feel like I'm a waste. Boomerang took a breath. He realizes that he is insignificant in the face of Lin En's power. Deadshot held the gun in his hand tightly, trying to bring himself a sense of security. Powerful, too powerful. Fireman shrank his neck. And Huo Nan also felt Lin En's power. He is the strongest being in the Suicide Squad. He could summon terrifying flames, but he also felt that he was just a weak existence in front of Lin En. They were all shocked by Lin En, the power of extraordinary imagination. Lin En's strength has exceeded their knowledge. They began to think about their own ability and the value of their existence. Facing such an opponent, they will have to use their strongest strength to face the next challenge together. Lin En's strength shocked and disturbed everyone in the team. Lin En can't be Superman, right? Colonel Flag guessed. They have never seen such a powerful opponent and even doubted whether Lin En was Superman. There is no shortage of smart people in this world. Some people have already linked Lin En and Superman. Especially Batman. He has a whole set of methods to punish Superman. Unfortunately, Lin En does not have kryptonite, this fatal flaw. But they also know that now is not the time to be afraid. They need to unite and fight this threat together. We need to find a way to catch him. Deadshot said with a solemn face. Otherwise, Amanda will not let us go. We can join forces to attack him. Fireman said confidently. My flames can attract his attention. No, we can't rely on brute force to deal with him. Boomerang said. We need to find his weaknesses and then attack his weaknesses. So Suicide Squad began to closely observe Lin En's actions and look for his weaknesses. Is this his mutant ability? Deadshot said. Maybe. Harley Quinn said casually. She chewed another piece of gum in her mouth. Using mutant ability requires consuming most of the body's energy. Deadshot analyzed calmly. They found that Lin En needed to consume a lot of energy when using his mind control skills. If we can attack him before his energy is exhausted. Deadshot licked his lips and said excitedly. Maybe we can defeat him. He was as happy as if he had discovered a new world. So, the team formulated a plan. They were divided into two groups. One group was responsible for attracting Lin En's attention, and the other group took the opportunity to attack Lin En. The plan was quickly put into action. Deadshot and Boomerang attracted Lin En's attention. They were in the streets, causing a lot of noise and chaos. Huonan and other Suicide Squad members took the opportunity to approach Lin En and tried to launch a sneak attack on Lin En. However, their plan did not succeed. Lin En seemed to have expected it. Don't overestimate your capabilities. Lin En didn't even raise his eyelids. This Suicide Squad seems to have some ideas of its own. Lin En guessed in his heart. Wrong. Lin En has only arrived in Gotham City not long ago. Is it Amanda? Lin En was speechless. He quickly shifted his attention to their actions and controlled their actions with his thoughts. The members of Suicide Squad were trapped in place by Lin En and could not escape. It seems our plan failed. Boomerang sighed. We can't give up. Deadshot continued. We must find the right time to defeat him. The team began to reassess their strategy, trying to find a more effective way to fight against Lin En. They know that this is a life and death battle and they must go all out to protect themselves. Lin En is too strong. A sense of powerlessness arose in Huonan's heart. After seeing Lin En's strength, Huonan believes that even if he tries his best, Lin En cannot be hurt at all. Why do you think Lin En is a bit handsome? Harley said playfully. It didn't look like he was joking. Help, you don't like the enemy anymore, do you? Boomerang said speechlessly. He found it difficult to understand Harley Quinn's behavior. She is obviously a psychiatrist, but she has become a little crazy. He even developed a crush on that Joker. Perhaps because of Joker's unique charm and difference, Harley was attracted to him. But for Boomerang, he couldn't understand why Harley Quinn was so obsessed with that crazy Joker. Harley, what are you talking about? Deadshot also frowned and asked. I said Lin En is very handsome. Harley chuckled. He is also very strong. I think he is a very charming person. Are you messing around? Deadshot said angrily. We are fighting the enemy now, not falling in love. Killer Croc is also very speechless. I just like him a little bit. Harley said truthfully. It's not a good thing to like an enemy. Boomerang warned. You have to clearly define your position and not let your personal feelings affect Renluo. I know, I will control my emotions. Harley nodded. Okay, now let's find a way to deal with Lin En first. The Colonel said. He is indeed very strong, but we cannot just surrender. Yes, we can't give up. Katana said. We have other players who can join the fight. That's right, we can't just throw everything at it. Boomerang said. We need to unite as one to fight this enemy together. After hearing his words, everyone nodded. They know that now is the time to test their combined strength. In midair, Lin En was still dealing with countless monsters. Lin En is really handsome, Harley thought to herself. Harley Quinn stood at the angle of death and looked at Lin En. The appearance is still resistant to beating. Especially the latter exudes powerful strength. He stood in front of the sea of monsters. Arrogant and handsome. She looked so arrogant that she fell in love with him at a glance. After Lin En controlled the team members, clear the last wave of monsters. Lin En, why are you so handsome? White Queen exclaimed, looking at Lin En's calm and relaxed appearance. White Queen has more love for Lin En. Lin En heard this. The corners of his mouth began to rise slightly. It seems the White Queen's loyalty is about to become higher again. Lin En is waiting for the system prompt tone. What's the situation? System. Lin En thought secretly. BCCD. You swallowed my reward. Lin En almost wanted to curse. The system still did not reply to Lin En. Cow, you don't play like this. Lin En was speechless. I want to scold but I can't. There is no prompt from the system. Could it be that the White Queen's loyalty has not changed? Ha, a woman's mouth is a liar. Men and women alike. Lin En was also speechless at this moment. It sounds nice. Loyalty has not increased. Good guy. The water in White Queen is a bit deep. Although the loyalty has not increased, Lin En is not angry either. He has many ways to make the White Queen give up. At the same time, all monsters were taken care of by Lin En. However, everyone in the Suicide Squad is still where they are. Fuck. Deadshot is all your fault. Killer Crocodile said. What now? Katana asked anxiously, seeing that Lin En has solved the monster. Next, shouldn't it be time to deal with them? Thinking of this, Katana spoke to her katana again. It's like saying a final goodbye. Deadshot, please say something. Boomerang also said. Lin En is about to come. This bad guy who robs banks and commits all kinds of crimes felt fear for the first time. Everyone in the Suicide Squad felt fear, except Harley Quinn. Boomerang really convinced Harley Quinn. As for Amanda and Loki, why haven't you come to Zonta City for so long? The reason is because Amanda is also surrounded by monsters, and it was specially taken care of by the witch. The reason is Amanda, trying to manipulate the witch. This made the witch who regained her freedom hate Amanda very much. It was also the fuse of this disaster. By finding the heart of the witch, Amanda controlled the witch in her own hands. Unexpectedly, the succubus was helped by her brother, the demon Nightmare. The two share a heart. Only then did the witch escape from Amanda's control. Then Midway City fell into chaos. Under the operation of witches and wizards, a monster craze swept across. Let's start with the entire Midway City. Sister, this blue planet will soon be ours. The wizard said happily. A cruel smile appeared on his face. In his opinion, these small humans, they're all ants. Therefore, he doesn't care about human life or death. Plus what happened to the witch? It makes wizards even more indifferent to humans. Fortunately, I met my brother. The witch said happily. Otherwise, I would have to be controlled by this demand, Rizzy. The expression on her face also became ferocious. It can be seen from this. How much she hated Amanda. Haha, let these ants kill each other. The wizard said playfully. The two brothers and sisters were enjoying the scene of human beings killing each other. Yes, these terrible monsters. It was not released by two people. They conjured it up. Haha, it's also quite interesting. The wizard continued. The smile on his face became even bigger. It seems that he is quite satisfied with the current scene. Yeah, just watch Superman take it upon himself to destroy all the humans he wants to protect. Please give me flowers. The witch said with interest. I seem to be looking forward to that scene. What's going on? Haven't we already received the news that Lin En has appeared? How come there are so many monsters? Loki was also a little confused. I don't know either. Amanda replied truthfully. He was already severely injured by Lin En. With the help of Chidori, he recovered. After arriving at Blue Star, I originally got news from Lin En. Let Deadshot lead the team to delay time first. He plans to go into battle himself, to avenge previous shame. As a result, he encountered countless monster attacks. Loki was confused and surprised. He originally thought that he and Lin En were the only ones fighting on Blue Star, but now, they encountered countless monster attacks. Then what should we do now? We can't wait here forever and be besieged by these monsters. Amanda asked in a panic. We need to find a way to break out, Loki said calmly. We need to use our strengths, find weaknesses, and then attack. Loki analyzed calmly. So what are we going to do? Amanda asked. We have to stick together, Loki said firmly. Follow me. Amanda and the rest of the group obey Loki's orders. These monsters are powerful existences to Amanda. However, these 150 monsters are nothing to Loki. It's just that there are too many monsters. It was hard for Loki to hold on. Amanda listened to Loki's suggestion and gained some confidence. She knows that only by uniting can we defeat these powerful enemies. Analyze the weaknesses of these monsters, Amanda ordered calmly. At the same time, Lin En on the other side has slowly walked towards Suicide Squad. Lin En, it's all a mistake, Colonel Freya said bravely. Although his identity is a colonel, he usually scolded the members of the Suicide Squad. However, facing Lin En, he didn't even dare to show off. The terrifying destructive power made him feel terrified. These monsters are human beings. Magneto walked over and picked up the corpse of the monster. A human ID was found. Let's change the subject. As soon as these words came out, everyone fell silent. These monsters turned out to be human beings. Looking at the tens of thousands of corpses again, the feeling in my heart was different. The colonel had been talking to Amanda on the phone. Amanda heard this. Some couldn't believe it. Then the voice of his subordinates sounded. Sir, these monsters seem a bit familiar. The subordinates reported the situation to Amanda truthfully. What do you mean? Amanda looked at him confused. They don't seem to appear out of thin air. How to say? Look, the scraps on these monsters don't look like the uniforms of police officers. So, these monsters are them. Smart Amanda understood immediately. I hope it's not them. There was a sad look on the man's face. God bless them and they are safe. We are all colleagues. We've been together for so long. It is a lie to say that there is no emotion. Are these monsters humans? Loki asked in disbelief. It's a witch, Amanda said with a sigh. Witch? Not the archaeologist. It's her, and it's not her. Amanda shook her head. Witches are controlled. Her heart is the key to control. Today's witches must have changed. Amanda said with certainty. What should we do? The subordinate said in a panic. They are 4.4 aware of the strength of witches. He has the magic ability to turn his hands into clouds and turn his hands into rain. The witch's target is me, Ashiji said slowly. She sighed. It seems that he has made a lot of determination. Sir, we need your guidance, the subordinate said immediately. Loki frowned. What's wrong? White Queen asked confused. She looked at the people in the team and couldn't move. They want to do something to me, Lin En said solemnly. What? Magneto looked confused. You actually want to attack the teacher, Magneto said angrily immediately. I want to complain about Lin En. White Queen and Magneto were shocked and angry when they heard Lin En's words. What's going on? White Queen asked. Why did they attack Lin En? I don't know either. Lin En answered truthfully. This is too much. Magneto said angrily. We can't let them treat our teachers like this. Yes, we can't sit idly by and watch. White Queen said. We must protect your teacher Lin En. Magneto nodded. Let's go together. Magneto said. I will protect teacher Lin En. After that, Magneto and White Queen, and Mystique. We walked towards those people together. Their aura is so powerful that people dare not approach them easily. Plus the mighty Lin En, right behind them, make the people of Suicide Squad look ashen. What are you going to do? White Queen asked. Why do you want to attack Lin En? Wow, they're here. Harley said happily. It's over. Huo Man said immediately. It's Amanda's order. The Colonel answered truthfully. We have to obey the order issued by Chief Amanda. Did Amanda say the reason? Lin En asked. No, Lin En knows. In their heads, all have nanobombs. So Amanda must obey her orders. It looks more handsome this way. Harley Quinn looked at Lin En. Handsome and responsible. Tisk tisk. I kind of like it. Harley Quinn thought to herself. Congratulations on gaining Harley Quinn loyalty. Loyalty level, 20. Huh. Lin En listened to the sound of the system. WC, Harley Quinn loyalty. He thought to himself. although some of them are incomprehensible. He looked over to Harley Quinn. Is this the time to cut off your own hair? Once you have loyalty, you can focus on attacking later. White Queen noticed Lin En's gaze. What are you looking at? Lin En, she asked curiously. Just stare at the beautiful woman if you have nothing to do. What beauty can be as good looking as me? White Queen thought to herself. 160 but. Harley Quinn has a pair of big white legs. But White Queen's protruding figure cannot be covered up. I found that the black guy in the back was very murderous. Lin En pointed at Deadshot and said. I didn't. Deadshot said immediately. I'm afraid that if I'm a second too late, I won't have a chance to talk anymore. I advise you to wait until later. R&D said softly. Have you ever heard of the gentle knife, which can cut people's lives? There was a faint smile on her face. Under that sweet smile. But he said such cruel words. Lin En's eyes fell on Deadshot behind him, intentionally or unintentionally. This made Deadshot feel a sense of uneasiness and fear. Don't worry, we will definitely find out the reason. Deadshot spoke first, trying to appease Lin En's concerns. Being smart, he immediately realized something was wrong. Deadshot was afraid that Lin En would ask him something, or what Lin En would do to him. However, Lin En just showed a meaningful smile and did not respond immediately. This smile made Deadshot even more uneasy, wondering what Lin En wanted to express. His heart was filled with guessing and fear. He was not sure what action Lin En would take against him, but he knew that he had to deal with it carefully. In a tense environment, Deadshot felt the pressure and threat from Lin En. He knew that he would become the object of Lin En's attention, which made him more vigilant and prepared for possible situations at any time. Deadshot, do you know anything? Boomerang said immediately. He didn't want to die like this. The Colonel also stared at Deadshot. I just said that there is something different about you today. Huonan also asked. Deadshot, you seem to be very determined to capture Lin En. Killer Crocodile also understands now. For the sake of the mission, Deadshot doesn't care about his opponent's life or death at all. Can you not complete the mission? Deadshot tried to calm down his mood. Then he asked rhetorically. Could it be that your wife was killed in the bombing? Deadshot said yes. There is nothing wrong with this reason. But Lin En's intuition told him that there was something wrong with Deadshot. I just feel that Deadshot has become less talkative. Harley Quinn blinked her big eyes and said thoughtfully. Lin En's eyes, intentionally or unintentionally, fell on Deadshot behind. This made Deadshot feel uneasy and frightened. Don't worry, we will definitely find out the reason. Deadshot spoke first, trying to appease Lin En's concerns. Being smart, he immediately felt something was wrong. Deadshot was afraid that Lin En would ask him something, or what Lin En would do to him. However, Lin En just showed a meaningful smile and did not respond immediately. This smile made Deadshot even more uneasy, wondering what Lin En wanted to express. His heart was full of suspicion and fear. He was not sure what action Lin En would take against him, but he knew that he had to deal with it carefully. In a tense environment, Deadshot felt the pressure and threat from Lin En. He knew that he would become Lin En's attention, which made him more alert and ready to deal with possible situations at any time. Deadshot, do you know anything? Xiang Boomerang said immediately. He didn't want to die like this. The Colonel also stared at Deadshot. I just said that there is something different about you today. Huo Man also asked. Deadshot, you seem to be very determined to capture Lin En. Killer Crocodile also understands now. Okay. For the sake of the mission, Deadshot doesn't care about his friend's life or death at all. Can you not complete the mission? Deadshot tried to calm down his mood. Then he asked rhetorically. Do you want to be bumped to death? Deadshot said yes. There is nothing wrong with this reason. But Lin En's intuition told him that there was something wrong with Deadshot. I just feel that Deadshot has become less talkative. Harley Quinn blinked her big eyes and said thoughtfully. What Harley Quinn wants is the simplest companionship and sincerity. I need to influence her. Raiders Harley Quinn. At this moment, Amanda's voice suddenly came from the Colonel's headset. Suicide Squad, return to headquarters immediately for assistance. Amanda called. Roger that, the Colonel replied bitterly. He was filled with helplessness and confusion. I can no longer cope with the situation in front of me. When a bodhisattva crosses the river, he cannot save himself. How can we separate some people and go to the headquarters to provide assistance? 450 Amanda ordered us to go to headquarters. The Colonel said matter-of-factly. Amanda asked us to go back to headquarters. What happened? Huonan didn't know the situation either. The headquarters was also attacked by monsters. Deadshot, who had been silent, suddenly said. How do you know? The Colonel doesn't even know. Boomerang asked doubtfully. Because the Colonel himself didn't know. The situation became more urgent and the team faced a difficult choice. They must make decisions as quickly as possible while overcoming difficulties and protecting the safety of the headquarters, BCBD. Deadshot remained silent and gave no explanation. Lin En looked at Deadshot, something seemed different. Deadshot shook his head guiltily. I just learned the news. Then what should we do now? Huoman asked. We must go to the headquarters and protect the people there. The Colonel said. Now we can only do our best and hope to protect the headquarters. But we don't have enough staff now. There may be more monsters over at the headquarters. Wanda said worriedly. We cannot give up. We must do our best to protect those people. The Colonel said. We must believe in ourselves and our team. Okay, let's go to the headquarters together. Huonan said. I'll go too. Harley said, I'll go too. Boomerang said firmly, I'll go too. Killer Crocodile also said, okay, let's set off now, the Colonel said. Several members of the Suicide Squad did not dare to disobey Afuta's orders. Because Amanda is inside their bodies, the implanted bomb is no joke. A wry smile appeared on several people's faces. Lin En, can you let us go? As you can see, we can't help ourselves, the Colonel said bitterly. Lin En didn't speak, he just looked at a few people calmly. He didn't plan to do anything to the people in the Suicide Squad. He's only slightly interested in Harley Quinn. As for everyone else, Lin En doesn't want to know either. Lin En, you don't remember the faults of villains, please let us go. We know we were wrong. Boomerang begged for mercy. At the moment, all dignity is gone. They just want to survive. Give you a chance to make up for your mistakes. Lin En stood there and said calmly, thank you Lin En. Several people expressed their gratitude to Lin En. However, I have a request. Lin En added. What request? The Colonel said through gritted teeth. I want you to find out why Amanda wants to arrest me, Lin En said casually. Lin En's eyes fell on Deadshot behind him, intentionally or unintentionally. This made Deadshot feel a sense of uneasiness and fear. Don't worry, we will definitely find out the reason. Deadshot spoke first, trying to appease Lin En's concerns. Being smart, he immediately realized something was wrong. Deadshot was afraid that Lin En would ask him something later, or what Lin En would do to him. However, Lin En just showed a meaningful smile and did not respond immediately. This smile made Deadshot even more uneasy. He didn't know what Lin En wanted to express. His heart was full of suspicion and fear. He was not sure what action Lin En would take against him, but he understood that he had to deal with it carefully. In a tense environment, Deadshot felt the pressure and threat from Lin En. He knew that he would become the object of Lin En's attention, which made him more vigilant and prepared for possible situations at any time. Deadshot, do you know anything? Boomerang said immediately. He didn't want to die like this. The Colonel also stared at Deadshot. I just said that there is something different about you today. Huo Man also asked. Deadshot, you seem to be very determined to capture Lin En. Killer Crocodile also understands now. For the sake of the mission, Deadshot doesn't care about his opponent's life or death at all. Can you not complete the mission? Deadshot tried to calm down his mood. Then he asked rhetorically. Could it be that your wife was killed in the bombing? Deadshot said yes. There is nothing wrong with this reason. But Lin En's intuition told him that there was something wrong with Deadshot. I just feel that Deadshot has become less talkative. Harley Quinn blinked her big eyes and said thoughtfully. When Deadshot heard this, he suddenly felt something bad. Lin En listened to Harley Quinn's answer. I already have the answer in my heart. Deadshot. Lin En shouted Deadshot's name. Deadshot knew that he had been noticed by Lin En. He said bravely, Lin En, what do you want to do? Deadshot took a deep breath and said. Lin En narrowed his eyes slightly. He looked at Deadshot with sharp eyes. Please give me flowers. Deadshot knew that he had been discovered. So he retreated quickly, trying to escape from here. However, he is faster and Lin En is faster. Deadshot was immediately heartbroken. Where are Deadshot going in such a hurry? Lin En said with an unchanging expression. Lin En glanced over. Deadshot's body was out of control. Deadshot feels. His body was controlled by a powerful force. He couldn't move, he couldn't speak. His heart was filled with fear and despair. He knew that he had fallen into Lin En's hands. You know, Deadshot, I've been observing you. Lin En's voice was calm and indifferent. Let Deadshot feel a chill rising from the solace of his feet. I know you can't help yourself, but you have offended the wrong person. There was a hint of appreciation in Lin En's words. But at the same time, it also reveals the threat of Japanese stocks. However, your behavior is very abnormal. Lin En's words revealed a serious meaning. Let Deadshot feel that he has made a huge mistake. You know what, Deadshot, if you don't do what I ask, I will make you lose what you value most. There was a hint of threat in Lin En's words. Let Deadshot feel desperate. I don't know what you want me to do, Lin En. 11. Deadshot's voice trembled, and he felt that he was completely under control. I want you to do something for me. There was a hint of mystery in Lin En's words. Deadshot felt that he had been involved in an unknown world. I'd do anything for you, Lin En. Deadshot's voice was full of fear and helplessness. He knew that he could no longer escape. Deadshot, I want to see who controls you. There was a hint of satisfaction in Lin En's words. Let Deadshot feel that he is completely under control. Deadshot doesn't know what he will do for Lin En, but he knew that he could no longer escape. He could only wait silently, waiting for Lin En's next order. Suddenly, Lin En raised his hand. Deadshot immediately felt that he was controlled by Lin En. His body flew towards Lin En involuntarily. His heart was filled with fear and despair. Lin En, let me go. I didn't promise you. I'd do anything for you. Deadshot shouted in horror. But his voice was muffled by Lin En's palm. The power of life and death lies in Lin En's hands. It seems that you still don't understand the situation, Lin En said meaningfully. His voice was full of ridicule and threats. What exactly do you want from me? Deadshot asked tremblingly, his voice full of fear and helplessness. Are you sure you don't want to tell me? Deadshot. There was an irresistible temptation in Lin En's words. Let Deadshot be in a trance for a moment. I don't know what you are talking about. Deadshot avoided answering Lin En's question. This is your choice, Deadshot. There was a hint of coldness in Lin En's words. Let Deadshot feel that he is completely under control. I've given you a chance, why don't you cherish it? Lin En's voice was full of confusion. In that case, it's not up to you? There was a hint of sneer in Lin En's words. Let Deadshot feel that he has no way out. There was confusion in Deadshot's eyes. You don't need to understand, Deadshot. There was a hint of coldness in Lin En's words. Lin En immediately activates telepathy ability. In the memory of Dead 3.7, a vague face appeared. Is it him? Lin En said thoughtfully. Deadshot nodded without thinking. Lin En felt that this figure looked familiar. Loki doesn't know it yet, but he has been exposed. Who could it be? Lin En rubbed his eyebrows and said helplessly. Is there anything else you want to say, Deadshot? There was a hint of majesty in Lin En's words, which made Deadshot feel helpless. I am willing to do anything for you, Deadshot said tremblingly. His voice was full of fear and helplessness. He could only watch helplessly as he was caught by Lin En. Deadshot felt that his body was being controlled. He could not move or speak. You should know by now how insignificant your power of 15 is. Lin En's voice sounded in Deadshot's ears. You are just a pawn, and the other party can abandon you at any time. Deadshot felt his heart beating rapidly. He didn't know what Lin En wanted him to do. He could only wait silently, waiting for the fate of his fate. Lin En immediately cut off and controlled the energy zone of the Deadshot. Deadshot's eyes became clear. He looked at Harley Quinn next to him. Why am I here? Deadshot asked. We are on a mission. Harley Quinn replied. Don't you remember? She asked. Deadshot shook his head, expressed ignorance of the situation. Deadshot is indeed under control. Magneto said. Loki. Lin En said thoughtfully. It turns out it was him. Everyone was a little surprised when they heard Lin En's words. They didn't expect that the man behind the control of Deadshot turned out to be Loki. It seems that the person we are looking for is Loki, White Queen said. But where is he? Magneto asked thoughtfully. It's impossible for Loki to only control Deadshot. Lin En said solemnly. You mean, there are other people who are also controlled? Mystique said. It was Chief Amanda who issued the order to arrest Lin En, the colonel said matter-of-factly. Hearing this, he understood clearly. Everyone was a little surprised when they heard Lin En's words. They didn't expect that the man behind the control of Deadshot turned out to be Loki. It seems that the person we are looking for is Loki, White Queen said. But where is he? Magneto asked thoughtfully. It's impossible for Loki to only control Deadshot. Lin En said solemnly. You mean, there are other people who are also controlled? Mystique said. It was Chief Amanda who issued the order to arrest Lin En, the colonel said matter-of-factly. Hearing this, he understood clearly. It turns out that there is a deeper conspiracy hidden behind this incident. Lin En, we are friends now, can you let us go? The colonel said bravely. Lin En, we can go to headquarters together. Harley Quinn also said. Lin En nodded and said yes. Several people dared not take a breath. I have to check to see if you are being controlled. Lin En said calmly. Okay, Boomerang said. After inspection, several people are normal and not controlled by Loki. Okay, you can go. Lin En let go. Several people received temporary forgiveness, and they immediately left this place and headed to the headquarters. Along the way, they dealt with the monsters they encountered without fear. After going through some twists and turns, they finally returned to the headquarters, but their hearts were still filled with fear and uneasiness. Looking at the building, it was filled with monsters. Several people's scalps were numb. Sir Amanda, we have arrived at the headquarters. Colonel Freya reported to Afuda. As you can see, the witch is out of control, it's the monster she summoned. Amanda said helplessly. This arrogant leader also felt the fear of death at this moment. The headquarters has been surrounded by monsters. Now we need to cooperate internally and externally to fight our way out of this monster siege. Amanda ordered. The tone was very tough and there was no room for negotiation. After hearing this, Colonel Freya sighed deeply. Roger that, sir. There are more and more monsters. We must seize the time and take action immediately. Colonel Freya then said. But, monsters are all human beings. Harley Quinn said. A look of embarrassment flashed across her beautiful eyes. Then what should we do now? Deadshot asked. We can send a team out to lead the charge. The rest dealt with the aftermath. To prevent us from being besieged by monsters, the colonel proposed a plan. Several people nodded in agreement and agreed. Faced with such a critical situation, they must work closely together to protect the safety of the headquarters. Okay, then we will send out a team to take the lead and try to eliminate the monsters as soon as possible. Boomerang also said. I'm going with Deadshot. Harley Quinn said. I'm going too, said Colonel Freya. I'll take care of the aftermath. Katana said. After several people agreed, they immediately divided into two groups. Deadshot and Harley Quinn led a group to the monster gathering place, while Colonel Freya was responsible for command and support. Deadshot and Harley Quinn arrived at the monster gathering place and immediately felt the strong malice and danger. Monsters are all turned into humans, but their bodies have mutated and become extremely strong and ferocious. Their eyes are shining with green light, making people shudder. Deadshot and Harley Quinn immediately launched an attack. Their agility and tacit cooperation quickly eliminated a group of monsters. However, there were too many monsters, and soon more monsters came up and surrounded them. Deadshot and Harley Quinn fought side by side, constantly attacking monsters, but they gradually felt the pressure. We need backup. Deadshot shouted. We can't give up, Harley Quinn said firmly. The two continued to hold on until Colonel Freya and reinforcements arrived. Well done, Colonel Freya praised. Now we attack together and we will definitely be able to destroy these monsters. Magneto looked at the team, submerged in the tide of monsters, asked somewhat uncertainly. Lin En, are we really not going to help? Magneto said. I won't help, Lin En said calmly. Then what are we doing here? Magneto continued to ask with some confusion. Waiting for someone. Lin En replied. Eric, are you done yet? White Queen said speechlessly. White Queen has not yet been able to have a formal dialogue with Lin En. She felt a little impatient with Magneto's curiosity. She hopes to have an in-depth communication with Lin En. But Magneto kept asking questions, like a curious baby who is never satisfied. The White Queen looked at Magneto, feeling a little dissatisfied. She knew that Magneto had always been a talkative person who always liked to interrupt, regardless of whether others were willing to listen to him or not. Lin En, who do you think we are waiting for here? Magneto continued to ask. Joker and Loki. Lin En replied. Oh, I know. Magneto nodded and continued to look at the scene in front of him. White Queen looked at the scene in front of her, feeling a little uneasy. She was already a little irritable. She knows that this is a very dangerous place and these monsters are very powerful. If you are accidentally surrounded by them, the consequences will be disastrous. I just have some questions to ask the teacher, Magneto explained. He felt that facing Lin En, he seemed very ordinary. Lin En is so outstanding and radiant. Eric, can you shut up? White Queen said dissatisfied. Sorry, White Queen, Magneto said awkwardly. The White Queen knows that Magneto is a well-meaning person, but he is always a little too impulsive and reckless. He always likes to meddle in other people's affairs and always likes to express his own opinions. What are we going to do? White Queen asked. We can only wait for the opportunity and then protect ourselves as much as possible, Lin En said. Protect yourself? White Queen asked. Yes, we can't put ourselves in danger, Lin En explained. White Queen nodded and continued to look at the scene in front of her. She knew that at this time, she had to stay calm and not be easily intimidated. She must believe in her and her teammates' abilities and will be able to overcome this difficulty. We will definitely see them, said the White Queen. Yes, Joker is coming soon, Lin En also said. Several people watched everything in the building. Suicide Squad's battle went smoothly, and they finally managed to fight their way out. A long fight. It also made them feel exhausted, but they also felt a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. We succeeded, Deadshot said with a smile. Yes, we really did it. Harley Quinn also laughed. Boomerang also showed a smile. Great. We must find Chief Amanda quickly, Colonel Feleg said. Sir Amanda. Feleg began to try to communicate with Amanda. There is a sizzling sound coming from the headset. Amanda also heard Colonel Fegra's answer. It was just because of monsters that the communication base station was destroyed, leaving them unable to contact the Suicide Squad outside. But, simply speaking, Suicide Squad has already eliminated most of the monsters. So, Loki and everyone started a breakout operation. They took advantage of their 670, constantly moving and attacking to create chaos. Loki took a deep breath and looked into the distance. He knows that this is just a new beginning and they still have a long way to go. However, as long as they unite as one and support each other, they will be able to overcome all difficulties and welcome the dawn of victory. Loki looked around, looking at the densely packed monsters, and couldn't help but feel worried. There are too many of these monsters, and their power is also very powerful. If effective strategies are not adopted, it may be difficult to break through. We need to use our speed and strength to create chaos and distract them, Loki suggested. So what do we do? Amanda asked. We can attack from all directions at the same time and create chaos. Then, we can take advantage of the opportunity to find their weaknesses and attack them, Loki explained. Amanda nodded in agreement. They started to take action and quickly rushed towards the group of monsters. They constantly create chaos and distract the monsters from their concentration. At the same time, Loki is also looking for the monsters' weaknesses and preparing to attack. They help each other, even if there are tens of thousands of monsters. But they all put up a fight. Loki also spends energy to provide them with energy. It can double their combat power. The aftermath can make Loki feel more at ease. After a fierce battle, they finally succeeded in breaking out. They looked at the group of monsters behind them and couldn't help feeling a little emotional. This battle made them deeply realize that the power of unity is infinite. Amanda took everyone to the escape tunnel successfully. The few people who came out were very happy. Hello Amanda, Loki, and the others successfully got on the helicopter. We made it, Amanda said excitedly. Yes, we succeeded. But we cannot take it lightly, we still have a long way to go, Loki reminded. Although they suffered some injuries, they finally succeeded in breaking out. They kept going, constantly looking for a way out. Although there are countless obstacles and challenges ahead, but they already have a firm belief in their hearts that as long as they unite as one, they can overcome all difficulties and ultimately win. Amanda got a new headset. 1.6. She arranged for her men to spread out the ladder, and successfully contacted the Suicide Squad. Let the Suicide Squad personnel below come up quickly. Boomerang, come up quickly. Great, Chief Amanda is here to save us. Boomerang burst into tears. Harley, Colonel, let's retreat quickly. Copy that. The Suicide Squad members climbed up the ladder one after another. They left here together, knowing that this battle was not over yet. They need to continue fighting until the monsters are completely eliminated and the world is protected. The battle was extremely fierce and there were too many monsters. Their attacks were once suppressed by the monsters, but they did not give up. They cooperated with each other, launched attacks continuously, and finally won the victory. Is everyone okay? The Colonel asked. We are all fine. 15. Fireman said. I'm fine. Wanda said. I'm fine too. Boomerang said. I'm fine too. Deadshot said. That's great, everything is fine. The Colonel breathed a sigh of relief. Amanda also felt a wave of relief. It's just that they haven't been happy for 2 minutes yet. Said the helicopter was attacked by unknown weapons. What's going on? Amanda's voice was a little panicked. Reporting to the commander, the plane has been attacked by an unknown object. Is it necessary to land as close as possible now? The pilot was constantly sweating on his head. Amanda, who thought she had narrowly escaped death, was faced with a life or death situation. Amanda and the Colonel heard the news that the helicopter was attacked. They all felt frightened and nervous. Change course and avoid the attack as soon as possible. The Colonel immediately ordered the plane to change its route. However, they soon discovered that the attack power of this weapon was so powerful that the helicopter had no room to dodge. We have to land as soon as possible, Amanda shouted. When the pilot heard her words, he immediately adjusted the attitude of the plane and prepared for landing. However, at this moment, they were attacked again. This attack was more violent than before. The helicopter was hit and began to billow smoke. Quick, we have to parachute, Amanda shouted. The Colonel and the pilot jumped out of the plane, followed closely by Amanda. They free-falled for a few seconds, then opened their parachutes. However, they did not land safely because they did not know the attackers' location. All they knew was that the attackers were probably in nearby mountains or jungles. Hi, everyone. Oda's strange laughter sounded. It's Joker, Harley said. I think you are happy too soon. Amanda and the Colonel began to look for shelter. They hoped to find a place where they could avoid the attack. However, they soon discovered that there were many monsters here. Joker, you madman, Deadshot said angrily. He managed to escape 103 miles from death, being sent to a dead end again by Joker. The moment I saw Joker, I wanted to skin him alive. Fake, you are really crazy, Nongli also said with a very big head. Hi, sweetheart, Joker said exaggeratedly. The smile on his face is very obvious, but Harley is a little calm about it now. Joker felt a little confused. He looked at Harley uneasily. Do not know why. Joker felt that the Harley in front of him seemed to have changed. It's no longer the Harley that only belongs to me. Call me Harley, Harley Quinn said seriously. Harley, are you okay? Joker asked. For the first time, he cared about Harley Quinn. I'm here to pick you up, Joker said with a smile. It's just that smile that looks a little crazy. Why didn't you come just now? Harley Quinn asked. Like yourself? He didn't come to save her just now. When he thought of this, a handsome face appeared in Harley Quinn's mind. Lin En? It was Lin En who saved her. I'm here right now, sweetheart. Joker tried to change the subject. Do you really love me? Harley asked seriously. Definitely, I have always loved you, Joker replied affectionately. Then why didn't you come to save me? Harley asked with some dissatisfaction. Didn't I come here? Joker tried to explain. You didn't come when I needed it most, Harley asked again. I have some stuff to take care of, but I'll be right here, Joker explained. You've been lying to me, haven't you? Harley's voice became a little sharp. No, I didn't lie to you, Joker tried to argue. Then why didn't you come to save me? Harley asked again. I'm already here, aren't I? Joker tried to change the subject. But you didn't come just now. I thought I would never see you again. Harley's voice became choked. I'm sorry, I will always love you, Joker said softly. Will you always love me? Harley asked. Definitely, I will always love you, Joker replied again. Will you leave me like before? Harley asked worriedly. Her enthusiasm was tempered by Oda's hot and cold, almost polished. I still remember it now. You said, you are not the person I love. Harley Quinn is somewhat at peace. She was extremely sad. Only peace remains. No, I will never leave you, Joker comforted. At this moment, Joker is actually a little passive. But Harley didn't seem too excited. Joker is a little confused. Keep saying you love him? Now that I'm here, I should have this attitude towards myself. Then let me go? You tortured me so much, Harley Quinn said sadly. Her fiery heart was gradually cooled by Shimoda. It's not that I can't let go, it's just that the hurt isn't deep enough. Seeing Harley Quinn look like this, Lin En was a little surprised. Everyone in the Suicide Squad did not react for a moment. Thank you very much, Harley, you have made a difference, Deadshot praised. You should have done this a long time ago, Katana said. Fake, you are just blind to fall in love with him. The people from the Suicide Squad began to complain about Harley. Everyone sees Harley and finally becomes a little normal. My heart is filled with joy. This woman finally has the patience. Harley chewed a new piece of gum. I really don't like that unpredictable feeling of being hot and cold. But you, over and over again, let me experience it. It constantly gives me hope and makes me despair, Harley said solemnly. She sighed deeply. There seems to be some idea. Sweetheart, don't be sad. Joker comforted, no matter what happens, I will protect you. Harley raised her head, looked into Joker's eyes, took a deep breath, and then said, actually, I've been thinking that we have been together long enough. We all need some new experiences, some new ways of life. She continued. The sweetness of the chewing gum in her mouth gradually spread until it was the sweetest. It will become boring later. Just like Joker does to himself. Joker's 617 expression instantly became stiff, and he couldn't believe what he heard. He always thought that their relationship was indestructible. But now, Harley told him that she needed it? You mean, you want to break up with me? Joker's voice was trembling. Harley nodded and said, I know it's hard to accept, but I think it's the best decision. We can continue to be friends, but we need to give each other some free space. Joker's mood became, heavier and heavier. He couldn't imagine what his life would be like without Harley. It's the turn of the melon eaters to start. This big breakup scene. Everyone is a melon eater. I wish I could queue up and eat melon seeds. Sweetheart, who wants to take you away? Joker immediately sensed something was wrong. Fuck. Who dares to steal his woman? Joker was going crazy. No, Harley said casually. That attitude hurt Xiaoshan's heart. Sweetheart, don't be sad. Joker comforted, no matter what happens, I will protect you. Harley raised her head, looked into Joker's eyes, took a deep breath, and then said, actually, I've been thinking that we have been together long enough. We all need some new experiences, some new ways of life. Joker's expression suddenly became stiff, and he couldn't believe what he heard. He always thought that their relationship was indestructible. But now, Harley tells him that she needs to leave. You mean, you want to break up with me? Joker's voice was trembling. Harley nodded and said, I know this is hard to accept, but I think it's the best decision. We can continue to be friends, but we need to give each other some free space. Joker's mood became heavier and heavier. He couldn't imagine his life without Harley. Harley, sweetheart, don't you love me anymore? Oda looked a little sad. He looked at Harley with expectation. He tries to convince Harley to change her mind. It's not that I can't let go, it's just that the injury isn't deep enough. Harley said calmly. Joker realizes that Harley has changed. He felt like he had lost her. He wants to stay, but lacks a suitable reason. Today, Harley has become determined. She said her heart was dead. Joker can only silently accept this reality. He knew that the relationship between them was over. He felt very lost, but he also understood that this was a choice made by both of them. Harley blows a gum bubble that gets bigger and bigger. However, it is destined to break eventually. It's like her crazy love for Joker. She fell in love with him more and more but got no response. This made her feel extremely painful inside. Until Harley saw Lin En's defiant figure. Only then did she understand what true love is. In order to save the White Queen, Lin En is willing to face danger without fear. This selfless dedication and courage shocked her. She began to understand that love is not just crazy obsession, but a kind of selfless giving and care. At the moment, Harley gradually understood. Her love for Joker is blind and wrong, and she needs to find true love and happiness. Joker looked at Harley, his heart was heavy. He knew that Harley was no longer the same person she was before. She became cold, determined, and even a little strange. Why is this happening? Joker asked. Because I've had enough of you being hot and cold. Harley's voice was calm, but full of pain. I love you so much, Harley sweetheart. Joker tried to save their relationship. But your love means nothing to me anymore. Harley replied. What I need is someone who can give me a real sense of security, and you, Joker, have always made me feel uneasy. Joker felt his heart bleed. He knew that the relationship between them had completely broken down. He tried to explain, tried to save, but Harley no longer believed him. Let's go, Harley said. I don't want to see you again. Please give me flowers. No, you are my little sweetheart. Joker shouted heartbreakingly. Until this moment. Only then did he realize that Harley had already entered his heart unknowingly. But he still stubbornly believed that Harley would still be waiting for him where he was. But you are not my little pudding, Harley said calmly. 0. She took out another chewing gum and popped it into her mouth. It's like the dopamine brought by candy can make her feel better at the moment. Deadshot and the others were still resisting the monster, but they couldn't stop their gossip. Well done Harley. Deadshot said. No man can refuse a beautiful woman like Harley. Harley's crazy love just wants peace of mind. Joker felt his heart was broken into pieces. He realized that the girl he once loved deeply was no longer the person he knew. Joker felt that his world had collapsed. He didn't know where to go or which door to open. Until the moment I lost Harley. Only then did Joker realize that he loved Harley. But the relationship between the two. Now it has been flooded and it is difficult to recover. The relationship between the two is irreparable. Sweetheart, is someone threatening you? Joker asked. Don't be afraid, your little pudding is very powerful. I'll beat them all. You don't have to worry about flashing your tongue when you say 550. Loki said coldly. Joker listened to these words, and his eyes scanned everyone present until he saw an unfamiliar face. The man had an arrogant expression on his face, which could even be compared to his own. Loki looked disdainful. Even though he had just experienced the siege of monsters, he was not dirty at all. At this moment, Loki was like a god descending, standing there, exuding awe-inspiring majesty. His eyes swept over everyone present, until he saw an unfamiliar face. That arrogant expression could even rival his own. Joker's eyes stayed on that unfamiliar face. He felt an unknown anger welling up in his heart. He wanted to know who this person was and why he was here. Who are you? Joker asked. He walked towards that person step by step. Loki also noticed that with Joker's arrival, his expression became more arrogant. Who am I? The man asked. I am your savior. I don't need any savior, Joker said. I need my Harley sweetheart. Harley. Loki sneered. She's no longer yours. What did you say? Joker's voice became sharp. You said Harley is no longer mine. Yes. The man replied. She has left you and she no longer loves you. Joker's face showed a painful expression, and his heart was filled with endless sadness and despair. He knew what the man said was true. He had lost Harley and he could never have her again. Then Joker laughed maniacally. The laughter is full of sadness. Why are you doing this? Joker asked. Why are you hurting me? I didn't mean to hurt you. Loki replied. I just want you to understand that you can't have a Harley forever. Why? Joker asked. Because Harley needs freedom. She needs the freedom to choose her own life. Joker's laughter stopped. He was silent, knowing that Loki was right. He can no longer tie Harley down. He should give her free choice. Maybe the two of them shouldn't know each other. No. Joker suddenly went crazy. Veins popped out on Joker's forehead. Crazy murderous intent flashed in his eyes. 0.4. He usually plays with other people's hearts. Today, I was played by someone else. He failed in what he was most proud of. He looked at Harley Quinn's eyes, which were full of coldness. Imperfect works have no need to exist. It should end in the most tragic and tragic way. Harley Quinn's eyes flashed with a hint of darkness. I'm a pretty good piece of work. Right. Joker's voice was hoarse. It was. After saying this, Joker jerked the trigger. Da-da-da. The bullets roared out, enveloping Harley Quinn with huge amounts of penetrating power. Since it is no longer perfect, destroy it. Sweetheart, this is my last gift to you. Deadshot's scalp is numb, and he is also a supervillain. He really couldn't understand Joker's thinking. He risked his life to save Harley Quinn. Harley just asked if he loved her. The ugly guy is about to shoot and kill someone. Farkey, he's crazy. The fireman frowned and said. Joker never loved Harley Quinn. Lin En waved his hand. Block bullets fired at Harley Quinn. Don't be sad. Leaving someone who doesn't love you is also a blessing. Lin En spoke calmly. Even without him, Joker will also dump Harley Quinn. A crazy lunatic. How can I always be obsessed with a work? Only when I am bored will I turn it out and read it. Then tell the world. Look. My work is so perfect. This beautiful and crazy Harley Quinn. It's me Joker Jack, the greatest creation ever. You should remember my name. Lin En, I'll give you a gift too. Joker smiled and snapped his fingers. The bullet originally hit the ground. There was a sudden puff of green smoke. Cough cough cough. Is this poison gas? No, we were not harmed. The people from the Suicide Squad spoke one after another. They were a little confused. Joker shouldn't do such meaningless things. Amanda's face changed. This is kryptonite. Ha ha ha. Joker laughed in the helicopter. I'm a pretty good piece of work. Right. Joker's voice was hoarse. Used to be. After saying this, Joker jerked the trigger. Da-da-da. The bullets roared out, enveloping Harley Quinn with huge amounts of penetrating power. Since it is no longer perfect, destroy it. Sweetheart, this is my last gift to you. Deadshot's scalp is numb, and he is also a supervillain. He really couldn't understand Joker's thinking. It's obviously risky to come to Harley Quinn. Harley simply asked if he loved her. Joker is about to shoot and kill. Farkey, he's crazy. The fireman frowned 450 and said. Joker never loved Harley Quinn. Poor Harley, Joker never loved you. Katana, who was always a woman, sighed. Lin En waved his hand. Block bullets fired at Harley Quinn. Don't be sad. Leaving someone who doesn't love you is also a blessing. Lin En spoke calmly. Even without him, sooner or later, Joker will dump Harley Quinn. A crazy lunatic. How can I always be obsessed with a work? Only when I am bored will I turn it out and read it. Then tell the world. Look. Such a beautiful and crazy Harley Quinn. It's my work. How perfect she is. How proud of it. Harley Quinn is my Joker, Jack's greatest creation. You should remember my name. That's right. Joker is such a person. Crazy and egotistical. However, this work will be destroyed by his own hands. It was a work created by me, so it should be ended by me. Joker said arrogantly from God's perspective. That look contained no expression. It can even be said to be indifferent. A second ago, the little sweetheart was long, but the little sweetheart was short. See you sweetheart in the next second. Harley is about to be sent away immediately. Joker's emotional change also left everyone speechless. Fake, you just change when you say it. You are so selfish. Katana complained. This violent temper is not a proper domestic violence man? She really couldn't understand what Harley Quinn liked about him. The appearance of Lin En made Harley feel a little dazed. Looking at Lin En's tall and straight figure, Harley actually thought that he was hallucinating. Lin En is protecting her? This made Harley, who had always longed for care, feel warm in her heart. Congratulations on gaining Harley Quinn loyalty. Loyalty level, 50. Lin En. Harley asked with some confusion. It's me. Lin En said. Don't worry, he can't hurt you as long as I'm here. For Lin En's move, neither White Queen nor Magneto responded. Neither of them expected that Lin En would come to help. He was shocked by their reaction. Tisk tisk, you have to be a teacher. Magneto knew that Lin En seemed to have something special about Harley Quinn. Huh. Lin En is so fast. White Queen said softly. Mystique was even more shocked. She knew that Lin En's move was very risky, but he still rushed forward without hesitation. The most important is, Lin En actually did it in front of White Queen. Go heroes and save beauties. Lin En is so brave. Mystique appreciates Lin En's actions very much. She is in her heart. Thumbs up to Lin En. Harley looked at Lin En, feeling very moved. The appearance of Lin En gave Harley a sense of comfort. She knows Lin En is a trustworthy friend. In this dangerous world, it is so difficult to have such friends. Harley was grateful to Lin En in her heart, and at the same time she also felt a sense of warmth. At this time, Harley also felt a force, and this force, Zhao Li's, made her feel that she was not alone. She has a trustworthy friend. Harley knew that without Lin En's help, she might have been harmed by Joker. The appearance of Lin En gave Harley a glimmer of hope. She knew that as long as she had such friends by her side, she would not be abandoned by the world. Harley was grateful to Lin En and felt it at the same time. A warmth deep in my heart. Lin En's words made Harley feel the warmth of being cared for. Thank you, Lin En. Harley was moved to tears. The beautiful face has a unique flavor at this moment. This proud queen. The softness deep in my heart was deeply touched. Why didn't I meet you earlier? Harley couldn't help but ask. Not too early, not too late, just right. Lin En looked thoughtful. A handsome deadman's smile appeared on his handsome face. The eyes he looked at Harley were full of care and warmth. Make Harley feel cared about. Joker became jealous when he saw this scene. Damn it. Joker cursed. Fake, Lin En, you have really had enough. Joker was furious. It turns out it's you, Baichi. He constantly spits out fragrance. It seems like this can make Joker feel better. Everyone focused their attention on the three of them. Good guy, the scene of a love triangle based on gender. You love him, he loves her. This situation made Harley feel a little embarrassed. She didn't know how to face Oda's jealousy and anger. However, she also knows that the person she loves is Lin En, and no matter what happens, she will never give up her feelings. Lin En saw Harley's embarrassment, and he gently patted her hand to signal her not to worry. His eyes were full of determination and tenderness, making Harley feel that she was no longer alone. Follow your inner thoughts. Lin En encouraged Harley. The emotional entanglement between the three people made the atmosphere extremely tense. However, they all know that their emotions need to be faced and resolved by themselves. They need to find the courage deep within themselves to face their emotions and future. BFDC. Although a little complicated, it is also full of love and warmth. They need mutual understanding and support to get out of the emotional fog and find their own happiness. In this world, how important it is to have a trustworthy friend. Harley knew that she felt very happy to have such a friend. She knows that as long as Lin En is by her side, she will not feel lonely. Lin En, you are really special. Harley put another piece of gum in her mouth. This was the sweetness in her mouth, and it was no longer as happy as Lin En's concern, which made her much happier. Eat less chewing gum, it's too sweet. Lin En said. The details are straight away. Harley Quinn Harley was very moved. Yes, it's just too sweet, so Harley likes it. Life is already hard. Why don't you treat yourself to something sweet? Among the people eating melons at this moment, there is one person who is out of tune. To be precise, it was two people. It's Loki and Amanda who is controlled by him. Both of them are watching for the opportunity and preparing to attack Lin En. Lin En, I'll give you a gift too. Joker said. Quack. Lin En's handsome eyebrows raised slightly. The next second, Joker's voice stopped abruptly. Joker's whole body went numb. Joker continued to curse with his mouth wide open. But he couldn't make any sound. As shocked as he was. There is also a group of melon-eating people. Lin En is too invincible. But Joker, it doesn't matter. He has arranged everything now. Joker said nothing. His expression turned into a grin. I saw him snap his fingers. The bullet originally hit the ground. Suddenly, thick green smoke appeared. Cough, 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 the foul-mouthed Deadshot asked. Fake, is this poison gas? No, we were not harmed. Boomerang said. In panic, Harley hugged Lin En. She felt her heart racing. It's hard to breathe. I don't know if it's because of the smoke, or if it's her original problem. Don't worry, Harley, I'm here. Lin En said calmly. There was something magical about his voice. Give Harley peace of mind. Lin En was interrupted by Joker's move. He temporarily took back control of his mind. Fake, what does Joker want to do? The people from the Suicide Squad spoke one after another. They were a little confused. Joker shouldn't do such meaningless things. Hear this. Smart Amanda's face changed. This is kryptonite. Ha ha ha. Joker laughed in the helicopter. His expression was twisted and crazy. Lin En, I didn't expect it. I discovered your secret. Joker covered his face with his hands. On his hand, there is a tattoo of huge amounts of mouth. Ferocious and evil. His whole person looked crazy and arrogant. Lin En, your biggest secret is that you are a Kryptonian. Joker's eyes were filled with madness and excitement. Randomly he said with a smile. This is the kryptonite I found specially. Not only that, I also told the whole world your secret. Oda looked like a villain who has succeeded. When the time comes, you will be greeted by a constant source of enemies. Speaking of which, he suddenly looked fierce. Ha ha ha, but they have no chance. Please give me flowers, 0. Because today, I will kill you first. Joker pulled out a pistol. He casually took out a bullet made of pure kryptonite and filled it in. Lin En, I declare. Your death has come. Boom, bullets fired. The kryptonite bullet was very fast, leaving a green afterimage. The colonel gasped. My heart was full of surprise and anxiety. Surprisingly, Lin En turned out to be a Kryptonian. No wonder it's so powerful. The anxious thing is that if Lin En dies, no one can kill the witch. Moreover, we have lost such an excellent agent. You will also be in trouble. Lin En, Harley Quinn shouted. He wanted to stop the bullet, but it was too late. He's finished, Killer Croc said. Lin En is an excellent person, only a little worse than my husband. Unfortunately, he is going to die. Katana caressed Katana in her hand. The mood is slightly sad. In her opinion, the deceased husband was the most outstanding human being in the world. Boom. Gunfire rang out. It was beyond everyone's expectations. But in this chaotic world, things like this happen. The kryptonite bullet hit Lin En hard in the chest. Green light bloomed instantly. Lin En, Harley Quinn and White Queen shouted worriedly. Lin En. Mystique was also shocked. 913 teacher. Magneto also shouted worriedly. Everyone shouted in fear. Harley Quinn and White Queen were even more worried. No. Harley Quinn's voice was full of sadness. Her beautiful eyes were full of worry. The White Queen's beautiful face is also full of worry. However, the next second, Harley cursed directly. I'm Tefok. Harley Quinn is a crazy girl. Her character, words, and deeds are often unexpected. At this time, she may have lost control because she was too worried about Lin En. Like her, the tea drinker was also stunned. Lin En is an important member of this team, and his safety is related to the fate of the entire team. When he was hit, everyone felt huge amounts of stress and panic. Harley's reaction may have been a bit extreme, but it also showed her deep feelings for Lin En and her sense of responsibility for the team. Lin En patted his chest, shook the kryptonite powder off his body, and looked at Joker indifferently. Joker's ferocious smile immediately froze on his face. This crazy Joker looks funny for the first time, he said in disbelief. Impossible, impossible. The panicked Joker immediately stuffed a few more kryptonite bullets and fired again. However, these kryptonite bullets hit Lin En and shattered directly, without having any impact on him. He looked at Joker, his eyes becoming sharp. Okay, it's my turn to take action. His tone was firm and his eyes were full of determination. Joker felt a suffocating pressure, and he finally realized that he had encountered a powerful and incredible opponent. His madness paled and his self-confidence began to collapse. Lin En, you're not Superman. Joker looked confused. Without waiting for Lin En to answer, Joker laughed crazily again. Haha, Lin En is ready to take action. He will not be intimidated by Joker's terror. He will use his own strength and wisdom to fight against this crazy enemy and fight for justice. Joker, you are too self-righteous, Lin En said. With that said, Lin En launched an attack. Hear Lin En's words. Joker immediately felt that his body was out of control. He was horrified to find that Lin En's energy was gradually getting stronger, which made him feel very scared. What the hell? Joker felt his scalp numb for the first time. Lin En is simply a pervert. His energy conversion is simply cheating, leaving Joker unable to deal with it. With the help of his mind control skills, Lin En directly chopped Joker with a weapon. Energy transfer is simply cheating. Lin En was very surprised. Using his mind control skills, he directly killed Joker with a weapon. Lin En was described by Joker as a pervert. It's because in Joker's eyes, Lin En has shown extraordinary ability and skills. This made him feel incredible. Joker lowered his head and stared at his divided body in shock. At this moment, he fully realized his mistakes and misjudgments. At the wound, special liquid flowed, restoring his injuries. Joker's body began to regroup, but his 16 strength had been weakened. Lin En looked at Joker's body and nodded with satisfaction. He knew that the victory in this battle belonged to him. Joker, courtesy reciprocates. I will also give you a gift, Lin En said. Joker heard Lin En's words and felt that his body was out of control. He discovered to his horror that the Dionysian factor could not be restored. Joker felt that his body no longer seemed to be under his control. This made him realize that he might have fallen into a wrong state and needed to reflect and adjust. Joker realizes that there is a fundamental difference between his arrogance and Lin En's caution. Joker began to feel fear, and he realized for the first time that he might not be able to cope with Lin En's power zone. The triggering of this consciousness made him start to reflect on all his actions and attitudes. What's going on? Joker panicked. Joker felt that his body was out of control, and he felt the threat of death for the first time. Moreover, Lin En's energy is gradually getting stronger, which makes him feel very scared. What's wrong, Joker? Lin En said. The cold tone made Oda feel chilled. He felt that his energy began to become weaker and weaker, and his body became weaker and weaker. Is it impossible to recover? Lin En said calmly. Lin En, what did you do to me? Joker said weakly. In the process, Joker discovered. Lin En not only has powerful energy, but this energy is constantly increasing. Lin En's body exudes powerful energy, and his power has reached a terrifying height. Your power is getting stronger and stronger. Joker's voice became weaker and weaker. Yes, I have been constantly improving my strength, Lin En said. Joker felt that his body could no longer bear the pain, and he began to feel desperate. He knew that he could no longer escape Lin En's control. You'll regret it, Joker said weakly. Regret? Lin En smiled lightly. I never regret it. Boom, the flames burned. Quickly swallowing 980 Joker. This time, Lin En used magic. A second later, where Joker originally stood, there was only a pile of ashes. Joker is dead. Dead shot and their eyes widened. As super criminals, they definitely know how scary Joker is. This so-called underground king of Gotham City gives Batman a headache and a headache. He actually died? Such a simple death. Joker. Harley Quinn's eyes showed sadness. Her delicate body trembled slightly. We did something big, White Queen said with a smile. Yeah, we did it. Mystique was also very excited. Teacher, your performance is also excellent. Magneto also expressed his appreciation for Lin En. Lin En said nothing. Instead, he frowned. He's not dead, Lin En said. Joker's death changed the plot, so he should have received a system prompt. But he did not receive the system prompt. This is not logical, Lin En thought to himself. This proves that Joker is still alive? After learning that Joker was not completely dead, other members of the Suicide Squad were also surprised. How is that possible? I saw him burnt to ashes. It's so damn hard to die. How can you still live like this? At this time, Amanda seemed to have some realization. Doubt and nervousness appeared on her face. She glanced at Lin En. Liquor. Before she finished speaking, she saw Lin En nodded. Amanda's face instantly became ugly, and her eyes flashed with fear. Joker may have acquired the Dionysian factor, which gives him the ability to be unkillable. An unkillable and terrifying villain? His existence is extremely terrifying to the entire world. The most important thing is that this villain is Joker, a crazy and mentally disturbed guy. Joker gained such ability. This means that he can constantly cause chaos and destruction. This poses a huge threat to social order. This is an unprecedented challenge for Suicide Squad, and society as a whole. What kind of wine? Boomerang asked doubtfully. The rest of the Suicide Squad shook their heads. You heard wrong. But what's wrong with Amanda? Her face looks as ugly as eating shit. Is Aunt here? At her age, she should have amenorrhea. A few people were discussing secretly and in low voices. A vein appeared on Amanda's forehead. She pulled out the controller for the nanobomb. Do you want to die? Deadshot and they shut up instantly. And at the moment, in a cave in Gotham City, from a pool of thick liquid, a person slowly crawled out. His green hair was revealed in the dripping liquid. Joker gasped, his eyes filled with endless killing intent. This is the first time that he has been defeated in all directions. It was also the first time that a work belonging to him was taken away. In anger, Joker vowed to kill Lin En. Lin En, I will definitely kill you, I will. At the same time, on the roof of a building in Midway City, the wind was howling. Amanda and her team were shocked by huge amounts of waves in their hearts. At first, they also believed what Joker said about Lin's identity as a Kryptonian. But when Lin En casually crushed the kryptonite bullet, they immediately gave up this speculation. Immediately afterwards, a numbing sensation enveloped them. No one can question Superman's strength. But the existence of kryptonite reveals the fact that Superman also has weaknesses. Just proves one thing. Superman can only be feared by his enemies. However, Lin En seems to be just as powerful. But there is no weakness. Lin En, making the enemy despair. This makes Amanda and her team feel extremely desperate. Lin En's existence and ability have become their unsolvable mystery. They feel that the world is facing an unprecedented threat. Face this powerful and invulnerable Lin En. Amanda and her team realized that even if they couldn't be friends with Lin En, they couldn't be enemies with him. Although Lin En is extremely challenging, they do not intend to give up. Instead, they used this idea as motivation to strengthen their determination. This 620 feeling and this scene. Amanda took a deep breath. It seems like a big decision has been made. Amanda offered an olive branch to Lin En. Lin En, I declare that you will be a member of our Suicide Squad from now on. Amanda looked sincere, but her words were very strong. Despite this, it was the first time for the Suicide Squad members to see Amanda looking so humble. No more. Lin En didn't even raise his eyelids. Amanda's rude words made Lin En frown. You, BGCH, announced it, and I didn't ask if Lin En was willing. White Queen said lazily. Amanda did not expect to be rejected by Lin En. Amanda, you are too arrogant. White Queen walked to Lin En gracefully. The meaning is very obvious. Lin En, have you joined the Hellfire Club? Amanda asked doubtfully. What do I do that I still need to report to you? Lin En said a little irritably. One sentence left Amanda speechless. Lin En is not from the Suicide Squad, so he has no right to intervene. Just kidding. Why did Lin En join Suicide Squad? Picture of Amanda's nanobomb? Bad brain? Joker is not dead. In addition, Loki ran away, which made Lin En feel a little irritated. At this moment, Amanda hit the muzzle of the gun. Amanda wasn't talking. The people from Suicide Squad looked very relieved. Each mountain is higher than the other. Now there is someone who can cure Amanda. That's right, it's Lin En. I advise you not to leave by helicopter for a while, Lin En said slowly, even though he doesn't like Amanda. But this can be regarded as changing the plot. Give me some points in case. Tisk tisk. When Amanda heard Lin En's words, she still felt some doubts in her heart. She didn't understand how Lin En knew that she planned to leave by helicopter, which made her begin to doubt whether Lin En really knew her plan. Are you telling the truth? Amanda asked doubtfully. Believe it or not, it's up to you. Lin En shrugged nonchalantly. He didn't care if Amanda believed him. His purpose is just to gain points. Anyway, if there are points, he will take them. If there are no points, it won't be a big deal. Lin En doesn't care about this either. Amanda had doubts about Lin En's answer. For a moment, she was a little undecided. After all, this is related to her own life and death. At this time, a helicopter flew near them from a distance. Sir Amanda, we are here to pick you up. On the plane, 2 agent soldiers came over. The members of Suicide Squad all widened their eyes. What the hell? Let's stop the witch, you have to run away alone. Still shameless. This feels very unfair to them. Colonel Freya will be fully responsible for the rest of the matter. Amanda said in a deep voice. Protect him well. If something unexpected happens. Amanda hopes the members of the Suicide Squad understand her decision. Although Amanda still had doubts in her heart, she made a decision at this critical moment. She believed Colonel Freya. Amanda took out the controller expressionlessly. I'll blow your heads off. Everyone in the Suicide Squad rolled their eyes. Fake. They were very angry inside. But he dared not speak out in anger. Amanda steps onto the helicopter. Suddenly, she saw Lin En, who was smiling but not smiling. That sentence came to mind again. Could it be that if you take a helicopter, you will really be shot down? Amanda felt nervous inside her. Sir, what's wrong? We need to get out of here as soon as possible. Midway City is in danger. The 2 special forces explained. Amanda thought silently for a moment, then slowly backed away and stood next to Lin En. She realized that if Midway City was really in danger, Lin En's side would be the safest place. The plan has changed and I will not return. Amanda announced slowly. Okay, sir. The Special Forces soldier replied immediately. The 2 returned to the plane. Fly the plane away. The helicopter flew away from the scene. 30 seconds later, a dazzling fire broke out in the air, like a huge amount of firework. The helicopter was severely damaged, the propeller broke, and then fell to the ground with a bang. Amanda was covered in sweat and stared at Lin En in disbelief. This man, can he predict the future? She felt her scalp tingle. Amanda was in awe and curiosity about Lin En's ability and insight, and at the same time she was full of trust in him. However, now is not the time to study Lin En's ability. Faced with a sudden crisis, Amanda must take immediate action to ensure her own safety and the survival of the team. Amanda mustered up the courage to lead the team members to make decisions and actions. She understands that only by uniting closely and facing difficulties together can we overcome the current difficulties. She has high expectations for Lin En's ability, and at the same time, she also believes that she and the team's wisdom and bravery will be able to overcome this challenge and protect the safety of herself and the world. Freya walked up to Amanda anxiously and asked, Sir Amanda, what are the arrangements for the future? His tone was a little anxious. As time went by, the black fog gradually covered the entire Midway City and continued to spread to the surrounding areas. At the same time, the witch's power is also growing. His girlfriend's consciousness is also in danger of disappearing. Lin En will be responsible for the rest. Amanda said. Freya's eyebrows raised. He could hardly control his emotions. He knew Amanda very well. In order to achieve her goals, she can do anything and is ruthless, and at the same time she has a strong desire to control. Such a person. He was actually willing to hand over control of the team to Lin En. Although Freya was a little confused. But he also understood that 900 Amanda's decision at this moment must have been carefully considered. Maybe she took a fancy to Lin En's ability and wisdom. I believe Lin En can make the right choices and decisions in the current crisis. After a moment of calm reflection, Freya decided to support Amanda's decision and fully cooperate with Lin En's command. After all, at the moment has arrived, a critical moment when we must unite as one and face the crisis together. Every member of their team realizes that only through close cooperation and mutual trust can they hope to overcome the predicament at hand. As the new leader, Lin En will assume the responsibility of leading everyone to overcome the crisis. Under the leadership of Amanda and Lin En, the team will face more difficult challenges. Together they will strategize, using each person's strengths to face the threats posed by the witches and the black mist. They understand that only by uniting as one and acting with courage and wisdom can we defeat evil forces and protect social peace and justice. Freya turned his head and looked at Lin En. He doesn't know much about Lin En. His deepest impression of Lin En was that he wiped out tens of thousands of monsters. However, is this strength enough for him to be qualified to lead the work of the entire team? Freya had some hesitation in his mind, because strength is not equal to excellent strategic deployment ability. At this moment, Deadshot came over with a gun, and he asked doubtfully, "What do we do next?" Lin En stretched out a finger and said, "We go directly to the witch's location and kill her directly." For Lin En's answer, Amanda was very satisfied, because it means Lin En agrees to help Suicide Squad. Except for Amanda, everyone else looked at each other, not knowing how to respond. Aren't there any deployments or battle plans? Freya finally couldn't help but ask. What he was most worried about finally happened. As a colonel, he paid attention to detailed battle plans, which almost became his instinct. He was worried that the people in the leadership team lacked sufficient military literacy and became reckless. Freya spread out the map and pointed to an old city in the west of Midway City. And Lin En does not have enough military literacy. Like a reckless man, We can use the abandoned subway in the area to bypass the location of the witch. Freya knew that as a leader 4.6, careful planning and deployment must be carried out. Especially when facing such a critical battle, details matter. In the west of Midway City, there is an old city. There is an abandoned subway below. We can go around there. Freya spread out the map. As a colonel, it is almost his instinct to carry out detailed battle plans. Lin En looked at Freya with a strange face. Lin En was dissatisfied with Freya's explanation. He didn't understand why he had to go around it. He still holds his own opinion and believes that killing directly is a more effective way. Why go around? Lin En was puzzled. Freya rubbed his brows and suppressed the anger in his heart. If it were anyone else, ask him such a stupid question. He may just yell out loud. But facing Lin En, he didn't dare. This can avoid monsters and reduce danger. Freya tried to explain. However, Lin En stared at Freya with strange eyes. Amanda, your subordinate is not very bright. How did 16 achieve the position of colonel? Lin En said sarcastically. Freya felt insulted. Veins popped up on his forehead. Fake. The purpose of planning in advance is to perform the mission more safely. Sir Amanda, I object to your opinion. Freya said. I admit Lin En's strength, but he is not suitable to be our leader. Today, even if I have to risk being killed, I will not agree with you leading us. Freya said the last sentence eagerly, and his tone was directed at Lin En. Amanda couldn't help but frowned. She didn't expect that the situation would turn out like this. She was feeling stuck and needed to calm the tension within the team. She is an experienced military commander who knows that team unity and cooperation are crucial. Calm down, Freya. Amanda tried to lighten the mood. We are a team and we need to unite to face the crisis at hand. Although Lin En is strong, we need mutual trust and cooperation. We can discuss and make decisions together in action instead of opposing each other. Amanda expressed her position in the hope of calming the dispute and restoring stability and unity to the team. She believes that through unity and cooperation, they can overcome internal differences and move toward their goals together. Now, the team is at a critical moment, and they cannot waste time and energy on internal conflicts. Only by uniting together and supporting each other can they defeat the witch and save Joan's consciousness. We still have to seize the time to defeat the witch and save the ball. Amanda continued. She knew that when Freya heard Joan's name, he would definitely consider it carefully, as expected. When Freya heard Joan's name, he silently pondered for a moment and understood that what Amanda said made sense. 587. He took a deep breath, tried to put down his anger, and nodded to Lin En to express his acceptance. Okay, Chief Amanda. I will respect your decision and hope that we can unite and face the upcoming challenges together. Freya said that he was determined to work with the entire team to achieve common goals. Team members also realized that internal arguments and disagreements are not conducive to their fight. They decided to put aside their personal opinions and unite to win together. Facing the threat of the witch, they will work together and believe in the power of the team to defeat the witch and save the world. Amanda, I'm not in the suicide squad. Lin En prompted. There was no expression on his face. It doesn't matter, you can still command the suicide squad. Amanda said hurriedly. She was afraid that if she was a second too late, Lin En would regret it. Thank you for your help, Lin En. I can do this for you, you owe me a favor. Lin En said. Okay, as long as it's within the scope of my ability, I can cash it in. Amanda promised. Lin En nodded with satisfaction. As for the colonel who just went berserk, Lin En just walked past him with an expressionless face. The colonel was simply ignored. The others also looked at the colonel with strange expressions. Freya frowned slightly. As a colonel, he had never endured such humiliation. But he couldn't say anything. Because only Lin En can save them. Joan can be saved. People under the eaves have to bow their heads. Deadshot also came over. With Lin En here, those monsters can be destroyed with a raised hand, he said with a look of admiration. It's as if Lin En is his idol. Yes. In the face of absolute strength. Conspiracy and intrigue are a waste of time. Push it directly to save time. Lin En has that arrogant strength. Killer Croc walked over shaking his head. A waste of time. He couldn't help but complain. Freya's face suddenly turned red. Those impassioned words just now, it became full of social death. At this moment, if it were not for the qualities of a soldier, he even wanted to leave Midway City. Find a place where no one knows and spend the rest of your life. Ahem. Freya coughed awkwardly and followed the team. Harley Quinn laughed. Your battle plan is great. I like it. He didn't take into account the colonel's feelings at all. Shit. Freya blushed again. Him at this moment. When Du died, he wished he could live on another planet. Lin En, do you really want to go? White Queen asked worriedly. The teacher is really cool. Magneto praised. Mystique said nothing, with a faint light shining in her eyes. Lin En nodded. One temporary cooperation. He looked as usual. Lin En wanted to take this opportunity. Let Amanda owe her a favor. You can help Harley disarm the bomb later. You can also brush up your loyalty. White Queen knows that Lin En must have his reasons for doing what he does. Okay, let's go together, she said with a smile. That's a good idea. A smile appeared on Mystique's face. Okay, let's go together, Lin En said. Get Li Zhao. With a thought in his mind, he opened the portal. Lin En is so cool, Deadshot said enviously. Have to admit, magic is really amazing. Lin En really has a personality. Harley blew a big bubble. Others followed. A group of people headed towards the city center. At this moment, in the center of Midway City, a chaotic battle is ongoing. Countless monsters are raging in the city, destroying everything. The human army gathered in the center of the city, preparing for the final decisive battle. When several people appeared again, already arrived at the destination, Deadshot walked at the front of the team, the spear in his hand flashing with cold light. Behind him was a group of soldiers, with firm expressions on their faces, ready to join the battle. Freya walked in the middle of the team, with a trace of ugliness on his face. He has not yet recovered from the moment of social death. 907. Preventing him from fully immersing himself in the battle. Killer Crocodile walked at the end of the team, with a sneer on his face. He is a killer, and his duty is to eliminate enemies, and there are so many enemies here that he feels very excited. Harley Quinn walked at the front of the team, holding a huge amount of hammer in her hand and a crazy smile on her face. She is a crazy killer, and she likes this kind of killing atmosphere. In the center of the city, a fierce battle is going on between the human army and the monster army. Although the human army has the numerical advantage, the monster's attack power is too strong. Their attack power can destroy almost everything instantly. Deadshot rushed to the front of the monster army. The spear in his hand was activated, and dazzling rays of light instantly penetrated the monster's body. The monsters let out shrill screams, and their bodies were instantly blown to pieces. Freya followed closely behind, and he cooperated perfectly with Katana, slashing the monster's body. His heart was filled with anger and unwillingness, and he wanted to use his own strength to prove himself. Killer Crocodile performed very well in the battle. The sharp claws in his hands were constantly tearing apart the monster's body. There was a cold smile on his face, BJDB, and he found this battle very interesting. Harley Quinn stood in the distance, the hammer in her hand constantly hitting the monster's body. There was a fanatical smile on her face, and she felt that she was the hero of this battle. Lin En looked at the few people and Tianfen was pleased. The witch at this moment also discovered them. It's coming faster than expected. The witch opened her hands, and countless black auras surrounded her. The overwhelming black mist spewed out, then poured it into the formation above the head. With the blessing of the necromancer formation, the blackness spread crazily around. Not far from her, there was a group of people wearing black monk robes. The fingertips and eye sockets were a rotten black color. It was as if it was being eroded by some weird energy. Under their feet, there is a formation, made of countless golden threads. It's so complicated that just looking at it will make you dizzy. Coming. The witch twisted her body and said seductively. She smiled slightly, with a watery chill in her eyes. Is this the group of people who control you? The wizard showed a malicious look. It's them, the witch replied without thinking. Don't worry, leave it to me. The wizard's face. A cruel smile appeared. He hated these people who controlled witches very much. I hate these insignificant human beings. I will commit the crime below. These ants. The wizard said with great disdain. The tone was full of disdain. The witch looked into the distance. Already arrived. As soon as I finished speaking, Lin En leads the suicide squad, appears from a distance. There is another person beside the witch, the sharp-eyed Deadshot said. Several people looked in the direction Deadshot said. The people around the witch were immediately spotted. Who is this? Boomerang asked. He is the brother of the ghost witch, the demon nightmare. Lin En said calmly. She seems to be more powerful. Harley was keenly aware of the abnormality. The fireman frowned. He knew the witch's disgusting nature. When a witch is controlled, her strength is already so terrifying. But now the witch is completely free from control. This means, now the witch can unleash her power as much as she wants. This also means that this time it will be a fierce battle. After seeing the location of the witch, Lin En directly summoned the portal. Several people followed Lin En and entered the portal. Lin En and others appeared directly in front of the witch in the next second. The witch was also a little surprised. However, she quickly concealed her emotions. My dear teammates, long time no see, the witch said with a ferocious look on her face. The witch's words were full of contempt and ridicule. She was obviously mocking Lin En and the Suicide Squad's strength. However, Lin En and Suicide Squad were not intimidated, but strengthened their beliefs. Lin En looked at the witch calmly, unaffected by her ridicule. Witch, your evil power has caused too many disasters. We will put an end to your evil deeds. Lin En said firmly. The members of Suicide Squad gathered closely around Lin En, supporting and encouraging each other. The witch looked at Lin En in confusion. Witch, do you think you can get away with it? Please give me flowers, 0. The judgment you receive will be merciless. Lin En said coldly. Harley and other members also grabbed their weapons and prepared to face the witch and her evil forces. The witch stared at them with malicious eyes. You humans are so ridiculous, do you think you can defeat me? The witch said with a sneer. 0. I will not be defeated easily like you. Witch, what you have done has made us intolerable. Lin En said coldly. We are here to keep people safe, and you keep destroying it. Now, you must pay for your actions. When the witch heard Lin En's words, a look of horror flashed in her eyes. She knows that Lin En and Suicide Squad are not easy enemies to deal with. They have strong strength and firm belief. However, the witch didn't want to give up just like that. You ants are just like moths flying into the flames, and you are destined to become my prey. The witch said mockingly. Lin En looked at the witch scarf with a sneer. The witch is said to possess the regenerative healing factor, which once dominated the earth for thousands of years, and was later sealed underground and disappeared. In Lin En's mind, the famous scene of the witch's transformation appeared. Moon's transformation also relies on one word, witch. When she said this, she will become a charming witch with powerful magical power, and transformed from a blonde woman to a charming female 433 witch with black hair and black eyes. A handsome batch. Enchantress is a female magician from Asgard. She is good at confusing enemies with her beauty, and is an old enemy of Thor. We will not be bullied by you, nor will we be intimidated by you. We will use justice and courage as weapons to completely eliminate your evil, the colonel declared with firm determination. The members of Suicide Squad also expressed their firm will in unison. They are ready to fight to the end. A decisive battle is about to begin. What are you talking about? Lin En said with an indifferent expression. Sure enough, the villain dies because he talks too much. Lin En, you seem to be very different. The wizard on the side suddenly said. You can also do magic. He looked thoughtful. Lin En ignored him. Then Lin En launched a fire attack. The wizard breaks Lin En's magic. He was curious about Lin En. Interesting, the wizard said. Let you see real magic. Immediately, he formed a seal with his hands. He muttered a spell in his mouth. A strange and unpredictable black aura appeared. The golden formation turned pitch black. The surrounding space became cold and cold at this moment. This breath is slightly different from the witch's black magic. As if above everything else, just a trace of it exudes terrifying energy. The eyes of the Suicide Squad members became blurred. In their minds, a voice was roaring crazily. Submit to me and you will gain powerful power. The members of the Suicide Squad were mesmerized by the wizard's voice and energy. The scene in front of me changes. Their consciousness began to blur and they fell into their own hallucinations. They each fell into their own illusions. Come on, surrender to me, you can gain greater power. In the hallucination, they heard the wizard's voice, inducing them to surrender to him in exchange for greater power. The wizard raised his hand, black aura lingered, exuding terrifying fluctuations. The wizard's voice was full of power. He raised his hand, surrounded by black aura, exuding terrifying fluctuations. What a noble energy this is, no one can resist it. The wizard's voice is alluring. He knew that it was difficult for anyone to resist this temptation. It can be said that there is no solution. The members of Suicide Squad, controlled by hallucinations, felt the temptation of power. In their minds, after weighing the pros and cons, it seems that surrendering to the wizard can bring more benefits. However, just as they fell into hesitation, Lin En watched the changes around him with vigilance. He immediately realized that the members of the Suicide Squad were being controlled and interfered with by the wizard's power. He knew that if this situation was allowed to continue, it would bring disaster. Even the White Queen and Magneto were caught in the trade. The same goes for Mystique. Don't be fooled. Resist. Lin En shouted loudly. He exudes powerful energy fluctuations all over his body, trying to awaken the Suicide Squad members who are troubled by hallucinations through his own strength and will. His voice and energy fluctuations penetrated the illusion and gradually touched the will deep in their hearts. They began to wake up and resist the control of that force. Gradually, the members of Suicide Squad concentrated their energy, overcame the troubles of hallucinations, stood beside Lin En, and released their own powerful power kings. We will not succumb to you. We are united to resist your darkness. Harley stepped forward and showed her firm determination. Other members also stood up one after another, expressing their refusal to be affected by the wizard's power. Lin En feels the strength and will of the team. They believe in their own morality and justice and will not be blinded by evil. What? Facing the Suicide Squad's unity and powerful counterattack, the wizard's expression changed slightly. He realized that he had encountered a more powerful opponent than he imagined. Now, a tough battle is about to begin. The Suicide Squad is determined to work together to resist the dark power of wizards and protect world peace and justice. They believe that the power of unity and will eventually defeat evil and give the world light and hope. If you only have this little strength, I advise you to give up, Lin En said disdainfully. Lin En's mental barrier plays a role in this magic. Hearing Lin En's taunt, the wizard's face turned crazy. He couldn't believe that Lin En could resist his magic. I really underestimated you. You can resist magic. The wizard's face became crazy. Lin En's steel body and strong will have become his weapon against magic. His mental barrier provided protection for himself, allowing him to face the evil power of the wizard fearlessly. Do you think you have won? You underestimate me. Lin En's voice was full of confidence and determination. He knew that he could not underestimate the power of the wizard, but he believed that his strength and perseverance could overcome all difficulties. He will not back down or give in to evil. Lin En's firm will and belief in justice inspire the members of Suicide Squad. They stepped forward, gathered their energy, and fought against the dark power of the wizard with all their strength. Facing the united Suicide Squad and Lin En's unshakable belief, the wizard's face became more and more distorted. He realized that he had met a group of powerful enemies, and they would not be threatened by him. The wizard roared and activated the magic in his hand again, releasing more powerful dark magic. Lin En works closely with the team, constantly dodging magical attacks while constantly counterattacking. It seems we need more powerful magic to fight against him, White Queen said. No, what we need is more unity and tacit cooperation, Lin En said calmly. He nodded and signaled everyone to cooperate closely. Lin En and the Suicide Squad began to cooperate more tacitly, constantly avoiding the wizard's attacks while looking for his weaknesses. In a counterattack, Lin En successfully interrupted the wizard's magic, leaving him without the power to defend himself. Lin En immediately seized the opportunity and released powerful magic to defeat the wizard. The wizard looked at Lin En and the team in horror, saying that he had lost. He fell to his knees and begged Lin En and the team for mercy. I was wrong, I was really wrong. I shouldn't have tried to hurt innocent people, the wizard said tremblingly. That look, Tian Fen's sincerity. Your crime has caused irreparable consequences, and you must bear responsibility, the colonel said. The wizard silently accepted Lin En's punishment, knowing that he had committed an unforgivable crime. I swear that I will never hurt anyone again. The wizard lowered his head and continued to speak piously. A cold smile flashed across his face. Not good. The White Queen's telepathy immediately warned her, sensing the impending danger. She quickly flew in front of Lin En, and just when she wanted to protect him, a sharp pain hit her. The witch's attack was so fast that the White Queen had no time to react. She didn't have time to change into diamond form. It was a trick. Blood gushed out, and the White Queen's face turned pale. She understood that this was an attack by a witch. She quickly came to Lin En. That's right, the witch is here. It was the witch who launched the attack. The appearance of the witch makes the battle situation more complicated and dangerous. Her powers are powerful and sinister, making her a threat to the Suicide Squad. White Queen. Lin En called White Queen anxiously. Lin En, are you okay? White Queen said weakly. At that moment, she just wanted to protect Lin En. I'm fine, why are you so impulsive? Lin En said with great distress. Only now did he realize that the White Queen took herself so seriously. Black magic gradually erodes White Queen's body and consciousness. You're fine, White Queen said happily. Blood flowed from the corner of the mouth. Charming and conspicuous. Under the erosion of black magic, White Queen struggled to recover her body. You can do it. Lin En tried his best to help White Queen. White Queen. Magneto and Mystique were also worried about her. They also didn't expect that White Queen would be injured. It looks like it's quite serious. White Queen said weakly. Lin En clenched his fists tightly and his eyes became firm. He understands that the Suicide Squad and their allies face huge amounts of challenges, but they can't back down. Well, witch, your evil deeds will be punished. We will defend justice and protect world peace, the colonel declared calmly. Lin En hugged White Queen with a sad expression. His eyes became cold and ruthless. Witch, your death has come, Lin En said coldly. He exuded endless killing intent. It looked like a death god, pronouncing the witch's death. Lin En's murderous intention. The witch felt a chill. It was the first time she felt such a powerful opponent. Her heart was full of bad premonitions. She realized that this confrontation was not as easy as before. This is what witches have been doing for thousands of years. I felt the crisis for the first time. Be careful, Demon Nightmare said. The wizard immediately sensed Lin En's murderous intent. At the same time, Lin En also launched an attack. The mind control skill is activated. Attack the witch. The wizard had no time to stop 243 and could only watch the witch being injured. The witch's injuries worsened, and the White Queen was also injured. For the White Queen's injury, Harley felt sad too. She watched the White Queen bravely get injured for Lin En, while Lin En rose up to kill the enemy for the White Queen. Harley is full of envy of the relationship between Lin En and White Queen. She saw their sacrifice and commitment to each other. This made the desire and envy in her heart even stronger. This made Harley very envious. BJCC, congratulations on gaining Harley Quinn loyalty. Loyalty level, 60. The system's voice sounded again. Lin En unexpectedly gained Ha's loyalty. At this time, there is still loyalty. There is something about Lin En that cannot get to Harley. Congratulations to the host for receiving rewards, physique plus 300, strength plus 300, speed plus 300, mental power plus 300. The reward isn't high, but it's better than nothing. Lin En didn't feel much about this bonus. Despite all odds, when faced with evil witches and wizards, Lin En and the Suicide Squad are determined to defeat their enemies and protect world peace and justice. They will unite as one, support each other, and continue to fight until evil is completely defeated. The witch looked at Lin En's attack and was shocked. She has never encountered such a powerful opponent, and it was also a human being. She knew that she had no chance, but she didn't want to give up so easily. The witch gathered all the magic power in her body and let out a shrill scream. This scream instantly spread throughout Midway City, making the wizard and everyone shudder. The witch's magic power is getting stronger and stronger, and the entire Midway City is shrouded in her power. What magic is this? Lin En asked. This is my last trump card, the witch said viciously. Don't do this. The wizard's eyes showed sadness. Following the witch's words, the dark elements in the forest began to gather, forming a dark vortex. The vortex grew larger and larger, eventually forming a huge amount of dark magic array. The witch stood in the center of the formation, holding a black staff in her hand, ready to launch the final attack. Lin En and the witch both know that this is a life and death battle, but they also know that if they don't defeat the witch, the entire human world will face destruction. We must work together to defeat him, the witch said. No problem, let's go together. The wizard understood the implication of her words. The battle between Lin En and the witch has entered a fierce stage. The dark magic released by the witch is getting stronger and stronger, but Lin En's energy is also constantly increasing. They are all mobilizing their maximum energy and preparing for the final decisive battle. The members of Suicide Squad stood beside Lin En, all preparing to deal with the witch's attack. Their eyes flashed with determination and courage, and they would protect those in need at all costs. Facing the threat of the witches, the Suicide Squad will unite and show their true strength and courage. They believed that good would triumph over evil and later peace and justice would triumph. In this battle, Lin En and Suicide Squad showed their strength and tacit understanding. They constantly changed their tactics and attacked the witch's weaknesses. The witch was not to be outdone. The dark magic she released became more and more powerful, making Lin En and the team feel huge amounts of pressure. However, Lin En and the team were undeterred. They used their own beliefs and strength to attack the witches relentlessly. Lin En felt that the other party's emotions were out of control, which was a very beneficial factor for him. He knows that the more out of control the other party's emotions are, the more beneficial it will be to Lin En. Good. If you can make the opponent lose their mind, you can win. So, he began to use his own energy to try to control the other party's emotions. The witch's dark magic constantly attacks Lin En, but he doesn't care. He knew that as long as his energy was strong enough, he could withstand any attack. So, he began to mobilize all his energy and prepare for the final attack. In this battle, Lin En showed his great strength. His energy is constantly increasing, making the witch feel increasingly powerless. She tried to use dark magic to defeat Lin En, but he was already prepared and the witch didn't know it. As the battle continued, the witch's emotions began to become more and more out of control. Her dark magic is getting stronger, but Lin En is no longer afraid. He knows that as long as his energy is strong enough, he can defeat any enemy. Please give me flowers. His energy is constantly increasing, making the witch feel increasingly powerless. The wizard tried to use dark magic to defeat Lin En, but he had already prepared his own defense. Energy conversion is really awesome, Lin En thought to himself. He knows that as long as his energy is strong enough, he can defeat any enemy. 0. This battle strengthened his belief. He is determined to become a more powerful magician and fight to protect himself and others. In the end, Lin En successfully defeated the witch. The witch's dark magic circle also disappeared into the air. Thank you, you saved the whole world, Boomerang said gratefully. It was Lin En's courage and determination that allowed us to defeat the witch, Harley said with admiration. I just tried my best and hope to make some contribution to the world, Lin En said modestly. Suicide Squad looked at Lin En, their hearts filled with respect and gratitude. They know that only brave and determined people like Lin En can save the entire world. In the end, they successfully defeated the witch and protected the people's safety. After the battle, Lin En and Suicide Squad both felt a little tired, but their hearts are filled with a sense of accomplishment and pride. They knew that their efforts were not in vain, and they successfully protected the safety of 780 Midway City. The wizard looked at the dying witch on the ground, his heart filled with sadness and despair. He couldn't believe that he and the witch were working together. None of them could defeat Lin En. The witch has been eliminated by Lin En, and he himself has reached his limit. He felt that his power was exhausted and he could no longer avenge the witch. Colonel Feeleg looked at the scene in front of him, and his heart was filled with shock and admiration. He had never seen such a powerful magician, and Lin En's strength made him feel extremely fearful and awe-inspiring. He knew that if it hadn't been for Lin En's appearance, all the members of the Suicide Squad might have been killed. The witch is certain to die. Looking at the dying wizard on the ground. What should the wizard do? The colonel asked. The battle just now made the people of Suicide Squad frightened. This was the first time they had seen a battle of this level. Without Lin En's help, they might have been defeated or even died on the battlefield. Since then, Colonel Farige has looked at Lin En with admiration. From then on, Colonel Feeleg looked at Lin En with admiration, and he no longer dared to doubt Lin En's strength. Even if the witch and wizard joined forces, they could not defeat Lin En. Instead, it gradually failed, especially the witch was finally solved by Lin En. We can't let him live, Lin En said. Why? Asked the colonel. He has used forbidden magic, and he must pay for his crime, Lin En said. When the wizard heard Lin En's words, his heart was filled with despair. He knew that he could no longer escape the fate of death. He looked at the dying witch on the ground, and his heart was filled with regret and sadness. He knew that if he had not used forbidden magic, the witch might still be able to survive. I was wrong, I was really wrong, the man cried sadly. Quiet, Lin En's voice sounded. The wizard looked at Lin En with fear in his heart. He knew that he had no chance. He closed his eyes and prepared to face his death. No, the wizard cried sadly. He watched helplessly as the witch died tragically in front of him. Originally, the witch used forbidden magic. Helplessly, he found that his own power could no longer shake Lin En. Neither of them could defeat Lin En. The wizard realized that his 4.0 hatred and anger towards Lin En had made him lost. The members of the Suicide Squad stared silently at the hesitant figure of the wizard. Understand this man, the dark power he once had is collapsing. Although they were victorious, witches and wizards threatened. But they also know well what lies behind the victory of the battle. Contains endless pain and sacrifice. Lin En stared at the wizard, knowing that this man, who had experienced huge amounts of pain and grief, might also be a victim of the darkness. Put down your hatred, wizard. Lin En's voice was firm and conveyed to the wizard. You still have a chance to start a new life, away from the darkness. This feeling of losing a loved one is uncomfortable. Everyone waited quietly for the wizard's response. He faced his own inner choice, to continue to indulge in hatred and pain, or choose to escape from the darkness and pursue hope and peace. Haha. The wizard smiled disdainfully. Hear this laugh. My scalp felt numb when I shot dead. 19. Put it down, the wizard laughed to himself. My sister, the ghost witch, is dead. You want me to put it down, he said funny. Now he wants to cry without tears. He didn't expect that among humans, there was such a powerful being as Lin En. This is the current situation. Make him regret it. Lin En frowned slightly, looking obviously impatient. Your sister's life is life, but the lives of the humans who were turned into monsters and died miserably by you are not lives. Lin En said coldly. Tens of thousands of human beings have died because of you. The death of the witch is entirely his own fault. You are talking nonsense. You are just a bunch of ants. How can you compare with my sister's life? The wizard said disdainfully. Ant. Lin En sneered. Human life is also precious. As magicians, you should understand this truth. Although our existence is not to protect mankind, it is not to destroy mankind. Lin En's voice was full of firmness and determination. Your behavior has violated this principle. Stupid humans. The wizard snorted coldly. What you call protection is just to satisfy your own desires. If you want to save your life, then please stop your evil deeds and return to the right path. There was a hint of severity in Lin En's voice. Otherwise, I will make you pay the price. The wizard was silent for a moment, and finally sighed. I admit that our behavior was a bit excessive. But we can't go back. My sister is dead, so I can only keep going. If you really can't turn back, then the only option is to die, Lin En said coldly. Because your actions have caused irreparable consequences. The wizard didn't 720 answer. He was now a piece of meat on the chopping board, at the mercy of Lin En. Lin En looked at his back and sighed deeply. He knew that there were still many people like wizards in this world, and the harm they caused to mankind would never be of any use. Stop, a voice sounded. Lin En and Colonel Pheleg both raised their heads and looked at the source of the sound. He saw a familiar figure. Amanda. Lin En said unexpectedly. We can control the wizard and keep him in the suicide squad. Amanda said thoughtfully. After all, Amanda had just lost an agent as powerful as the witch, which was a loss to the team. The wizard has such good conditions, why not take advantage of them? You are really crazy, Lin En said helplessly. If the wizard loses control, he will bring huge amounts of disaster to mankind just like today, he said truthfully. This woman is really self-centered and doesn't seem to care about the life and death of others, the safety of the team and the achievement of goals. None of this seems important to Amanda. Lin En couldn't tolerate it. The wizard lost control again and caused harm to others. Suicide Squad has seen the tragic situation of humans being controlled by witches and turning into monsters. They all also developed a fear of wizards. The members of Suicide Squad expressed support for Lin En's decision. And realize, Lin En, this is for the benefit of the entire team and humanity. Maybe it can be controlled. Amanda continued. She tried to persuade Lin En to let the wizard go, in order to achieve her goal of controlling wizards. Have to say, Amanda is an ambitious woman. This is probably why Amanda is able to stay in her current position. Black magic has uncertainty, Lin En said solemnly. Lin En's expression becomes more and more serious. Amanda knew this decision was not an easy one to make. The wizard's black magic is a very dangerous magic. If it cannot be controlled, it will bring devastating consequences to mankind. I understand what you are thinking, Amanda, Lin En said, but we cannot affect the interests of the entire team and mankind because of our personal interests. The wizard's black magic has caused too much damage, and we cannot let him continue. Amanda tried to convince Lin En. We can try. Black magic is a very complex power, Amanda, Lin En said. It's not easy to control. The wizard's black magic has gone out of control. If we don't take measures, the consequences will be disastrous. So what should we do? Amanda asked. We must take decisive action, Lin En said. We cannot let wizards continue. 17. Team members expressed their support for Lin En's decision. They know that Lin En made this decision for the benefit of the entire team and mankind. Amanda looked at the expressions of the team members and knew Lin En was right. She also knew that this decision was not only for the entire team, but also for the benefit of mankind. The wizard needs to face his mistakes. I understand, Amanda said. Suicide Squad will continue to work together to face future challenges and protect the peace and security of humanity and the world. Actually, the most important thing is that the wizard and the others heard the White Queen. Lin En's expression was cold. The gaze he looked at the wizard became cold. If you dare to touch Master's wife, you are simply seeking death, Magneto also said angrily. The White Queen is also Magneto's old friend. Seeing the White Queen injured, Magneto also felt sad. Injury to the White Queen is punishable by death as a wizard. Lin En is very calm, and there is an unshakable determination in his words. Amanda listened to Lin En's words. I couldn't help but shudder. Even though she is cruel and ruthless, she also falls under Lin En's aura. Mystique listened quietly. She couldn't help but feel that Lin En was one very responsible person. It's very different, Mystique thought to himself. Congratulations on obtaining the loyalty of Mystique Rui 217 Wen Darkholm. Loyalty level, 30. The system prompt sounds. It's Mystique's loyalty. Lin En was delighted. One step closer to free prostitution? Can he be unhappy? I didn't expect Mystique to like this too. Lin En thought to himself. Sure enough, women are all love brains, no matter how old they are, they still have a girlish heart. Mystique is no exception. Fake, Lin En is so domineering. Harley took the lollipop out of her mouth and praised Lin En unabashedly. Lin En's words directly hit Harley's heart. She is full of admiration and respect for Lin En, also very envious of White Queen. It is possible to have such love. Harley's words shocked Lin En's heart. He knew that Harley was a straightforward person, but he also knew that Harley's words were not meaningless. As expected. Then the system sounded. Congratulations on getting Harley Quinn loyalty. Loyalty level, 70. Listen to the system beeps. Lin En's tiger body trembled. Good guy? Harley is 70 years old. Couldn't it be that he fell down as soon as he pushed it? Lin En was very happy inside. Keep your voice down. Bjaj, Deadshot said awkwardly. Deadshot was ashamed. Everyone's hearts are filled with sympathy, and they are full of trust and admiration for Lin En. They saw Lin En's courage, justice, and responsibility. I believe he can lead Suicide Squad to victory and maintain world peace and justice. Lin En looked at White Queen and was hurt by herself. Wizard, I will send you to meet your sister right now. Lin En's tone was decisive and ruthless. When the wizard heard this, he knew that he could not punish him. He looked at the place where the witch disappeared, and his heart was filled with regret and pain. I was wrong, I was really wrong, the wizard said painfully. Lin En looked at the wizard indifferently. There was no expression on his face, making it impossible to see his emotions. Wizard, you must accept your punishment. Lin En said calmly. It's like a devil is pronouncing a death sentence. When the wizard heard this, he knew that he must pay the price for his mistakes. He looked at the White Queen and knew that he must be punished. He lowered his head, his heart filled with regret and pain. The wizard looked at Lin En and knew that he had to pay for his mistakes. Lin En didn't even raise his eyelids. The dying wizard was no longer his opponent. Coupled with the wizards and witches, he had used forbidden magic before, and now he was counterattacked by the magic. The wizard has reached the end of his rope. Even if Lin En doesn't kill him, wizards are also doomed. Haha. The wizard laughed to himself, feeling his own miserable and desolate fate. Sister, I'm here to find you. There was another trace of happiness on his face. He knew that he was about to be reunited with his sister again. Clearly facing the impending death, the wizard showed a happy emotion in his smile. Everyone stared at the wizard in silence, although they disagreed with the wizard's behavior and evil actions. But when facing death, they can also understand the complexity and relaxation of the wizard's heart. At this moment, they felt the fragility of life. Also realized that everyone has their own story and emotions. In the face of death, the wizard's smile revealed a kind of tranquility and happiness. This made everyone think silently about the meaning and value of life. They silently convey a tacit understanding to each other and understand the preciousness of life, and determined to continue fighting for justice and peace to create a better future. Lin En looked at the wizard. Although he was not a good person, he was still a good brother. Wizard, do you have any last words? Lin En asked. A trace of confusion flashed in the wizard's eyes, and he shook his head. No, I just want to see my sister. Lin En sighed deeply. It hasn't been long since the brothers and sisters got together. We have to face the scene of life, separation, and death. For wizards, it's a bit cruel. Likewise, for him, isn't it a kind of relief? As soon as Lin En raised his hand, the wizard's body disappeared. This battle is really cruel, Harley said to herself. Deadshot on the side patted her shoulder. Don't be too sad, we have tried our best. Lin En nodded, then turned to White Queen. White Queen, are you okay? White Queen shook her head. I was only slightly injured, nothing serious. Please give me flowers. Lin En breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. Then what should we do next? Magneto asked. Lin En thought for a while and then said, we need to find a way to stop the spread of this black magic. White Queen nodded in approval. 0.0. Teacher must have a way. Magneto said confidently. Lin En looked at White Queen and said with some worry, White Queen, I'm sorry for hurting you. White Queen shook her head. It's not your fault, it's my own carelessness. A smile appeared on her weak face. Now she has recovered a little. Just, because of black magic. It was a little difficult to get her to recover. Simply for her, recovery is only a matter of time. White Queen said affirmatively. Lin En, your approach is very decisive, but the spread of this black magic must be controlled. Lin En nodded. I know we're trying to figure it out. Lin En's thoughtful expression. Others looked at Lin En's back with some emotion in their hearts. I hope this battle can end as soon as possible, Lin En said. Yes, Mystique said meaningfully. A beautiful face, full of expectations. Somehow, after meeting Lin En, Mystique feels that the mutant 243 people will have a bright future. This powerful man from the Dragon Kingdom always gives people hope. Maybe Mystique didn't notice it either. Lin En has quietly left traces in her heart, but she hasn't discovered it yet. Everyone nodded and continued to move forward. They know that this battle to defend Blue Star is far from over, but their faith and courage will never waver. Lin En felt relieved as she looked at the slowly recovering White Queen in her arms. Magneto, take care of White Queen. Lin En said. So, he left the White Queen in the care of Magneto. I can leave on my own. White Queen stood up insistently. She now. My whole heart goes to Lin En. When I think of Lin En for herself. Fight witches and wizards. A warm current arose in White Queen's heart. How could she not love such a strong and loving man? Congratulations on gaining the loyalty of White Queen Emma Grace Frost. Loyalty level, 70. Lin En listened to the familiar electronic sound and sounded again. Coming? The White Queen's loyalty finally reached 70. The reward is coming. Lin En was very excited. Once again he was having sex for nothing. Lin En quietly waited for the reward. Congratulations to the host for receiving rewards. Physique plus 1500, Strength plus 1500, Speed plus 1500, Mental Power plus 1500. Hiss. Lin En was very happy when she saw the satisfactory data. The reward for White Queen is not low, she is worthy of being an Omega-level telepath. No wonder, she is also considered to be one of the 5 telepaths on this blue star who can change their minds perfectly and seamlessly. Already proven the ability to control the world and overcame the psychic nation, such as young Nate Gray and Rachel Summers through more experience and skills. Reward, Soul Shield. P.S. You can build a psychic shield to protect yourself and other thoughts, and be immune or highly resistant to any/all mental intrusions, including psychic or empathic ability, hypnotic ability, hallucinations, deception, etc. This reward is delicious. Lin En is very satisfied. Rewards of the Soul Shield paired with Lin En's Man of Steel 3.0.0133101119 Fila 032111291. It can achieve dual resistance of physics and magic. Lin En 2.9 will have no weaknesses. It is simply standard equipment for cheating. This witch crisis. It can be said to be full of gains. That's great. He thought to himself. Lin En looked thoughtful. The current Midway City is due to witches. It's been very confusing. They're not the only ones fighting. Human armies are also fighting. Another crisis caused heavy human losses. He knew that the government would definitely suppress it. To appease the masses. This is their usual style. Water can carry a boat and also capsize it. These senior officials know it better than anyone else. But Lin En doesn't care about this either. Lin En, do you have any solution for the spread of black magic? Afuda asked with concern. She knows that only Lin En can help them now. Yes, Lin En said with a normal expression. But he didn't continue. That's great. Amanda was very happy. But she heard that Lin En seemed to have something to say. Lin En, if you need my help, just ask. Amanda asked tentatively. Deactivate the nanobomb in Harley's head. Lin En said. Good. Amanda agreed immediately. Amanda agreed to Lin En's request. Immediately proceed to disarm the nanobomb in Harley's mind. OMG, finally, I don't have to be controlled by a big black girl anymore. Harley cheered happily. Harley Quinn hugged Lin En's arms excitedly. Lin En, you are so handsome, she said without concealment. Harley Quinn takes out her gum. But Lin En knocked her head lightly. Eating too much chewing gum is bad for your health. Immediately, Lin En took out a lollipop. Harley was stunned for a moment, feeling warm in her heart. With Joker, there is only madness and destruction. But she had never experienced this kind of care. Harley looked at Lin En with eyes that almost overflowed with love. In this crisis-ridden situation, they care for and support each other. This sincere friendship also makes Suicide Squad more united and stronger. They know that only by working together, trusting and caring for each other can we defeat our enemies and safeguard peace and justice. Harley gratefully took a bite of the lollipop and continued to prepare for the next challenge. Lin En, on the other hand, silently protected his team and led them forward into the darkness, firmly pursuing the light of justice and hope. Harley Quinn was full of excitement, jumping around like a bird. She felt extremely happy and excited. The nanobomb in her mind was finally successfully deactivated, and it was all thanks to the man in front of Chien. The other members of the Suicide Squad, such as Deadshot and Boomerang, looked at Harley with envy. If not 190 because they are same-sex. They also want to have a romantic relationship with the man in front of them. They were happy for Harley's good luck, and envied her for being free and receiving Lin En's care and help. The unity and friendship of Suicide Squad are even more powerful and precious at this moment. They know that only by supporting and trusting each other can they overcome all difficulties and meet future challenges. Harley continues to enjoy the joy of relief. Lin En in front of them quietly guards them and leads them to face the uncertainty and danger of the future together. And now, in a dark place, Joker was shaking with anger. Under the green hair, a pair of crazy eyes stared at Lin En and Harley Quinn. He had a fierce look in his eyes. Joker cursed unwillingly. Sieti, this bitchy, she was seduced and taken away like this. Fake. Joker stuck out his tongue and licked the dagger. At the tip of the tongue, red blood seeped out. However, the wound healed instantly. With the Dionysian factor here, no one can kill me. Suddenly the phone rang. Harley Quinn checked her phone. It's a text message from Joker. Joker's text message. Lin En asked. What do you think of this man? Harley Quinn nodded. It's crazy and charming. It makes people feel excited. It's like a drug. Lin En said. Joker is indeed very charming. When he was watching movies in his previous life, he also regarded the crazy Joker as his idol. That suffocating madness. It seems like everyone can see themselves. However, As he stood in Gotham City, watching because of Joker's whim, hundreds of people died simply for provocation. In addition to anger, he was still angry. The scene of corpses littering the streets was something he could never forget for a long time. To die is to die. Nothing is left. No matter how hard you try, they all disappear. Their families will always live in pain. Are you going to chase me? Care about me so much? Harley Quinn blinked proudly. Harley, you are free, Lin En said. Harley Quinn was stunned for a moment. Yes, thank you Lin En, Harley said happily. Lin En, is it okay for me to show my kindness? She said mischievously. It's not impossible, Lin En said seriously. She saw unprecedented seriousness on Lin En's face. Hey, what are you talking about? Harley Quinn said awkwardly. She was eating a lollipop and walking around shaking her head. Lin En said nothing. Seeing this, Amanda also left very wisely. She is a smart person. She knew Harley and Lin En should care. It's just a passing favor. It's just that Amanda lost the powerful agent of the witch, which made her very distressed. But I got to know such a powerful person as Lin En. It can be considered a sacrifice and gain. Amanda could only comfort herself in this way. The only pity is that Lin En failed to join the Suicide Squad. Think about it, a powerful person like Lin En doesn't need to join any organization. Amanda laughed at herself. I hope I am not disliked by Wang Nyazeo, Lin En. Open the character page. Lin En said. Name, Lin En. Physique 9160. 9000. 9230. Mental power, 12,730. Ability, Flame Emperor, Mental Barrier, Origin Magic Power, Fragment, Steel Kidney, Spider Telepathy, Portal, Man of Steel 3.0, Mind Control, Energy Transformation, Psychic Shield. Comprehensive Combat Strength, 961 versus 9. Looking at the gratifying results in the data, Lin En's face showed a satisfied smile. His combat power will soon break through the 10,000 mark. This made him feel extremely excited and proud. Now he is powerful and possesses unparalleled power, able to handle various challenges with confidence. This promotion also gave him more security and made him feel at ease. After all, in American comics, powerful beings abound. Only by becoming stronger can he survive in this world. I'm just talking, Lin En said 007 with a smile. Harley saw Lin En's smile, and Harley's eyes flashed with desire for a moment. Perhaps she can also have Lin En's love like White Queen. Lin En, are you serious? Harley's eyes flashed with anticipation. Lin En smiled but said nothing. As the saying goes, women chase men with spacer yarn. Seeing this, Harley mustered up the courage to find the answer. But, you are not the only woman I have, Lin En said. This sentence touched Harley's heartstrings, CBBH, and she understood Lin En's choice and his responsibility. Although he was a little disappointed, Harley also knew it. She will not give up and pursue her own happiness and dreams. Lin En, what if I said, I am willing? Her beautiful face was full of determination. Seeing this, Harley also had the answer in her heart. Lin En is such an excellent man. There is definitely no shortage of beauties around. And Harley knows that she needs to work harder and become better before she can be recognized by Lin En. This is a long and arduous road, but she is willing to fight for her love. Are you willing? Lin En said. Harley nodded. The White Queen is not alone. Lin En explained the situation directly. What Harley hates most is cheating. There must be more than one White Queen, isn't there me now? Harley continued. More than. Lin En shrugged. Said somewhat helplessly. You mean there are other women? Harley asked doubtfully. There are probably a few more. Lin En said truthfully. Fake? So much. I knew you were very charming, but I didn't expect it to be so charming. Harley rolled her eyes. Damn, is this man so popular? But, with so many women, how busy can you handle it? Harley blinked her big eyes. Practice is the only criterion for testing truth, Lin En said confidently. TCH. Harley said unconvinced. Have to admit, an outstanding man like Lin En is indeed rare. So Harley also wants to fight for it. White Queen was speechless to Harley. She looked at Lin En and knew naturally that he must like Harley. Lin En, does Joker need to be dealt with? White Queen asked with concern. After all, Harley turned out to be a big fan of Joker. That's a crazy guy. White Queen remembers what Lin En said. Joker is not dead yet. This made her worry about Lin En. Joker really needs to be solved. Lin En said thoughtfully. Joker is not dead now either. The Joker who has obtained the Dionysian factor seems to be more difficult. However, Lin En did not back down in the face of this danger. He knows that as a leader, he must not only continue to protect the safety of his team, but also try his best to seek the greatest interests and safety for all people. We cannot be constrained by fear, we must unite to deal with this threat. We will find a way to deal with Joker and maintain social peace and order, Lin En said firmly. Lin En's determination and belief were passed on to the people of Suicide Squad. They all expressed that they would face this extremely terrifying opponent with Lin En and fight to protect the peace of society. Faced with Joker, an opponent who has become more powerful, Lin En and Suicide Squad will face unprecedented difficulties and tests. However, they believe that as long as they unite as one and give full play to their respective strengths, relying on wisdom and courage, they will be able to defeat Joker's evil forces and maintain social peace and justice. Lin En is so strong, Xiao Yan will definitely die, Deadshot also said. Lin En is the real strong one. Huo Nan said seriously. He serves as the strength of Suicide Squad. He is convinced by Lin En. Everyone in Suicide Squad has full confidence in Lin En. In their view, witches and wizards with black magic are extremely powerful. However, in Lin En's eyes, just like ants on the roadside, they can be easily crushed to death. The key is, they still think it is reasonable. Forget about being so powerful. And Lin En is also surrounded by beautiful women. Oh shit, the gap between people is really big. Comparing people with each other makes Deadman angry. Deadshot was filled with envy in his heart. The other side. The colonel hugged Joan helplessly. The witch is dead. But Joan wasn't awake yet. This brave and capable colonel. At this moment, his heart was full of anxiety and helplessness, and he didn't know what to do. He didn't know if Joan was dead or alive. Can Lin En help me? The proud colonel was begging Lin En at this moment. Lin En approached the colonel and saw the helpless look of the colonel holding Kyung. Please give me flowers. He walked over to Joan and observed her situation carefully. Lin En silently put his hand on Kyung's forehead, feeling her breath. He could feel that Joan's body was filled with the power of black magic, which filled his heart with doubts. Lin En's eyebrows wrinkled slightly. 0. Lin En, is there any hope? The colonel asked worriedly. He noticed Lin En's expression. Wait a minute. Lin En said. He knew that this issue was not simple and required careful study and analysis. Lin En began to check Kyung's body, and he found Kyung's body. There was a black magic constantly eroding her body. This force is very powerful, making Lin En feel very troublesome. The witch is obviously dead. Where did this black magic come from? Lin En thought secretly. He knew that only by finding the source of this power could the problem be solved. He concentrated and used his special ability to try to awaken Kyung Kui. The colonel did not dare to disturb Lin En. He knew that Lin En must have a way to save Kyung. Lin En concentrates. Committed to awakening Joan's consciousness. It turns out that Joan's body was taken over by a witch. The witch's black magic made Joan's consciousness begin to fall asleep. Kyung is fine, her consciousness is just sealed, Lin En said thoughtfully. He was thinking about possible 803 methods to rescue Kyung. Lin En, please save Kyung. The colonel said sincerely. He knew that Lin En was the only person who could save his head. Lin En listened quietly to the colonel's request. He knew that this was a very important task. But he also knows that this is a very difficult task. Awakening a person's consciousness is a very complicated process that requires patience and strong ability. However, he also knew that Joan was a very important person and her consciousness must be awakened, otherwise the consequences would be disastrous. Lin En began to concentrate on trying to find a way to awaken his consciousness. He carefully observed Joan's body, trying to find any clues that could help him. He checked Joan's breathing and heartbeat and found that her physical condition was very stable and there was no abnormality. However, Lin En knew that this was not the only factor that awakened Jing's consciousness. Lin En began to think about possible ways to rescue Kyung. He knew that witch's black magic was very dangerous. But he also knew that there were ways to fight black magic. He began to search his memory, trying to find any useful information. Lin En recalled that he had encountered similar situations and tried to find any enlightenment that could help him. Finally, Lin En found a possible way to rescue the district. He knew that this was a very dangerous method, but it was also the only method. He decided to take this approach and began preparations. Lin En began to recite a spell, trying to remove the black magic from the witch. His voice was very soft, but full of power. He moved his fingers gently around Joan's body, trying to find the spot where the witch applied black magic. Lin En's spells became more and more powerful, and his voice became louder and louder. Joan's body began to tremble and her breathing became rapid. Lin En knew that he was close to success, and he continued to concentrate on trying to escape the shackles of black magic. After a period of concentration, Yuan's body began to tremble slightly. Finally, Lin En succeeded. Joan's consciousness began to slowly wake up. Her eyes slowly opened and her breathing became even. Lin En knew that he had saved Kyung's life, and he felt very satisfied and proud. The colonel's eyes were full of hope and expectation, and he stared at Lin En with gratitude. 3.6. Joan looked around dimly, feeling the presence around her. Slowly, she recognized the colonel. Joan, you're awake, the colonel said with joy. Kyung nodded slightly, but her voice was still a little weak. The colonel gently held Joan's hand and gently comforted her. He said gently, Kyung, don't worry, I will protect you.
Hello, everyone. As we wrap up this video, I want to share a quick note. I have a Patreon account. If you'd like to support me and enjoy on-demand audiobooks, you can become a Patreon member. Alternatively, you can check out my Google Drive link, which has 500+ novel audiobooks available through my Ko-fi or Patreon shop. I appreciate your support.